I recently got a comment. Can you get that man baby to like shut up? Every time you guys are talking about things, that guy just starts playing with his toys. It's so distracting. Like, could you mute him when that happens? And
I thought I was the man baby for a split second, so to hear it was Snake baby.
but I think it's so funny that I just leave it in. This episode had a lot of cameos too. Every single red letter media.
Because he's deaf now too. He's just
What is that?
Vacuum cleaner.
Is that a hair
vacuum
dryer?
clean.
Vacuum cleaner. Oh shit.
It's okay, Sonic. You can save me in post. You can like crank up my video's brightness and saturation to make me look pretty.
Oh, you want me to do that? Because I always do that for myself and Snake, because Snake always sends me a mirrored video, so I have to mirror it back. I never change you, Trinidad, so you want me to make you more pretty, I see. Okay.
Look how boring I look with this. This is like the flattest lighting you've ever seen.
I found a cool little trick for the lighting, because without this on, it all starts to go blue like it normally does. But by having this little light on, it can go quite bright. But by going just enough, it does put me in a warmer colour. And so
That's
like,
cool.
I look human. I don't look like I'm from the newest season of Invasions, which we'll get to later in the episode.
Oh, we will get to that. Guys, I'm telling you, this is going to be like the most special episode we're going to be recording here.
This episode is going to do well because people are going to come to it just to be like, Sonic thoughts on Reptile? Sonic thoughts on Reptile?
I will not disappoint you guys. That's all I'm going to say, because I have way too much prepared.
Oh, if it's Reptile, should I make myself green? I'm gonna make myself green. Give me a second. It's changing color.
Nice, that's like fun. Yeah, I'm ready for my Reptile episode. I've got the Reptile t-shirt. I've got all these scaly collections over here. Yes. I see the Reptile. Yeah, you're green. Yeah, it actually looks pretty good.
It's hard to
There
tell.
we go. There's the Reptile figure. Make them kiss.
Make them kiss. Dang. I'm the only guy without a Reptile action figure. Feels bad.
Get with the time, old man.
I like how instead of having an Apple Watch, Snake just has his entire iPhone on his wrist.
Wow. That is cool.
It makes me feel very cool when I'm playing Mortal Kombat Onslaught on my arm.
Seriously?
Nice, that is badass.
Wouldn't that be very hot?
It's like a dual disc.
I'd be concerned about that.
Yeah, look.
It's like Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh!
My main team has somewhat shifted a bit. Noob Cybot, get out of here, Dark Raiden. That's where that shit's at, bro.
Oh, the new Dark Raiden.
Hey, at least someone's gonna make use of him. NetherRealm sure won't. Snake will make use of him.
Did you guys see Digital Circus, the newest episode?
I didn't. That's the one thing I forgot to watch. I watched every other sequel that I was told to watch. I didn't watch that one. I'm caught up on Smiling Friends.
Hell yeah.
You saw the
It
Doug
is.
Walker
I was
bit.
supposed to watch. I know that was amazing. I loved that.
Actually, the newest episode had a lot of cameos too. Every single Red Letter Media person, Rich, Mike, and Jay all voiced the character.
Oh,
in
that
the
was
newest
the
episode.
joke. Okay, I missed it completely.
Not only that, but the one of the characters is also voiced by, I forgot David, but I forgot he's the guy who did Salad Fingers. So there's like a lot of references and like voice
I kind
actors
of
who
was
showed
wondering
up
about that
in,
because it seemed like a Salad Fingers looking character even.
I'm talking about the guy who like goes crazy in the beginning of the episode.
I saw a clip from some episode where
The Flat Earther.
I saw a clip today where one of the characters goes to like a shop to get some paper clips, and the guy behind, he's got like a massive nose, just like all bent. And he's like, "Well, couldn't you just use your nose for the paper clip instead of a paper clip to use machines?" He's like, "Well, I never thought of that. Oh, this is so amazing. Yes." And later, the guy remembers what he says, and he's like a ghost behind him, and he's repeating what he says. He goes, "Oh, by the way, I'm not a flashback. I actually died after you left my store. Oh, back to hell." It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Back to hell. Yeah.
It's so good.
This seems like it would be a fun show. I need to check it out.
Weekly Smiling Friends right now. It's great. You should totally binge. You've probably seen season 1, right?
I've never seen an episode. I've just seen a few clips.
You gotta binge season 1. The main character of the first episode is the guy is literally Mr. Plinkett.
Oh, that's the first one.
Yes, that is the first episode. Yes, exactly. That is the first episode.
Hello.
Well, so you guys got all excited over Doug Walker's cameo. You know what I got excited over? Joel Javier's cameo. That fucking blew my mind. They even did his animation style and everything.
Yes! It's so that whole episode's so funny. I think the first time he appeared, I just could not stop laughing.
And gets all blurry.
I don't.
The fight scene is the most epic thing ever.
Who's Joel? Who's Joel?
You haven't seen his videos? You've definitely seen them. They're too like viral. I'll send you a clip.
Yeah, there's a couple of clips.
You just don't know him by name, I bet, but you've definitely seen him. This guy. He does like the really unique animation style.
Rotoscoping-ish, yeah.
He has like the computer itself trace them for all the the
He's got a very distinct style, yeah.
But the funny part, Snake, is that if he does like something too like comprehensive or complex, the computer gets confused and does like a giant little paint effect and it looks terrible. But you just accept it because it's his style, right?
AI.
But they put that in the show too. Like whenever he shows up for his cameo, even the fuck ups are still like left in the episode.
Exactly,
awesome.
yeah.
And his humor is like dry and awkward, so it's super funny. Like, hey man, I heard you yelling through the wall. It's just like my girlfriend's over and it's paper thin, and we're just trying to watch a movie. You're just, doing that thing where you make your homunculus and you waste your life, Ted. That's what you do. You waste your life, Ted.
I love that part. Some people were not into the humor of that episode because of that, but I was so down for that. I was like, hell yeah! It's like it starts with the mad scientist, and then instantly he shows up, and it's like now it's just like this is too realistic now. It's like what's going on here, basically.
Well, it's a bad economy, John. Oh, bad economy. How about the economy of my fucking sanity and my patience? How about that? You're driving me nuts, man.
I by the way, I mentioned Digital Circus just because I got like this thing over here.
Oh, you have a little toy? Oh, okay, that's good too.
Oh, nice.
Freaking, can you? If you see the Digital Circus episode,
you didn't get one
you'll know what this is.
Of Pompey or whatever her name is.
Pomni.
Pomni.
It's,
you didn't get her.
Pomni man wins.
It's the Scaly episode, so I'm gonna have to get the Scaly.
Oh god, my computer updated. My Windows updated and did that weird bug where it turned Google Chrome into Yahoo.
You can set that default back. Anyways, are we guys ready? We have been chatting for a while.
I'm ready.
I'm McReady.
All right then, I guess we'll just start. Welcome everybody to the Reptile special episode. This is gonna be such an amazing event. We're gonna go through so many epic topics. By the way, before we do start though, I would like to give a bit of an update on something that I find to be quite funny.
Before that, I need to say, if you're wondering why we've been gone for like 4 weeks, one of us was too busy with video editing. One of us had some Discord issues. I'm not going to say who did what. I'll leave that to you to speculate in the comments to boost engagement. But one of us was a good boy, and that's up to you to figure out who was the good boy, who was let down by his comrades.
Snake, we were gone for a week.
No, I mean, since the last recording, that was like 4 weeks ago.
It wasn't that long.
I'm sure it was. We had to put it off for Omni-Man and you editing.
I mean, you can...
Fuck, I gave the answer away. Shit. No.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine, Snake. Look, we will get to more as to why. The thing about the delay also is like we could have recorded the day the update happens, but I felt like we should have had another week to prepare for that. Yeah. Anyways, other thing to mention here, I just wanted to talk about that I think is very funny, is I got a comment recently on our Combat Kings podcast, and on it, it basically just says, like, what the hell is this episode, and, like, why am I able to watch it? And it's from our unreleased episode. Someone,
it just went live somehow?
No. What ended up happening, I actually went to check, I'm like, how the hell did this happen?
Oh, it's unlisted.
It's unlisted, but how would people get the link? And the thing is, apparently one of our episodes at like the end card, like the end card part, one of them was the unreleased episode. And so I got comments people be like, yeah, what is this like?
You know what? I'm perfectly fine leaving that episode as the sleuth investigator episode. Go through our back catalogue, find which one had the secret episode listed. If you find then you deserve to be able to watch it. It's just because you are proper Reddit detective mode. So fuck it.
The title is like True Underdog Oopsie again, and literally the thumbnail is just True Underdog doing this. Oopsie, like,
my God,
like that. So that's how you can know if it's that
Epic.
episode. It currently has like I think 50 views. So there are a couple people who have found that episode.
Hey, good for
I
you
like
guys. You found it.
Niche. That's awesome. It's an Easter egg. I love that it's still like semi-private. Like you got to work for it. That's awesome. It reminds me of those funny Easter eggs in video games that are left in by accident.
Don't share the link.
I love those things.
Don't share the link. Just let people know it exists. We want people to be able to earn it, you know. We don't give that shit away for free. You had to find it yourself. You put in the effort. Don't give them a free pass, the lazy bastards.
I still find it so funny that like even our diehard fans now know that we have this unreleased episode and talk about, oh, is this the unreleased episode? Wow, in the comment sections, which made me find out, oh my gosh, like how do they find this and all that kind of like details and stuff. So that was pretty funny. Anyways, so we actually have like too many topics we need to go through. So $200 card and just do your thing and talk about Midlander, and so we can get to the reptile stuff.
Midlander, how dare you? He does whatever the frick he wants, and he's done apologizing.
That's true. You need to not swear for the first 10 minutes, because YouTube's got to be very nice about that.
What I find the funniest about Homelander is that his gameplay is the opposite of the show. You actually got to put in effort to be good with Homelander. Like, he's actually tricky. Whereas in the show, the whole joke is that he doesn't have to try. He can just, like, grab someone and toss them, and like, they're just dead, you know? But in the game, you gotta do flight cancels, which are actually surprisingly difficult, and depending on which string you do, the timing is different. So it's actually tough. But pro players have already grinded out some pretty fun, swaggy-looking combos with them by just doing flight cancels over and over. But here's the funny part, and if you've watched my videos, you guys already know this, and anyone watching our video right now knows this if they watch my thing. There's apparently an unintended exploit, but everybody's saying to, like, leave it in, because if you take it away from him, he'll be a very lacking character, because his damage will be, like, way too low. Does Snake know about this or not?
I don't keep up with the gameplay stuff, so please explain.
Oh, it's okay. Basically, very similar to how in the Tara, you were playing the Invasion, like, mini games, right? How she can air dash multiple times, but it costs bar when you do it more than once. So Homelander has, like, an upward cancel, like, from normals. You can do, like, a punch, flight cancel, then do stuff, right?
Snake, you've at least tried Homelander, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know he can fly, like, very, very long.
Yeah. It was very useful for the for overhead challenges. It's like, get so many overheads and, like, just fly in the air and just punch the opponent in the head about 3 times.
True, yes. Or kick them.
Anyway, the exploit, Snake, is that apparently for Homelander to do multiple flight cancels, like just flight canceling up in the same combo, it's supposed to cost bar after the first one, but it currently doesn't. He can just do 2. The difference is, though, the opponent still gets knocked off the ground, so you can't do it indefinitely. You can only do it, like, twice, then fly in the air. By the way, I just noticed, Sonic. I see the Easter egg behind Reptile.
Just finally noticed
it, I just caught it.
But we can talk about it after the Homelander stuff. But yeah, I'll bring it out after in just a bit.
Is your name Isaac then?
Yes, I remember I told you guys about that.
But I had to know your name to send it, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I was so, like, looking behind the curtain. I was like, aha, I now know Sonic's name.
You know my full name now.
Is that True Underdogs Gaming?
True Underdogs, that's wild. I'm so glad it got to you, and luckily it wasn't too expensive to send it to you. Some people, I'm going to have to just give them a refund on their order, because I found out that shipping them anything but the comic, like a shirt or the poster, is going to cost $300.
What the
for some of their locations. Wow. I'm like, you must be in the middle of, like, some remote location on top of a mountain with just your little satellite dish and your Wi-Fi.
Well, that's awesome.
So expensive to get to you.
Because usually Taiwan shipping is very expensive, so I'm glad that it actually, like, got to be here in that case.
It didn't take too long either, which is also epic. But yeah, Homelander is fun. I don't want them to take away the flight combos, because one, they look really cool, and also I think without them, players will just use him for keep away, and he'll become like Shang Tsung, and I don't want that. I like that he's also a go-in kind of character.
Peacemaker.
That too. I'm really worried about that. I want him to not be that character. So I think he's fun, though. I think Homelander is interesting. He's like Superman light. He's got a lot of heat vision. He gets fun conversions off his heat vision. But I'm here for the flight cancels. But they are tough. Like, I would rather do any other character's, like, toughest combo than Homelander's. They're actually tricky.
I gotta say, though, Homelander, honestly, I'm gonna be like a character in this show, kind of scares me. This character, because he can go into, like, low pokes, combo, flight. Am I gonna overhead, or am I just gonna, like, not do anything? Ooh, what am I gonna do? It's like I see Homelander, and I actually get scared by this character, because I'm like, I don't understand what's happening, but I know I'm gonna get comboed if I don't block it and stuff like that. Luckily, because like, but yeah, like, this is what I mean. Like, this character, if you really, really learn him, you can probably do a lot of these, like, scary things. Like, what was it, like, recently there were, like, tournaments that people have already started playing Homelander. People are actually calling him, like, top 5 and all these sort of things. Yeah. So definitely see, like, a lot of potential as of right now with this guy. But yeah,
he's a top 5 that I respect, though, because he takes a lot of skill to actually do that stuff. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
I'm like, I'm very hesitant to want a character nerfed when, like, they're tough to use. If they're just, like, broken, like Peacemaker was baby mode. Like, no offense, but even now, I'm like, with Peacemaker, I'm like, pew pew pew, you're dead. Just every move in the game, you know.
So what you're saying is you like people being able to be rewarded for getting good at something, putting in the effort. They should be rewarded rather than taking the reward away. Much like our fans who put in the effort to find the new episode, and if we take that away from them, we'll be no better than dirty nerfing Netherrealm. So we will not be doing that, I believe.
Wow, I guess we're like never releasing that episode officially now.
The Snyder cut.
I mean,
Release the Snyder cut.
It's so long ago. It's so niche. Controversy. We might as well just not bother at this point. It's so long ago. It's like 2 years ago. No one really cares.
It's not that long, but yeah. It's back when Twitter was still called Twitter, I believe.
Yeah, and
it's still called Twitter. I don't care what anyone says. I refuse to call it X. It sounds so stupid.
Blue had just been introduced like a month or two earlier, I think.
Yeah, that's the controversy. Yes, so that's why it's around that time.
Biggest controversy now. I see so many blue check marks. A lot of people are embracing the money.
I do. I think one like funny take that I saw was like someone complaining about Battle Pass, and it's like, yeah, but you pay for blue check mark on this site. That's free. So it's like the same person complained about Battle Pass, and it's like, Oh, okay. What's funny is Homelander puts in the work, but I also have seen Homelander not putting in the work, and just like I've seen the clips of like Homelander flying all the way to like the top right of the screen and starts downward lasering.
Oh, they can't get him? Oh, that's funny that they can't get to him. Oh,
I'm trying to think, because I have to assume each character has a way to deal with that when they just fly all the way to the top and stuff like that. But I have seen those clips. Oh, someone's about to die. Homelander goes really high up, like tries to kill him with that way and stuff. There's a couple of funny clips like that.
Homelander's got an infinite in the corner, but it's only on block. So he's got that gimmicky nonsense, like his flying kick where he just like goes, yeah, it doesn't push him back on block, and he can just keep spamming it, and it's plus on hit, plus on block clearly, so you can just keep spamming it. Of course, the obvious escape option though is to get hit on purpose, and then just do either an armored wake up or a cameo wake up, and you'll be fine. Like, you're not stuck there actually blocking forever. You can get hit and escape or whatever, but I still find it hilarious that he has that. It's such a broken looking, janky. That feels like Injustice pre-patch, like very first game. That's funny shit.
Now let's talk about Homelander's, like, I guess his references. I'm not too sure how to like segue into this section, but like how they adapted this character, because this character, like his moveset doesn't feel necessarily like, oh my gosh, I definitely love Homelander when he did like this, I don't know, twisty uppercut move and stuff like that. No, he's just a guy who can fly and laser around. A lot of his like things that make him Homelander, in my opinion, are like the references. Like literally, he like
because Homelander rarely fights. He just destroys.
Rarely, true.
It's like what the fight against Soldier Boy in season 3 and 1 or 2 others. Like he rarely actually has an actual superpowered person fighting him because everyone's scared of him. So it's very rare you actually see him in a fight. So they didn't have much to base him off. So I can understand why it's like it doesn't quite feel necessarily like him in terms of how you would expect him to go, because he doesn't really do much in that way of actual fighting.
But which is why I actually do really like his brutalities, because a lot of them are just straight up references to the show.
Have you seen what happens when you do his brutality on Kenshi? He gets a brand new voice line. It's pretty awesome.
Oh, well, okay, so here's the thing though. Homelander has this move, and if you get hit, your character will be like, and stunned, and you can like go for a combo. That's a brutality. For every character, he can do that. And the guy would just fall over, and Homelander would just be like, such a loser, or something like that. But if he does it on the Kenshi, he would just say like another like fucking useless blind guy or something like that. Basically, he just says that.
Just another useless fucking blind man.
Yeah.
Because he's deaf now too. He's just completely. Like, now he's gonna be the touch fighter. He has to use a sense of touch. He's gonna have he can sense the air density and shit.
The Zen fighter. Yeah, but like almost everything in terms of brutality, and like a lot of his moves are just straight up like references, and like that's the thing I look forward to the most about Homelander, is just seeing the funny references, to be honest, because that is like some of his best things. I think one that caught me off guard was like you do his taunts, he does like a thumbs up and stuff like that. One of his taunts he would just do like this, like that, and I'm like, oh, that's nice. I'm glad they put that into the game, the little woo thing he did there. But that's actually talking about the big thing about Homelander, his the voice. How do you guys feel about his voice?
I've not heard a ton of it, but it seems like a good recreation.
I was very impressed. Apparently, the guy finally came out too.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Way better than Terminator. But the guy finally came forward about like being the voice, and it was not who we thought, right? It wasn't Chris Cox. It was some unknown person, that I never heard of.
I was very surprised because everyone thought it was Chris Cox for like the longest time, and like this guy isn't even in the credits. I believe it's like we don't. This guy just pops up and is like, I'm the voice of Homelander,
which does suggest, sorry, that they hadn't actually finalized who was going to voice him at the time the game came out, and they were probably still trying to get Anthony Starr to do the voice, but they weren't able to, and so they had to find someone else, and it probably took a while to find someone who could do a good impression, and finally they did get that, and it did ultimately work out. It's not jarring the way it is with the Terminator. It's like, this sounds close enough like him. It works.
Yeah. His voices either range from a guy trying to be like Homelander, but it's not bad, to like, that's straight up Anthony Starr. Like there are genuinely some clips, and I'm like, oh, that was Homelander. I think a couple. I remember he had an intro with like Kung Lao that I'm like, that is straight up like Homelander right there.
You should have brought your own coffin. Yeah, it sounds
like
pretty
that
accurate.
line.
There is one line he does really bad in my opinion, but everyone like loves it. Like even Ninja Killa put this as his like gamer tag, because you can change your name really easy on PC. But it's one of the throw voice logs that he has, because every time he tosses you in the air, he has a different voice line he can say while like they're in the air. And one of them, he tosses the opponent and goes, "I am done apologizing." It doesn't sound like Anthony Starr to me with that one line, but that's about it. The rest all sound really good.
His throws, I do like how his throws just keep on like insulting you and stuff like that. It's just like every different episode, every time he throws you.
His face looks weird though when he does that. Like it's all uncanny. I don't know why. I guess it's just the lighting, or does anyone else see that? Like his face looks kind of like flat when he walks towards the camera. Like it looks uncanny. Like kind of weird to me.
I see what you mean.
Which is weird, because during gameplay it looks good normally.
Although I will say this though, for some reason I do feel like the PC patch for Mortal Kombat really made the game look a bit weird recently. If you guys try it out, you'll see what I mean. Just like it just looks a tad bit weirder. Like some characters are more like flashing like a bit more white on them. Like I don't know how to explain. There was a giant issue right now. Literally, when you perform combos, like once in a while, the screen will flash white. It'll just be like flashing white, like right in front of you.
No.
Yeah, I actually have.
Get on it.
To just get the modders to fix it.
Yeah, why not? Get on it.
When Ferra comes out, they gotta mod the whole game again because there's a different patch. But anyways, like that was definitely a weird thing.
I just realized. Oh no.
What?
People are gonna do that thing, aren't they? Where like when Alien came out, they put everyone's body with the alien rig to make them look all cursed and deformed. They're gonna do that with Ferra. They're gonna put Ferra's rig into like every character and make them tiny and scrunched looking.
I mean,
it's gonna be cursed.
Right now, I am seeing somebody do every character drinking milk. So yeah, I believe that.
Homelander does every fatality. Homelander does every visual animation. I imagine any animation that of Omni-Man you can give to him is going to look really good. I actually should check that out because that sounds really cool. But yeah, people do stuff like that as soon as the characters come out. So there's going to be everyone does Ferra's victory pose. So you get a tiny little deformed scorpion going, yeah.
That would be funny. Now that you mentioned that, you reminded me of something that people have made a compilation of recently. So every time Homelander tosses someone, there's like a new voice line for each character because they have like this longed out scream. And then like slam the ground basically. However, this is kind of a bug in the game. If say Homelander tosses your character to the air and then somehow you can still like attack Homelander, for example, maybe like Jax's down slam to like interrupt his grab in a way, the scream will not stop. They will scream the whole, instead of boom, it's like that for like 5 seconds. Someone's made like a compilation of every scream in the game right now. It's pretty funny to listen to like all the screams together and stuff.
Oh, so it just plays like
I noticed that in practice mode.
It plays the full voice line. I thought you were saying it's like it just locks in and just keeps going the whole time the rest of the match.
That'd be incredible.
I could find the video here, but yeah, that's like kind of a funny thing that they've been doing recently.
Please tell me it's like Havoc or someone says this is gonna suck on the way down. Please.
I don't think so. I think it's all just like screams.
Because that's what certain characters did in Deception and Armageddon on the Sky Tower. While thought, oh, this is gonna suck. I think it was Havoc, and then I think Taven had it in Armageddon. So I want to see a character do that as a fun throwback.
I was such a harsh critic. I hated that as a kid. I thought it broke immersion. I was like, keep this goofy shit out of my hardcore violent game. That's because he's being an edgy boy.
Yeah, and that happens in round 1, and then round 2 begins, and you're back on top of the Sky Tower, and the opponent's back fully pieced back together after exploding. And you're like, no, that doesn't break my immersion at all. That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly in keeping with Mortal Kombat's tone. But someone's saying, oh, no, I'm not going to enjoy this. Nah, not having it.
Why are you insulting child me?
Because child is a dumbass.
Right now.
Damn.
Well, yeah, I mean,
going up
comparatively.
against the children. What are you, Leafy is here bullying the children? How dare you?
Hey, that's my hero.
No, I'm Maddox. I'm better than your children.
I am better. We both said at the same time.
I'm better.
Yeah. There are a couple of pretty good quips he has in like the intro dialogues too. Like I went through some of them. I do like the ones he does with like Omni-Man. Those are pretty epic. Just like I finally get these two together. It's pretty fun to hear some of them.
I feel like no one's talking about him versus Peacemaker, because I feel like that's
there was one
a fun one
that was very funny.
Because Peacemaker does just like take the piss out of Superman sometimes in his show. So I want to see what he's like against the Superman adjacent characters.
Yeah. He basically is like, you're all about peace, but no, you're all about power and stuff like that. There's a couple of pretty good ones. I like one where he's like, Aquaman, the deep? What's up with all these fish fuckers? And Homelander's like, tell me about it.
The idea of those two getting along like that, like Homelander's like, you know what? All of you are beneath me. You're not worth my time. But this Peacemaker guy, he knows what's up.
Okay, 99% of everybody Homelander talks to, he is shit-talking. There is one character where he's kind of nice to. Can you guess who that is?
Shao Kahn.
Omni-Man.
Himself.
Of course.
Actually, he straight up has because remember I forgot which season it was. I think it was season 3. He talks to himself in the mirror and stuff. Yeah. They straight up have those same lines in the game too.
That's good.
We're gonna take the dirt out of you. It's like, who cares about those mud people, whatever their opinions are and stuff like that? It's like, oh, that's straight up just like what they say in the show. But it's funny to see Homelander and Homelander like kind of getting along.
I'll take that over.
I'll
take that over song lyrics for Mirror Match. Remember, "Hello Darkness, my old friend, I've come to fight with you again." And they got one with General Shao in this game. I forget what song it is, but there's like just lyric references where the two are just talking to each other. Like at that point, just go all in like. War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Gotcha! Like, just go all in, go full stupid with it. Just go on. At least, and pick characters who make sense. For me, it was all the
movie references. MK11 had too many movie references for my liking. There was even some that I didn't get. One of them was straight up an Austin Powers reference. I was like, that's a very obscure one. I feel like a lot of people won't get that one. But it was with Johnny Cage when he's like, "We are sexy bitches." And I was like,
I still like that one as like just being funny.
I mean, at least if it's Johnny Cage, he would do that. That's fine. But when it's like Shao Kahn or Noob Saibot quoting pop songs, I'm like, this is too much, and I don't. I don't.
Let the silly characters be silly, not the not silly characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I think Homelander is a well done character. It's like in general, it's like this is definitely like a new archetype, like a much more different archetype compared to like the rest of the cast and stuff. I still think like he's not a great inclusion as a DLC because it's like I would have preferred more characters. So it's like, oh, I want this character to be in the game because of their move sets or like what they've done that are fun references and stuff. So it's like. The Predator, the Alien. There's a ton of things you can reference with those characters. And even in this current DLC, we've got, like, there are things that Peacemaker does in the show that I'm like, okay, there's some things they can, like, take that'll be interesting. And I think even Omni-Man, like, I'm a bit more okay with. But Homelander, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is Homelander because of the references and the voice acting and his design. But then gameplay, I just feel like you could, like, plop in, like, 10 other different characters, you know? Like, I still think... On that aspect, like he's a bit of he just kind of takes up a slot, but I still think he's done pretty well though, as of like, and also like who knows? Maybe there are a bunch of people who did buy this DLC just for Homelander, and I'm like, if that's the case, then I'll zip my mouth. If there's giant Homelander fans who bought this DLC just for him, then good for you guys and good for like the sales and stuff. So, yep, that's my general opinion about Homelander. What do you guys think about his gear? I wasn't very into that. I wasn't gonna like farm for those.
It's what I expected, but it's really lame.
Okay.
I know there's not a ton you can really do with him, especially since it's like about all else you could really do would be, let's change his boots and his gloves, and it's like, well, that's literally what Omni-Man has. So we have.
At first, we have to
find something else.
I didn't like Homelander's gear, but then the more I look at people like doing it with certain colors, I'm like, that looks kind of cool actually. Like the black and silver Omni-Man with like the strap and the giant eagle looks kind of badass. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool actually.
Yeah,
not bad. Yeah.
There's decent ones.
I actually have one more
problem. I think is
complaint.
that most of his colors are just 2 or even 1. So his default outfit looks the best with most of the gear, unfortunately, because it's 3 colors. Yeah. It's like the gold, red, and the blue, right? So you see more variety with the stuff. Yeah. But otherwise, you're not really seeing it with the other colors. Also, what the hell is that army skin? I guess a Soldier Boy reference, but it doesn't look that good.
How many of the skins were you correct about, Dog, in your prediction video?
All of them. I'm always 100% accurate. Yep. Definitely got them all right.
Is that why you called it explained and not predicted? Because you weren't explaining things, you were just assuming what they were going to be. You didn't explain anything, I'm not sure. Fucking coward. I called you out on this on Discord, but you weren't available.
He did.
So you fucker.
Yeah.
You lie.
I had to be like, Dog isn't even in the Discord right now, Snake. Oh.
That's true. Well, I got that method actually from our boy Globku. He used to do that whenever he was waiting for a Demon Slayer DLC character that was most likely going to be in the game, but there was no trailer yet. He would be like, so and so's gameplay explained, and I saw that nobody got mad about that. They didn't say it was clickbait. They were like, oh, okay, it's cool to see him speculate about the move. So apparently the word explained to a lot of viewers is justifiable as like prediction, but it's less vague or less
dog.
It's less direct than saying the word prediction. Yeah.
The difference is Globku is not despised by the entirety of Reddit. You are. So you can't get away with it.
I see that as an absolute win. I see that as an absolute win.
It's great, but you can't get away with it, Dog. They won't let you. Nor will I. How can you call yourself a true underdog if all you do is lie?
I'm just changing my name to True Underfraud right now.
Truth
still sounds similar.
Truth.
No,
and that'll be the new name.
False Underfraud, because then it's a double negative.
You know my stance on this. If the big YouTube channels are allowed to do it, then the tiny channels should be allowed to do it. And yes, I consider myself tiny.
But you're a big YouTube channel, then.
I am not. I'm talking like Mr. Beast level, where every thumbnail is like a freaking lie in all of his
YouTuber,
videos.
I see. Okay.
Like all of his thumbnails, and he's the GOAT though. He's the best. I will not shame it. It's awesome. But like he'll be like, oh, going to a $1 million hotel, or $1 million a night hotel, and the thumbnail's like a golden building that never shows up in the video,
there was one that pissed me off from Mr. Beast. He was talking about like the most expensive cars, and it just felt like the final car, the most expensive car was gonna be like this car that could probably like fly or hover up and stuff like that. And he had like the pixelated stuff. And once we get to it, it's like here is like this like 1950s car, and this is the most expensive car in the world. Okay, bye. I'm like, well, where's the sci-fi shit? What the fuck?
Nah. Exactly.
So I enjoyed that video.
I mean, I kind of expected that. And then, like, one of his worst clickbait ones, in my opinion, like, as an example, is the we survived on a boat for, like, or on a raft for a week. And it's on above the raft shot, and they're surrounded by sharks. There's, like, one shark in the entire video, and it's just minding its own fucking business. It just swims away. They're never once surrounded by sharks or anything.
Trying to make it out like he's on the USS Indianapolis.
Yeah.
I'm a bit more okay with, like, that kind of thumbnail, because it's like, okay, of course, it's not going to be that... Well, he does do pretty crazy things, though, but yeah.
Exactly. That's why it doesn't matter. Like, when you know the content is good, and same with my videos, like, you know it's my video before you click on it. It's got the freaking Mortal Kombat logo in the back, which to me it's not even the logo anymore. It's a giant blue ring, like a blue circle in the back, right? Everyone knows it's my video before they click on it. That there's no excuse at this point. You might as well be clicking on my face. Like, you know that it's my video when it looks that way. My real hard rule, like my line, and by the way, F you, Sonic, for this tangent. Anyway, my hard rule is that you should not be allowed to lie about someone in the thumbnail. Like, you should not be able to, like, lie about what they did or, like, fake quote them, which Pyrocynical is really guilty of on his second channel, the slops, right? But, like, he'll have a fake tweet next to someone, and, like, they never said that. And I'm like, that shouldn't even be allowed. That's just straight up slandering it. Like, it's never, like, defaming or anything, but it's like, they never said that, you know? Like, you'll have Mr. Beast saying, I quit. And it's like, Mr. Beast never said he quit, nor did he quit. And then recently there's I want to watch this video. It's going to be great for content, actually. I forgot to watch it many moons ago, but someone made a Mortal Kombat 1 hate video in that exact format. It has Kitana in that really gross Mileena season skin with like the mohawk and the green shit. And she's like right at the camera, but to the side. And there's a fake tweet from Ed Boon, and it says, we need more microtransactions. And I'm like, hey man, like I'm not one to like, you know, critique someone. I have no right to get mad at someone for clickbait, but I draw the line when you're just lying about what somebody said and their intentions. But
can I ask, what the fuck do you mean I started this conversation? Snake was the one who called you out.
Oh, did he? Hey, F you, Snake.
You just looked at me like, screw you for starting this conversation, Sonic. I'm like, what the fuck did I do?
No, because we already spent way too much time on Homelander, in my personal opinion. I thought it could be just like a little 10-minute topic, but then you go into references and stuff and all these other things, the milk drinking, and it should have been over by now.
People want to talk about the milk drinking, come on. You know what, I guess you're right. I guess it's too much time. I guess, you know, we would probably have to cut like a conversation out of this. Probably, you
put
know,
that down.
Probably. This came into the mail recently. It's funny because like my parents will know who got this first, and so we have this nice cover, and I see you got the nice cards over here too, with the character bios.
You have the rare. You have the Indiegogo exclusive cover that can't be found anywhere else. Nice.
That's right. And right over here, you get the exclusive signing that you can get right there too. So yeah, it's all well in condition. So I'm really happy with it. My parents want to read it because when they saw it, they're like, I should read them and give that teacher guy some opinions about like his comic and stuff like that.
Send them the PDF of the digital version. Don't open it.
Keep
it. You'll lose its resale value.
I've already opened it.
It's meant to be read, damn it. Open it up and read it.
I have opened it just to look at the bio cards and stuff, but I probably won't open it too much more because I've already read this already.
Well,
so.
dog, if it's meant to be read, then why is the main character wearing blue? Checkmate, atheist.
Ping.
Because I love that color scheme. I'm a huge fan of like blue, light blue, and like tan character. I think it looks awesome. I've always loved that matchup.
Oh yeah, gotta go fast. Actually, no, Snake is literally wearing the blue there, so there you go.
I guess I should do a quick update then, because something sad happened with the comic. Cover A was misprinted again, somehow.
Oh no!
So poor cover A buyers have to wait one more month while it gets reprinted because somehow my printing guys messed up again with cover A.
That is tragic.
That is annoying.
Well, what was wrong with it?
And then my computer broke, so I can't get the files, so gotta wait for that to get fixed too.
So what specifically was wrong with the cover?
It's blurry this time, so now the names aren't cropped anymore, but like everything's perfect. I was so excited. I was happy to get home. I was gonna spend all day packaging. I was ready. I was like, finally the last group is going out. Because it's not just the cover A buyers, it's also the triple pack buyers that have to wait because they have all 3 comic covers and the third one's still not fixed yet, so they're waiting too. But most of them have been pretty chill about it. I haven't gotten any angry comments like on the Indiegogo or anything. They're all just like, hey, no worries, man. I'll wait. Like, I already got the comic in digital form. Like, I'm not in a huge rush. And it's like, okay, good, just making sure. So yeah, cover A is blurry now. I was so excited. I opened it up and I was like, oh, the names are in the right spot. I checked every page for any mistakes and it was all good. I'm like, yes. Then I close it and I kind of look at it and I'm like, looks kind of grainy. I get a bit closer and I'm like, oh no, it kind of messed up a little bit. It's not that bad. Then I look at the background characters, Snake, and some of their faces are like borderline smudged off and missing because it's so low res. I was like, no,
the AI edition.
Can I ask, is this a printing company issue or is this like the pixelate of the file is like issue and stuff? Because like depending on
what
like
they're trying to claim, and I'm fighting them on it because I was like, okay, you can say that and the website can say that, but I don't have any low-res images of the pages. Like, why would I have that?
And also, you can literally prove your first version, right? The first version wasn't blurry. Yeah. So that's your proof right there.
And also, they look over it, too. Like, I asked them, like, hey, can you check over it and make sure if there's any mistakes? And they come back with all these trivial ones. Like, oh, on this page, there's a tiny little white line at the top. And I'm like...
Okay, who cares?
Is there? I don't see it. I'm checking my own like prints in real life, and I'm like, I don't see that. But fine, I'll raise it up like 1 pixel to not have a little white line there because I don't see it in my versions. So I do all those changes, but nobody caught the scuffed freaking cover that's all blurry. No one caught that. And so I'm like, they're like, well, technically you got to hit the check mark and say you approve before you print it. I'm like, I know, but also your person looked over it, and I asked them, are there any more mistakes? And they said, looks great. So I think it's still on you. That's just me personally. And I'm also like telling them, like, guys, I'm not going to take your money. Like, I'm giving it all right back to you and reprinting it. So can I just get a refund for now and then print it again? Because I really don't want to blow $300 on your mistake. But, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Just one sponsor video. Just do one Gamer Subs ad and then we're back at it again.
Damn. So lucky.
Still don't have my waifu cup. I'm never going to get it, guys.
Not yet.
You got to sell so many copies. I mean, so many cups.
well, maybe, Dog, if you drew your Combat Queen underdog character, you might get a gamer. People are like, oh, I want that. Let's get the demand in there. Let these people know we want Under Queen on the cup, and then we'll get it on the cup. I'm just saying
stuff. Is that the name for her? I was wondering what her name should be. Under Queen.
Under Queen.
I mean, what else is going to be? Under Bitch? How else do you feminize Underdog?
Why was that the first thing you thought of as an alternative?
Because bitch is female dog. That's what it means.
Oh,
that's literally what the term is.
Okay, you're very clever.
Like, there are a few alternatives. It has to be Combat Queen's underdog or something like that. I associate with us in order to make it work.
Anyway, how do we feel about Ferra, though?
I was just about to get into that.
Ferra gameplay.
Yeah.
I appreciate them reusing voice lines of from MKX rather than giving Tara Strong more money to do more clips. I don't, because people don't like her anymore because of some stuff she said about the conflict.
Well, there's a lot of things, but
so people who dislike her for that, don't worry. They didn't give. Well, they may have had to give her money to reuse the old voice clips. I don't know how the contract would have stipulated it because sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't in games, but. They probably didn't give her any money, so you know you're not supporting that person by supporting Netherrealm. You're just supporting the evil monolith, not the evil individual. So you know.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I feel like also you could like legit hire anyone's like daughter to do those voice lines. Like they're not that complex, and she's not doing story mode cutscenes anymore. She's just saying like one line at most, doing a brutality, like squish, squish, yeah, like that's it. So you can have anyone do that. And AI could probably nail those voices.
So can I ask, like, I guess I was trying to talk about this. Is Ferra just like a mix-up monster? Is that like basically what she is? It's like Ferra's on the back now. Is she gonna go for a low sweep? Is she gonna go for an overhead, or is she gonna go for a grab? Is that like
and they
basically
both full combo?
That's the thing. Yes, it leads into a combo. So it's like, is that like her purpose? Because that just seems very strong.
Just it's the guessing be really good. The balance, though, to me, looks like you have a severe mobility nerf when she's on your back. Like, your jump becomes terrible. And at first, I thought that, like, her yanking you back was a backdash. But I'm wondering if that's just her walk back. Like, if you just even tap back, she, like, does that. That'd be terrible. That'd be a horrible, like, movement hindrance if that's how that actually works. But I think that's how they're going to balance it. Plus, calling her out to get on your back takes time, which means you can't, like, hit, and then confirm and summon her and just do the overhead. It's going to only be in mix-up situations where you're very plus on hit or something, you know?
Or even in the combo down.
By summoning her. Yeah. And then you like, as they're getting up. Yeah. So she's going to be good for that. And the pain and gain is actually the craziest thing that I saw that not enough people are talking about. If you watch the combat casts closely, when she stabs them in the back twice to get the full leveled up pain and gain buff, Homelander does one string. Just 3 hits. It does like 32% damage. That was a string. Imagine a combo. That's going to be like death if you can actually land it.
Probably at least 50% then, because the scaling will like nerf it down. But still, a string for 30%.
I'm thinking of a Mileena combo where she already gets 50% one bar anyway, but then she has pain and gain. I'm thinking, what's going to happen?
Very
oh man, see, we have like Snake over here putting on layers, and I'm sweating because my AC actually broke, and they can't fix it. So they gave me a tiny little. A mobile, like a tiny little fridge that they put in my apartment to cool it off instead, and it's not good enough.
Damn.
It's like constantly 75, 80 degrees in my apartment, and I hate it.
Actually, hang on a second. What's special about this jacket? I want to like go into detail here.
Special. It's probably a reference.
Something definitely seems more special about the jacket. Is this something to do with a certain like guy who starts with his name with a J?
Yes.
That looks pretty dope, actually. The drip. The drip.
Dope.
We will be talking about...
You guys, Snake got his Earthrealm skin.
Yay! Look at that. His Earthrealm skin! Woo!
I'm a spiritual miracle, lyrical individual, spiritual miracle, lyrical individual, skipping and dipping and dipping and skipping.
But yeah, Ferra is going to be the mixed-up crazy person.
Got my hand on my
stupid hype mechanic.
I want to talk about that, actually, because how useful do you think that is going to be? The hype mechanic.
It depends on how aggressive of a player you are, or if your character just has mixes, right? Like Sub-Zero, I don't care how much people downplay it, like that overhead still catches people. So if you're like skilled with your mix-ups, then maybe you'll be catching them with lows and overheads all the time. Anyone who has a lot of hits in their combo, that's the crazy part too that I mentioned. It's not going to be about damage. It's going to be about how many hits are in your combo, because she builds meter each time you hit somebody, not how much damage you do. So even though Sub-Zero's damage is low, his combos are still like 25 hits on average if you land that overhead. So that's a lot of meter build. But
how are you doing that, Snake?
I do love and hate the implication that if you start getting hit, it drains your bar.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I'm not sure if people are going to use that because of that factor.
I see Snake is like going to shoot himself.
Yeah, is there like a mirror there, basically?
My tablet's there, so it was an accident.
Oh.
But I find it really funny.
Imagine Snake puts the gun down. Haha, funny joke, guys. And the laser dot's still there. Snake, get down! Somebody else. Oh, no. But yeah, I think Ferra's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to her almost more than Homelander, just because I have a very strong emotional attachment to Ferrator.
Same,
But are you looking more forward to her than to Takeda? That's the question.
Hell no.
No.
Takeda's been my most hyped character since the reveal.
Come on now. Is he going to have the whip, or is he going to have the laser swords, or both? I hope it's both.
He better have both.
At least the whip, for sure.
It could be a variation, like Tremor.
Like he can switch it, stance and stuff?
That's what's likely, or it could be like Shang Tsung where he just pulls out the sabers, but I'm kind of hoping that he just has all of it and can just switch between. And then could you imagine if they gave him just one attack where like he throws the whips out and ignites them in like neon energy, and you're like, oh shit, like Jedi whips.
Jedi whips.
The one thing Star Wars hasn't done yet. They've done every manner of stupid thing with the lightsabers. They even spin, you can fly with them, but there's not whips yet, right?
Yeah,
in
that
the
had
recent
whips.
TV show Acolytes, they confirmed that there's going to be whips in that show. Like Jedi whips.
Damn it!
In the trailer.
Damn it!
The Last Jedi.
No!
They did?
Yeah, the Imperial Guards, like one gets a whip around, I think around Rey's lightsaber. It's not like a laser whip, but I think it's called Tosis.
Yeah, but for a laser whip, they're going to do that in the Acolyte show. You can see like footage of it. In the
problem with that is that no
apparently
one's going to watch the Acolyte show, so, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, but still though, Snake, I still think that tweet was very funny that I had to correct you with.
Well, still, I hope that Takeda gets like laser whips just for one or two moves. That'd be sick. Where they just turn neon.
We'll see if they add new things for Takeda. You know, we never know if
as long as he's no longer just exploding kunai guy, because as much as I love Takeda and MKX, the optimal way to play him was to spam the crap out of those low kunai, and it just was not fun after a while to get hit by.
I see. But yeah, I'm very excited for Ferra. I'm more so also excited about Ferra just because after she comes out, that means I can like commission someone to help me like rig the model so I can actually use her in my animations and stuff.
Is there any character in that room aside from Tor?
Tor is just like a low poly MKX version.
Yep.
Because Tor is now the only character that didn't make it out of that room. Like everyone else got to escape.
Everyone in my comment section is just saying like Tor is there all alone playing poker now.
See, that has potential for a funny bit where it's like everyone calls Ferra out like, how could you leave Tor? Everyone's like, Tor is everyone's precious boy. How could you leave Tor? And it's like the pointing meme and she's there like a cat.
Yeah.
Or almost like the person's like holding the other person going. Like all those memes you can have where like everyone's calling out Ferra for leaving her good friend Tor to the wolves. How dare she?
There's even a great, very easy joke you could do, Sonic, because now that you have 3D technology, you have like 3D render technology. You could just make the joke that Tor can't fit through the door. Like he was invited, but he just can't. He just can't fit through. He's like, oh.
That's not bad.
Tor.
And Ferra's like, it's not that deep actually. He just legit can't fit.
I actually quite like your joke, Snake, even though you haven't watched Game of Thrones. It's actually a very good joke. But yeah, not much to say about Ferra yet because she's not released, and I guess we'll see how she shapes up the meta, and also like I'm excited for her gear. Speaking of shaping up the meta, after Homelander's release, they also had a patch notes. More importantly, they also had like a patch notes with things that they didn't even explain.
Yep. all the big stuff's not on there.
I still think it's so funny that like in the combat cast, you see like one of them is like, hey, so we got a tiny little bitty change in the patch notes this time. We didn't want to do too big of a change because Final Combat is coming up, and so we don't want our players to be like, oh my gosh, I adapted like such a huge meta shift and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, so small changes got you. Okay, oh crap, Homelander is top 5, so gotta start adapting to him. Gotta start playing him. What's that? Cyrax came back.
Yep.
and it's not even in the patch notes. And now, get ready. He's going to be played a lot.
That caused a lot of controversy I saw on YouTube, and I'm going to cover it once I get my PC fixed, because unless someone takes this the wrong way, and then I get, like, in trouble. But people are now accusing Sonic Fox of, like, pulling strings at NetherRealm because they like him. And then they buffed Cyrax just for him, because he makes that tweet, like, I miss Cyrax. And then, like, 2 days later, Cyrax gets buffed. And people were like, hold on a second.
Oh, I literally thought about that, like, but then I'm thinking, like, hang on, who the heck would, like, benefit from Cyrax?
Yeah, I was about to make the joke where it's one of the devs, is like, I like Cyrax, I'm going to buff him. And either they don't tell anybody, or the whole team at NetherRealm agrees, they just don't put it in the patch notes, so this one guy can be like, haha, Cyrax dominates.
Yeah, and, like, the reason why, like, I don't think it's for Sonic Fox is because they don't even use Cyrax. They use Sindel Kung Lao. So, like, it doesn't even benefit Sonic Fox in the slightest. But
well, I have been seeing,
I guess,
like,
Rain
a lot more...
and Cyrax, but...
Yeah, I have been seeing a lot more people now, like, because Cyrax is buff, it's like, the whole reason why Cyrax, like, dominated, and, like, is because, like, well, his ability is so safe on moves. And after Cyrax got nerfed, people had to find alternatives. Striker, Kano. But now that Cyrax is back, it's like those people who use those two characters and like others probably might consider using Cyrax again just to make their moves really safe.
Oh yeah, and even like that move can also extend combos. People forget. Like I was doing it with Johnny Cage just for fun, and now Johnny Cage is back to getting 40% meterless combos because Cyrax is here.
Yeah. Recently in the patch notes, which weren't mentioned too, Reptile got nerfed on his fucking season. They did this again. They nerfed Raiden on his season. Now they're nerfing Reptile on his season.
As you do.
He just got like a damage nerf.
It's probably because they find that the actual boss fight in the invasions is too difficult. So the solution is just make the character worse. Fights in general.
Unbelievable. Also, if I'm not mistaken, Movado got nerfed 2 weeks after he was released, and that wasn't on the patch notes, and it was like a couple days later that they released it on the patch notes, and that one sucked too. It's like, what, this is your new character that's like 2 weeks, you just nerf the character immediately? Like, what the hell?
I mean, to be fair, they do have a history of every time a new character comes out in one of their games, they are always overpowered and need something done about it. So it's actually good to do that, because it means that like you're not just going to let one character dominate the meta for like 3 months.
I would agree with you, except Chameleon and Janet Cage are like 50% of the roster right now. Everyone's still using them in the high levels in tournaments. They ain't got changed. Like they're completely fine. At least Chameleon is the one I hear a lot of people complaining about in terms of
because they just have good kits. Movado's just basic.
How dare you? Movado turned every throw into a 30% combo.
Movado turns every poke move into a combo. Well, not every poke move.
I'm pretty sure we said last time that it's good to have a character who comes out and is just a simple, easy to use character, and not one of these overcomplicated ones. So there you go. Checkmate, atheists.
That has nothing to do with him being like nerfed.
It has everything to do with him being nerfed.
Well, what's funny too is that like even though Janet Cage is like actually crazy complicated, nobody's using her for that stuff. They're using her for the jump punch.
That's
just the jump punch. They're not using her cool like stunt double at all. That was fun for combo videos in the first week, and then you just never see it, which is weird. Rain mains, why are you not jumping on that? Because like you can legit actually summon her and keep the combo going because your back 3 is so busted. Are you afraid it's going to get nerfed? Is that why you're not doing it?
No, it's just too complicated. Why put so much effort into that when you can just put more into effort into something that like benefits you like in the short run, since like you said, they might get nerfed and stuff. Yeah, in that case, you can make a good point. And like Movado is a character that like almost all of his moves are used, so I still think like he's much more well designed in that aspect. But no, they decided to nerf him for some friggin' reason.
Trump voice, well designed in that aspect. Listen, I've done a lot of patches. I've seen a lot of patch notes. I read all the patch notes. Okay, people tell me I'm the best at reading patch notes. these slight Movado nerfs were unjustified.
But yeah. So, okay, a little bit about some game-changing things. Now let's talk about some more wait, actually, I was about to say some more positive things, but even this isn't, like, that well. The shrine skins. Now, funny enough, also,
First, before we get to the shrine skins, we need to talk about the update to the shrine itself.
Yeah, that's what I was, like,
But I'm going to do it, because this is something I talk about.
Baraka.
This is my domain. You two talk the gameplay, I talk about other stuff.
That's true. You have like the list of like all the shrine skins and all the characters and stuff. So
he's the gacha
take it away,
king.
then.
He plays gacha games. He likes the multiple unlocks at once.
The big thing that this season was that the shrine got updated so that you could actually do 10 pulls at once instead of just one at a time, which is a great addition. It should have been like that from the beginning. I don't know why it took so long to do it, but they did do it.
6 seasons.
And so you go in, you're like, yes, I'm gonna get my draw. I'm going to draw 10 items and you get 6. They put 6 things in the shrine this season, and it's just Quan Chi's festival outfit. And
which is great. I actually think that festival outfit is actually really fun.
It looks good. It's just that's all they put in. Actually, they updated the shrine so you could get 10 things at once and didn't put 10 things in the shrine.
Yep.
Idiots.
That actually kind of surprised me. That Quan Chi like skin, because I was thinking, because it never crossed my mind that was a possibility in the story mode. But I'm thinking like, oh yeah, a little bit of a joke section as a disguise. He got carried around with that skin. That actually is a skin too, and also that's the first time the shrine has a DLC skin in the game that you guys can get right now too.
Yeah. Clearly they are just like we can get colors for Quan Chi's one of his, I think it's the Order of
Union of Light.
Yeah, so that one you can get recolors of that. So they are starting to integrate DLC stuff for Quan Chi a few seasons later. So probably in like, we're getting Ermac recolors this season as well. So we're probably going to see his light or dark costume in like a season or two. Although we'll talk about what Reptile Ermac actually gets when we talk about the new colours.
Invasion stuff.
But what they'd normally do before now was they'd have 2 new story costumes in the shrine, and that's been the way it was since launch. But now they've added 5 to the game, into the game files, and one is the Quan Chi, and then there's the 4 Shaolin outfits, and there's some really good recolors. If you go on MK Warehouse, you can see them, like Kung Lao's got like a black and blue and a black and yellow. So not to MK2 and 3, some really good colors there. But
I like Johnny's full black one. Yeah,
but they have been moved to the seasonal towers. You have to do the seasonal tower to get Kung Lao, and then the other 3 are not available yet. So they're probably going to be available next season and the season after. And
you see, this is where I'm actually interested in. Is that like the only way you can get that palette, or is that just like you can get this palette earlier by doing like this, and these will be in the shrine eventually? Because that's only one palette. You aren't getting the other 5. It's only that one orange Kung Lao like Shaolin Monk's costume. You're not getting all of them. So that's why it makes me think that this is just like an early way you can get it. If that is the only way you can get it, that would suck ass. Like, we'll get to some of that stuff later on.
The way they've approached unlocks in this season has been really weird. It's very different from the way it's been up to now, and so, which could be a sign that they're just like, this is just low priority. We're putting priority in the better stuff later, which is really unfortunate for Sonic, that the season where they decide let's just low priority this stuff while we focus on the bigger stuff happens to be his season, his time to shine. Which
don't worry, we'll get into that.
It's also a shame generally, because Reptile just had like the coolest concept for a seasonal recolor, which is the lizard skin. Like, oh, what does Raiden get? Oh, they get grey hair, glowing eyes, and like the lightning effects and stuff, and it just wasn't that good in execution. Then you have like, oh, tattoos, or the cryomancer stuff. Like, they've not been very good up to now, and it's Chaos. Don't get me started on Chaos, but this is just lizard colours, and we've seen how good it could look in the final chapter of the story mode. they've even done more fusions either this season or last for the invasions, and like the ones what we get is not as good. Like, why did we not have Crocodile as a colour for Geras? The asset just exists. You have the textures, just give us Crocodile. It's bullshit.
Crocodile. Yeah, I'd like that.
But yeah, so it remains to be seen what they're going to do with the Shaolin outfits and whether they just change the entire approach to the story costumes. There's still plenty that we don't have yet. Like, we don't have the stealth suits for Johnny and Kung Lao. No, we have Kung Lao's, we don't have Johnny's. We don't have Ashura's festival outfit. Well, we don't have any of the festival outfits other than Quan Chi, actually. Oh, and Kenshi. So they're not doing it all uniform. Like, the Shaolin are all together, yes, but they didn't do that with the others. And why are you reading that comic and said, "Listen to me, you son of a bitch"?
Oh no, basically you've already copy-pasted exactly what I was going to say already, so... But we'll get to...
You stole my thunder, Snake.
Well, basically, you're kind of combining the Shrine and Invasion mode stuff, so that's why I'm trying to, like... We'll get to that, but then you're kind of already, like...
Yeah,
what's the phrase, like, shooting your load too early or something like that? There's, like, this American phrase I heard or something. So, like, basically, like, what you are saying... Like, trust me, I'm festering in my body. I will shout this shit on like 30 minutes from now. But so that's basically, I'm just letting you talk essentially. Like, yeah, of course, yes, you're right.
It's weird. We'll see how it goes. I've been doing these like infographics kind of on Twitter for all this related stuff, like this and the and who can and cannot have an invasion season, which has been completely messed up now because. There's there are a couple of characters who have now got their evil costumes just in the invasion season. Just like I think it's Smoke and some it's like that one is going to take some updating, but yeah. So keep up with me on Twitter to see that stuff. But for now, NetherRealm's trying to ruin my low. What's the word when you put a lot low investment content on Twitter. They're specifically targeting me, and I will not have it. They've already gone after me for the Chronicles thing. I will not stand for this, NetherRealm. I have a gun. Yep. Do not make me use this.
It's a fake gun. You can see the orange part in the front of it. It's a fake gun,
Come on.
Don't worry. Oh, he's trying to do the monitor thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to do like a bit where I'm like, don't mess with me, and then accidentally...
You got the red dot on your head accidentally.
The Shaolin monk skins... Maybe I'm just lucky that I don't have this personality type. I'm not a big collector. I don't need every single skin in the game. I only lose my mind and become obsessive when it's like that one skin that I really like. So for example, when it was Mileena's season, I was like, I need to get that Mileena evil skin. Like, I just like it a lot. Yeah. Or when in the Shrine they had Kitana's festival skin, I was like, I gotta get it. I need that festival skin. But like, as far as the Shaolin monk skins, they're kind of cool, but I don't need them. I don't need to grind for that or anything. So I don't really care if they're in the tower instead of,
Check out their palettes though, because I do think while yes, the orange ones kind of are just that's the Shaolin monk like attire, but like the palettes actually do make them look pretty good. Yeah, you can probably look those up. Cool. So a couple of things that Snake jumped over because he got really invested in shit talking invasions mode, which we will get to. Don't worry.
How dare he?
He forgot to mention a couple things in the Shrine. For one thing, he glossed over it, but we forgot to kind of review the last shrines, which was the Festival Kenshi and the Armor Kung Lao, which are just fine skins. I'm happy to see them in the game finally. Festival Kenshi is funny, so that's like that's a cute one. I'm happy that's in the game. If you do a brutality, or if you're like in the finish him like screen, like his entire like mask will just fall off and it just come back to like default like Kenshi face. So that's pretty funny. Same with Quan Chi. Same with Quan Chi there too.
Oh, interesting.
The
I
other
find
thing
it funny how Quan Chi's festival skin is like. Canonically, if you wanted to justify why he's wearing that, it's because he woke up after they dressed him like that, and he's just fighting because he would never like choose to dress that way, and I find that hilarious.
Absolutely.
Well,
that's the only reason he has it.
Well, looking
maybe
at that,
he liked the drip so much that he kept it.
Why Kitana, Mileena, and Reptile in the Earthrealm outfits? Like, what is your canon justification for that?
Snake, stop jumping topics. That's literally our next topic. Come on.
Cage took them shopping. Yeah.
Okay, one last thing before we go into that transition. The last thing to mention about the Shrine is that basically, since Season 1 till 5, you can get the seasonal palettes, the invasion palettes, in the Shrine too. So it's like, you can get like, red costumes in the first season. In the Shrine, you can really unlock that. You can get like, the last season stuff is like stuff. But this time, none of those are here too. the only thing in the shrine is the Quan Chi stuff. So if you want to get invasion things, you can't luckily get the reptile like green pellets for your characters in the shrine. They just didn't do that, and that's sucks. I have so much money to spend.
There's a reason why. There's a reason why it's like that.
Oh yeah, we watched that video. Snake and I both watched the same video.
No, I mean broadly it's because they didn't make many of them.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's also possible.
What's
I was
the
going to
video
ask
you're
about
talking
that
about,
because I didn't finish the invasion mode. I imagine that Sonic already did because it's his boy. But
well, me and Snake have done it. Yeah.
I haven't.
Are there just way more pallets in the mode itself? Because you can't get them in the store anymore. So are they just more than in invasion mode, or are there just less? Period. Like I can't get a green this character.
Okay. We keep skipping topics. Do we want to just get an invasions mode then at this point? Because there is a ton of invasion modes info that we can't get into.
Okay, Season of the Reptile should have been called Season of the Saurian. Why are you just naming it after the character? That's lame. And you lose the alliteration. Yeah, what is wrong with you? But the premise is...
The word reptile can mean, a lot of things.
Yeah, but the premise is that Reptile shows up from another timeline with his army of Saurians. Not much information is given about the nature of his timeline, but that's about what we expect now. But the actual concept is pretty unique because the idea is they're just tracking down all the major characters and just murdering them and taking their place as shapeshifters. Like straight up, General Shao, Li Mei, Scorpion, they've all just been killed. They're all dead. They all just get murdered off screen and replaced by these Saurians, and that's what the bosses are. You're tracking down all the people who've been replaced. That's a cool idea. I've not finished it, so I don't know how the story plays out exactly after that. But
wait, so should we not talk about what happens afterwards then?
I'm fine.
Are you guys mind the spoilers?
Yeah, I don't mind either.
Okay, yeah.
I will say though, real quick, those Saurians look really cool in 2D. Like the artwork of like the Saurians just walking around look honestly better to me than gameplay. They look a bit more lizardy.
You mean the reptilian forms, like in the game?
I've seen the reptile form just like walking around, lurking in the 2D like art. They look almost more menacing and more reptile. To me, like reptile in the game looks kind of like a weird mix of like a reptile and a dog. He's kind of like in this weird middle area.
In my reptile episode, the chapter 7 video, I call him like the pug of the lizard species.
Yep.
he does look kind of dumpy and weird when he's walking around. Like he looks a little awkward. Like he does look like he's not really comfortable in his own skin all the time.
Running around with elongated arms.
It's also just really funny that like every single Titan in the multiverse decided Reptile is going to be a shapeshifter. Every single one made the Saurians the exact same way. For some reason, every single one.
A couple things that I want to mention is like as a Reptile fan, it's like, of course, the dream would have been that this invasion season would be related to like the old lore, where it's like, oh, the old Saurian, maybe like the MKX like Lizard Queen that they tease, or all that kind of stuff, and they're invading to save their species or whatever. But I'm not disappointed in the idea what they go with, because this season is very similar to because I think at this point there are two types of invasion mode storylines. There is the I'm a big conqueror, I'm going to conquer your realm, or there's a bit more thought put into it. There's a bit more of a character drama going on, and that's like Scorpion and Raiden season. But as I'm conquering your realm, there's not much backstory for the Reptile like character, for this version of Reptile and all that kind of stuff. But I do think the idea that they go with is quite fun, especially because the shapeshifting aspect was only really hinted at in an intro dialogue between like Reptile and Shang Tsung. Because you get an intro dialogue, if you have two reptiles fighting each other, Cyrax will be like, I know that's you, Shang Tsung, and then the other reptile, haha, I'm gonna defeat you in this form. But then you get another intro dialogue, if you have Shang Tsung fighting Shang Tsung, one of them will just say like, I've mastered shapeshifting and now I'm gonna beat you by yourself and stuff like that. So it's like, what if like Reptile could master the shapeshifting and turn to other people? And they took this idea and just expanded it into this invasions mode, into this like plot line where I'm watching and I'm like, what is this, like John Carpenter's The Thing, essentially, or Secret Invasions, taking over
I
characters
bet Secret
and stuff
Invasion
like
was the basis. I bet that was the idea, because the show just came out was it a few months ago or a year ago? But it was relatively recent. I would put money down that the evil green invaders from another world, that shapeshift, was just stolen entirely from Marvel.
And then like also
I wish that the Saurians would be defeated the same way the Fantastic Four beat the Skrulls in their first appearance, where they were like disguised as cows, and so Reed like used a device to make them think they were real cows, and it just leaves them grazing in a field thinking they're cows. Like just something really fucked up like that.
Oh, that's why I'm so mad we had to wait this long to get a. Well, it might not even be comic book accurate, but we're finally getting a Marvel, like Disney Marvel Fantastic Four. We'll see how they do.
Oh yeah, good luck with that.
Like that. Magneto needs to show up and get defeated by a wooden gun. This has to happen.
Shoot, what was I talking? Oh yeah. Also, like you just mentioned, like they straight up kill characters and replace them. Yeah. So yes. I'm pretty certain that thanks to like this season, like it's very, very, very like certain that invasion mode is not canon, or else like what? Scorpion is dead. Is that what you mean to tell me now?
Sonya
basically,
got torn in half in the background.
Did they not get resurrected at the end?
No. Ah, crap. Yes. They did not come back to life this time. They just died. In fact, okay, you know what? Let me tell you what happens at the end here. So basically, Reptile isn't a very big deal in the story mode this time. It's just basically, I have taken out some of the big dogs, and now we are my biggest opponent is the biggest apex, Cyrax from the other universe. Time to fight him. And the ending of the storyline is essentially Liu Kang defeats Cyrax, and also he kind of remarks a line saying like, you know, I don't relish killing people, but for this one it's pretty fucking satisfying because he killed a lot of my friends and stuff like that. And then you see like him getting rid of the other like shape-shifting reptilians. And at the end of the story mode, let me actually pull up the screenshot here. I got spoiled by this. I kid you not. Like I got spoiled by this like like the first hour this update happens. Boom! Like the spoiler for the ending came out right on my feed because motherfucking stans can't shut the fuck up, and they just had to like talk about this because it happened apparently. But basically, the ending of the story mode is Liu Kang is like, okay, I'm pissed. I'm gonna go to their like realm, and I'm gonna like fuck them up because they fucked me up, and I'm gonna get ready. But then it's like he goes to their realm, and it's like, oh, they actually elected a new leader who is all about peace and equality, and it's pretty good. We're gonna chill now, and this new like ruler is Queen Chameleon.
Ah.
So that's the ending of like this
Why is
invasion
she purple?
mode. It's basically. Dog, watch the cutscene. She changes color every 5 seconds. Yes, yes, she changes like gray,
yeah,
green,
it's like the
purple.
ending to Sleeping Beauty. She's just changing colors that are dressed the whole time.
It just keeps changing it, yeah.
At least 5 people got that reference I was talking about. The ending of Sleeping Beauty, where her dress keeps changing.
Is that what happens in the original animation and stuff?
Yeah. I thought for a split second, because of how the art is, like she's so pale and like the sun's beaming off her. Before I made the image large, I thought she was actually going to be fully invisible and just be like in that pose, but it's just the clothes. I was like, no way, they went full like she's just invisible. But no, it's just that she's that pale, so light's bouncing off her like that.
Yeah. I got spoiled by this because Chameleon stands are just like, Queen, dress, the bob. Like, hour 1, I'm like, how the fuck? Okay, cool.
The only lame thing about this is that we see like the soldiers next to her are still in their Saurian forms, but we don't get to see if Chameleon has one. She's just human.
I complain about that. Yeah, too. I'm like, come on, dude. She's
a big, gross-looking toad sitting in the chair with a dress, like a big, pretty dress and jewelry.
So many fan arts of her lizard form already. Give us the white chameleon like form. Damn it, NetherRealm.
That would be cute. She's like still got the white skin, but in lizard form, kind of like in that that one anime I can't think of the name for. Oh,
Overlord.
Yes, thank you. I was gonna say overpowered, but yeah, Overlord. Yeah, the pale lizard girl.
Crush Lulu. Yeah. Yeah. I know too much about this. But the thing is, also I don't know. This screenshot's pretty funny because you get to see like the collector on the left in the first one screenshot.
Yeah, but someone else pointed this out as well. I noticed it, but I didn't mention it on Twitter. But his face kind of looks like Gyarus.
Someone did say he got plastic surgery. Someone did say it's like he might just be a random ass like.
I think they are just reusing. They just reuse different faces. Like that woman getting eaten looks a lot like Kitana, and then when you look at
and also it should have been me, but yeah, I get what you mean.
Guardian like Tanya's ending. A lot of them look like Lee May or Kitana or Tanya. So I think they do just like use the existing face models as the basis when they're drawing, which is. a bit lame. Like whoever drew the.
You think that's lame?
The Mileena one.
You think that's lame?
The Mileena one. We got all the different Mileena costumes in the background. That person knew it was up. But here they're just like, you can draw literally anything. I'm just gonna draw the same face.
You think that's lame? Okay, let me show you something here. So, and the second cutscene before you fight Reptile, he'll see like, now we have the final apex Reptile, and he looks like this basically, and it's like he's like ambushing somebody. You can see in the background on the left, you got weird ass Kung Lao with like Smoke's hair.
That's Kung Lao with the symbiote from Spider-Man 3.
And for some reason, Serena's in the background, just walking there. Hi, hello,
Hell
Serena.
Yeah.
There's a couple of funny references and stuff.
What's funny too, Snake, is that that's not just Kitana getting eaten there in that picture. That outfit is very similar to Titan Kitana, which is even more confusing because she should not be in this timeline.
And again, in this latest picture, the guy up front, that's Raiden's outfit from the start of the game.
What?
I'm pretty sure that's Raiden's farmer outfit. Yeah. And the guy on the left, looks dressed like Kung Lao with the red sash and the blue pants.
You could just argue that's how farmers dress in that area, though. But yeah, I get what you mean.
This is
what's funny to me is like, imagine like we know it's not canon, obviously, but imagine if it is, and like when everyone asks why Sonya's not in the sequel, they go, "What do you mean? She died in the season of Reptile." You didn't see in the background she was torn in half.
Okay. You know what I bet's going to happen?
The amount of anger there would be.
Who's the next season?
Shang Tsung.
What did he do in MK3?
Which is flabbergasting.
What did he do in what?
MK3.
He
revive people.
Yeah, he revives Sindel.
I think that it's gonna be season of the Revenant or something. Like you'll be Revenant characters. Like they're all been brought back by Shang Tsung. Everyone who died, Shang Tsung brought back. It's like, oh, here's a timeline where lots of people died. They all get brought back, and then Liu Kang has to fight them again. But this time he just defeats them and then kills Shang Tsung, and then they get to come back to life. So I'm predicting there'll be continuity, because otherwise it'd be really weird that so many characters die. I might be giving NetherRealm the benefit of the doubt again, and I know that doesn't tend to historically go well when I give NetherRealm the benefit of the doubt, but I'm willing to trust them that the reason they're doing Shang Tsung is because they want to do this little two-parter basically, and it's like it gives them a cool theme, because otherwise what do you do for Shang Tsung's theme? You're not going to have old man versions of everyone. You're not going to do like it might be Ermac-ish souls or something like that, maybe. I think Revenant's probably more likely, just because that's more of an established idea.
I'm thinking of everybody getting glowy eyes or something like that, like True Underdog's thumbnail, like for every character.
Actually, I think green glowing eyes at this point is more associated with Quan Chi's mind control. So I don't.
True, his fatality too, yeah.
So I don't know if we'd get that. I mean, I suppose I can easily see them do both the glowy eyes and the Revenants, but it depends on which order they do them in.
Well, can you imagine though if also like the ending is like, oh, I defeated Shang Tsung, and then like, the good Shang Tsung from the Order of Light timeline taught me soul magic, and together we revived everyone who was killed by Reptile in the previous invasion.
Yeah,
and
could be.
The only dumb thing about this being canon, though, is that like in the next game that eventually comes out, unless they just make this a one-off game and there is no like canon sequel, like these heroes have been through a lot of shit.
Yeah, in the invasions
amount of time. Like, dear God.
That's why I have to imagine
this
is not
planet
canon
in the history of fiction.
There's too many. Yeah, it's like we made that joke a long time ago where it's like, oh yeah, just got mind control from a vampire. Now I'm back, and it's like, yeah, and I had to handle like the army of Mileena, and Lee May coming in being like, I was a scaly for a while and stuff like that. We made that joke a long time ago.
But poor Smoke, like he's always going through all the bullshit. It's like I'm just trying to raise my apprentice. He wants to have Hanzo be a cool fighter. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna help oversee Raiden's stuff, and then he gets turned into an evil vampire for a bit, and then he's restored, and then he gets like killed by a lizard man and gets replaced, and then he gets resurrected, maybe being mind controlled. I wouldn't put it past them given what we're gonna see when I talk about Onslaught, but.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It really is.
So overall, I would say story-wise, in terms of the I'm just a conqueror type storyline, I think this is my second favorite. I think Mileena is still my favorite, and put this a little bit below that, or it's around that area in my opinion, because I really like the Mileena idea. So it's like probably like the third or fourth best out of all the invasion story modes as of right now, and I like this one in general.
what if this is actually the start of a trilogy? And we get the Shang Tsung one, and we'll get the reveal that this is not the main timeline, it's a spin-off one. And what happens is, everyone dies, and then Liu Kang will kill Shang Tsung. But in the course of that, maybe it's like Shang Tsung does resurrect everyone as his revenants, and Liu Kang kills him, and they all die again, and he's like, I've had enough. And then the next season is the actual main timeline. Yeah, season of Liu Kang, season of the
that's a cool idea.
Season of the fallen fire god, or something like that, and like that's how we transition into that, and that's the final season before we get Havoc.
Before we get to like the expansion story mode, there is like, I think we're getting kind of close to the end of the current run of Invasions, right? It's like there's not many more skins to pick from. I would say I'm kind of surprised that it wasn't Kitana, because I was very believing in your video, Snake, because you made the video like, if you look at like, literally the pattern, if you look at like the above and like what skins have been added, Kitana just seems like the next one, and it's like Shane's like, the one that we have 20 palettes in the game as of right. I have a palette that looks just really similar to the current one that he already has. It's like a little darker red than like the fresh red. It's like, oh, okay.
Plus, like I said in the video, it's redundant to have Shang Tsung, because he's already the main villain of the story. It's the same reason why Havoc wouldn't get one, because he's going to be the main doing this exact thing. We're really going to have this timeline get invaded by Shang Tsung twice, really? and both just wear the same outfit.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Like, that's why I wonder if they're gonna pull a like, oh, he's actually gonna be wearing the Union of Light skins. You can unlock those palettes this time and stuff like that. It doesn't make sense. But yeah,
because remember, last time Liu Kang and Shang Tsung fought the big Titan battle, it fractured reality into all these divergent timelines. What if they say that happened again? In the brief time Liu Kang had his fight against Shang Tsung, it's like it fractured again. So then invading Shang Tsung is one who killed Liu Kang in the divergent timeline from M1K's ending that we didn't see. He killed him, and now he's going to try and invade the victorious Liu Kang's timeline. And it's just like the same thing again, but like on a grander scale.
It's an infinite loop then, Snake. If they do it like that, it's just a loop.
Wait, unless Liu Kang's like, I understand now. The only way to defeat Shang Tsung is not to fight him as a Titan. It must be you, my chosen champion, whoever this is. I will not fight him this time. It must be whoever you are.
That's what happened in Chapter 15. Your character wins against Shang Tsung and Quan Chi.
But he does fight him, though. Because he does fight him briefly.
A little bit in the beginning, but you're the one who finishes him off.
Just enough. Just enough. And so now he's like, I can't fight him at all this time. You have to fight him entirely on your own. And then you just go in as like Peacemaker or something. I just like the idea of Peacemaker and Stryker rocking up and just shooting Titan Shang Tsung dead.
It's over, Titan Shang Tsung. I have a Glock.
It's like the scene in
a popular joke that I've seen in videos. Like, well, so and so is the most powerful character. Oh yeah, well, Stryker has a gun.
Yeah, it's like the scene in Peacemaker when he and Vigilante are just like shooting stuff, and it's like them two just doing that, like under leg bang, like shooting Shang Tsung.
Awesome.
But yeah, so that's like the story modes. Like, that's what happens in the story of Invasions mode. Now let's talk about the mode itself. I must say, every time when we replay this mode, I always give like a bit of like, good job, you've been improving a little bit and a lot of kind of stuff. I must say, this is probably the best Invasion mode season. Obviously, you can like go in and unlock all the scaly content, is what I would have said, and that's what I've been preparing to say. If it weren't for the fact that the prizes you get are honestly probably less by like 70% than what you usually get in every other Invasion mode season. We'll get to the prizes individually later on, but like in the gameplay, you try to go through Invasions mode, you try to unlock things, and like half the time I use an ornate key to unlock a chest. I open a chest, what's in it? You get a relic.
I got so mad they brought that back.
A Coke.
Sometimes it is literally just one consumable for one fight. Not even a relic, not an amulet, not something that could be useful in the long run. It's you open up the chest and you get something you can use for one fight.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so
a talisman,
I've described this season as anemic, because there's so little content to get, and the devs really did not restructure the mode to accommodate. They should have cut the number of maces by about half.
Yes, but I have an objection to that because
I know the maces are a bit shorter, and there's a lot more you can skip now. I think. I feel like you can it's a lot easier to just run right to the end. But I think overall,
yes,
they still should have had less maces. Because I feel like even if you don't care about the content itself, the content distribution in prior seasons was pretty fair. Like you get a decent number of costumes for the amount of space you have to cover, whereas now it's like you're covering the same space, or maybe like a little bit shorter, but you're getting nowhere near as much content for it. It's an absolute waste of time.
I go through like the first maze to the Fire Temple, and after I got to the end, I'm like, what was that? 3 pellets? It's like, pretty sure you would get like a hunka-chunka bunch of... Oh, this one pisses me off so much. There are the Chaos Realm portals that you'll accidentally walk into, and you can get your prizes. Used to be like, you go in here, you open the chest, you get the prizes. You open here, you get the chest, you get the prizes. Now it's like, only the chest at the very end do you get a pallet. And sometimes it's not even like an amazing pallet. It's just like, you did it, you get this okay pallet. And that's everything else you got was just like the relic or the talismans or the consumables, yeah. It's
also really weird distribution for the actual pallets, because I feel like some characters get just like a green version of their outfit. And
I have...
Good. Like just base Sub-Zero in green looks really good. I wanted to give... Reptile a Lin Kuei uniform at some point. Just give him the exact Lin Kuei uniform the others have.
Reptile?
Well, why not?
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean. I thought you were going to say like the Shaolin monks, because like him and Astra were like trained by Liu Kang at a point.
Do that as well. Although the Astra one will take more work, because they have to make a female version of the outfit. Whereas like with Reptile, they can just literally just take Johnny's or Kung Lao's or something and just use it. Same as like you could just take Scorpion's outfit, make it green, and give it to Reptile. But the point is, like, I know stuff like, say, here's the lizard colour for Scorpion, and it's just for the evil costume, but he gets 2 of it. But then normal Scorpion doesn't.
Snake, I'm gonna do the thing you did with the shrine. I'm gonna steal this moment because I have it all prepared. So basically, because like I said, I wanted to talk about the gameplay first, but why not? I'll talk about the palettes now, because I do have an entire like spread, not like a giant spreadsheet, but like what Snake said,
opening the Google Docs.
I'm opening the docs here, opening the shit here. It's so weird how they distribute like what palettes you get in this. Like you were just saying, you can get like a green Sub-Zero. Cool. Can I get a green Scorpion default? No. But you can get his Order of Darkness version of him, and in fact it's like scaled up and all that kind of stuff. Okay, cool. What about like, can I get Raiden in green? Yes, but his is Union of Light, and only Union of Light. The ones I just said, only those. So it's like every single character, when you are trying to unlock their skins, or when you're trying to see what they got in this invasion mode, it's like rolling the dice. All right, Tanya, which one are you gonna get? Union of Light. That's the only one that you're going to get green palettes for this season. Okay, and then Geras is also Union of Light. And then I think Kitana was like Union... I'm sorry, I'm going to the Union of Light ones. Mileena looks pretty great, by the way. Mileena's, you get Order of Darkness, and only your Order of Darkness when it's getting a green palette.
And it's got 2 of them.
And they're very similar. That's my big issue too. Is like they give like 2 green palettes, and they're like so similar that it almost like warrants not even putting them both in.
Yeah, it's like what they really should be doing is like, it should be each of the 3 costumes for each of the characters should get a green and a lizard version.
And that's too much effort, Snake. Holy shit! Like a lizard version of every character.
Yeah, as opposed to like, here's Order of Darkness Scorpion in green with the lizards, and then here's a version where his outfit's like a bit more orange or brown tinted. But it's otherwise the same. Like that's it. Or how about Ermac, where the lizard stuff only covers his eyes, the entire rest of his body, his face is still grey.
We'll complain about the lizard shit.
I want to complain now!
Alright, fine. I'll join you. Go.
Well, Sonic has this PowerPoint, though. We gotta let Sonic do his PowerPoint.
No, it's okay. We can complain about the scalies right now. Let's do it right now. Snake is in the mood. I'm in the mood then, too.
When you have Ermac in his default mask, it looks great. Because the eyes are all you can see, so it looks really good. But then when you put any other mask on that, like, we can see more than his eyes, we can see his mouth or his neck, you see it's still grey. They didn't recolor that part. It's so stupid.
I actually like that. It reminds me of Killer Croc from the Suicide Squad movie. I kind of like this.
Son of
the
a
top and the rest is white. Like,
it doesn't make sense. His
like
body everywhere is all scaled up still, but then somehow just all the way up here, boom, white. But then all the way up here, scales. Here. This is what happens every time you perform a fatality on Ermac. That's what he looks like. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, you wouldn't notice that because he has a mask on.
Like, Lima has something kind of similar. Only the side of her face has scales,
every single scaly skin that they added into the invasions mode. That's what happens. It is not, they don't full on do the scaly for the face. It is only a teeny bit more scales on the side of your face. Or here, I have a close-up of like, say, like Scorpion. He looks good with a mask. You can't tell his face is. Oh no, never mind. It's not. It's not full on scaled up. You got like Natara, who has like a little bit of scales here. Her middle part is all skin too and stuff like that.
Well, Natara's biggest sin is wearing not mostly green. That's the most annoying part with her. She's wearing mostly like leafy brown.
Yeah, I don't understand like the thought point of making these skins and being like, okay, we're gonna do the reptile skin. We're gonna give them the reptilian skins. Should we make them all scaled up, or should we just do like a human stuff and like maybe not too scaly, Because like I think they did that with like General Shao. Essentially, he is not scaly on his face whatsoever. He's only tinted green. And honestly, I prefer if you do that. Just be like, okay, he's tinted green.
Okay.
And if you want scales, actually General Shao works because he already has like the dragon scale and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he's like the only outlier who has this for the scaly stuff essentially. Everyone else is like, they have scaly like pretty much all over their body, but their face. And you have outliers like Li Mei who doesn't have scaly for her legs for some reason. And
it's also
like
weird. I just noticed something. It's either green and orange for some reason, or green and brown, or some characters are lucky enough to get green and purple, which I like because it's kind of a reference to MK4 in a subtle way, which is fine. But why the brown? Why green and brown? Like
the color of dirt. I don't know.
It looks like they're like, I mean, because I can't unsee it. Natara looks like she's a fallen leaf, or like one of those animals that tries to blend in while on a tree branch. That's like how Natara looks. I will say though, if you pick her her wings that are neon, they are neon green, which is
that's
cool.
Nice.
That's what
I
do when I play as this skin. But yeah, it's just, the Li Mei one's also pretty cool. I also like how, I know we're like shitting on it and that's all good, but one thing I do like is that their hands become reptilian. So when they're doing the little at the start, you're like, oh, it's kind of cool. Their hands look different, and you're like, that's kind of creepy. Like it's like a human face, but like creepy little dinosaur hand.
But what about the toes? Are the toes lizard?
No, sadly not.
I cringe. Absolutely pathetic.
But I'm gonna say this here, like, as much as I'm giantly complaining about this, and I'm really pissed off about this, like, a lot of them do look good. Like the Li Mei skin looks good. Like, I actually really like Baraka. I think Baraka, to me, is, like, I'm okay with the outlier because Baraka is already, like, infected with Tarka. So it's kind of like he's half infected with Tarka, half infected with, like, the Scalies and stuff like that. So I kind of like that aspect about him.
Don't forget, though, they're not infected with the Scaly. They're just Saurians in disguise. So what Saurian got the short straw and has to cosplay as the disease-infected dude?
Dog, I kid you not, when you fight the Baraka in the story mode, it's like, this Saurian is so committed to being like Baraka that he infected himself with Tarka. It's quite commendable. Kill him.
So did he infect himself before shapeshifting into Baraka, or did he do that first and then it's like shapeshifted into human Baraka and then he gave himself Tarkat to be fully authentic? What happened?
Apparently, because he stick with the Tarkon colony for months is like what they're saying. So to play the role, he infected himself with Tarka. He's very committed and stuff like that. That's what Liu Kang says.
He's taking method acting way too far.
Yeah. I also like this one because it's kind of like a fun idea. It's a really basic Havoc Union of Light one. However, like only one of his arms is scaled up.
Yeah,
and I think that's kind of fun. Actually, he pulls the arm off too, so it's like scale arm pulling off.
So to me, it gives off the impression of like as if he just replaced his arm with the lizard one, which I think is actually a cool idea. Like, I won't mind seeing them do that with Havoc. Like he loses an arm and then he's just like rips an arm off like a dead enemy and just like puts it on. It's like, oh, now I've got Tarkatan arm blade or Saurian partial invisibility. That would be fun.
Yeah, because like one of his fatalities is he's put his own heart into the other opponent's heart and stuff. So that would be like a fun idea. Yeah, like the thing is, I'm pissed about this season because like the skins look good, but I'm just like, why couldn't they commit to what we all wanted? Is it because they're afraid it's too ugly to make him fall and scale it up? Or it's like I feel like they're doing the in-between of like what normies would like, which is just not scale it up, and then like what freaks would like. I don't know, scale it up. But it's like they're doing like the in-between, so it's like I don't know, no one's happy with like this weird mash.
You should just do both. You have the space to just do both. It's very easy. You just do both.
It's weird they chose now to dial it back because like they went so extra with Raiden. Like Raiden's season was so cranked to the max, like with the
no, not that one. I think the Mileena season one that the cranked to the max.
Well, as far as like ugly, but I just meant like like with the Raiden, they were like they took the idea of Raiden being a thunder god and like did things that we've never seen be the result of a thunder god, like the lightning tattoos from the face, and the glowing like that's all cool. That's all new stuff. But they're using the idea to like get creative. Whereas with the lizard people, it's like they really, like you said, didn't want to go too far for some weird reason. Yeah.
The word I would use is
I think they're just busy, honestly. I think they're working their ass off right now to get the Aftermath story done. Yeah.
Sure, theory, but at the same time, this isn't like they were busy. This is like, you look at the Ermac skin, only this part is scaled up because he wears a mask. It's not for lazy. It is for it feels like for laziness reasonings. Because it's like, why would other than his mask part not be covered? It's like the designer was like, oh, this is Ermac, I'm just gonna cover his like face up. Like there is some miscommunication in that aspect at least. That Ermac.
Could you imagine if it didn't even have the if it didn't even like finish the scale pattern? At least it just like cut off with a hard line, like the texture just wasn't there. That would have been even more epic.
No transparency, yeah. What are you saying, Snake?
I do wonder if, depending on how far in advance they make these colours, I wonder if it's possible that all the Raiden ones were done before Mileena dropped, and then the Reptile was the next one they were working on, and the massive backlash to how far they went with Mileena made them tone it down for Reptile.
I hope not.
Shit.
I really fucking hope that wasn't the case, and they were dumb enough to think we don't want full scale. I was so pissed. In one of the Invasion Mesas, you will go up against... I went up against like a Sub-Zero, and it's like, oh shit, it's like a full scaled up Sub-Zero. That looks great. I can't wait to unlock this skin. I beat him, and he flies up and just dies, and I'm like, oh, fuck off. That's the hybrid skin. That's not even like...
That happened with me with Crocodile, I think, at one point. Like, yep. But like... I don't know why they didn't use those ones more in this season. Like, really.
Yeah, I only got one.
Like, I think everyone should have gotten a lizard version, and that should have been a thing we fight as all of those fights. So there's no like quantum chi or anything. Every single one should be the lizard ones. I know it might get a little repetitive, but like it fits with the season.
Actually, that's the really weird thing that happened in this. I'll bring up one more thing, by the way. You have the blueprint of success with those hybrid, like the Queen Lizard Sindel, the Sub-Zero, Crocodile, and I think there's one with Mileena. That's what I want, honestly. You also have the blueprints of success in your fucking last game. You did that with like a couple of your characters, and everybody loved the Scorpion Reptile skin. That's what we want. It's like, jeez. But like you were talking about, I noticed that in this Mesa, I feel like a lot of times I'm fighting like the same battles and stuff. In fact, like the same names, because the characters you fight are the palettes you can unlock. But it's like, if I go up against like say Mileena, for some reason I'm always going up against the Order of Darkness Green Mileena, and I'm like always going up against like the Order Union of Light Raiden whenever I fight Raiden, or like just regular Kunlun with green. It's always those versions. So it is the palettes, but because the palettes are so little, I felt like I fought the same character like 6 times because of that.
And now that we're coming back to the gameplay, I wanted to mention something that I forgot to complain about. Whoever brainstormed that really, really dumb new challenge where it's just do the special move faster than the opponent as we count down from 3, that is so stupid. I can't imagine how boring you are to think that was something we wanted. That's like golf levels of boring. Like, what is this?
It's so simple. It's so fast.
I've won every single time.
Yeah.
The only funny thing about that challenge is my buddy somehow managed to die at the exact same time as the opponent, and the game didn't know what to do. They both exploded, and the game just sat there and didn't do a fail or win. It like doesn't know what to do when it's like a frame perfect draw. Yeah.
How can you not anticipate that's going to happen when the entire premise is you both have to do it at effectively the same time? That's the entire concept. Right. How do you not predict that it might happen where it's the same frame?
I always do an enhanced version of the move because I think sometimes your character can like penetrate the other projectile like that.
Oh, sometimes like how Liu Kang's and stuff. You know what's really funny? Now that you mentioned that, Imagine how often that would have happened in the Old West. Like, they both draw their gun, and you don't see this in movies. They both draw their gun, both get shot, and then just immediately regret their decision. Like, we're so dumb. Why did we do this?
It's so cool, man.
Gangrene. But what's funny about that is that usually when it's that, and it happens with the samurai too, with like the quick draw at the same time, and it's like the winner usually doesn't get hit. Even if the winner didn't do anything, the loser, I guess, would have just missed anyway.
Okay, so actually, now that I've gotten a lot of the palettes, I got more palette rants coming up, by the way. Get ready. But let's get back to the gameplay stuff, because again, each invasion season they do add some new gameplay shenanigans. The one you just talked about just then, you can play the quick draw mode, which is, I don't have much of an issue with that because it's such a simple dumbass mode. It's just like, okay, 3, 2, 1, pew. You see a little like hay flying by. It's very cute. The tumbleweed, the tumbleweed. They added the ability to turn around while traveling between encounters, so that's cute. I think that does save a little bit of time. They have added the ability to preview rewards before a boss fight, so you get to see what you're getting. So that's a nice little change that they're adding in there too.
That is cool.
They tell you what, if you have an advantage or disadvantage with the elements while you're fighting a character. That's very helpful. I'm like, oh, cool. Now I know I have a disadvantage, so maybe if I'm struggling in this like fight, then I know it's like because of my character. It straight up tells you, or when you have an advantage. So I do appreciate that stuff. So some small changes here and there, and this is going to come off as a controversial opinion, but I think this is probably currently the best like Invasion Season 2 playthrough. And the reason for that is because for some reason, I think NRS was like, people keep complaining about so many little details about this like mode. So you know what? Fuck it. We're getting rid of all the BS. This was the easiest like Invasion season I've ever been through. It's so, I had no BS like things that happened to me in this Invasion season. And also, the thing you just mentioned to Snake, again, like last season, I think unintentionally you can skip a lot of the encounters. Like I almost felt like 40% of the encounters I did not even need to go through. I know for certain if it's the combo trials, if it's the survival fights, if it's the like the new quick draw.
The ones that everyone complained about pretty much are the ones you can skip.
You can if the character trials, you can just walk past them. In fact, after that, you get a couple of like encounters. I got 2 or 3 of them. You can pass those too. I skipped so many of them unintentionally. I'm like, I didn't need to do this. There was one I very liked. In the Ying Fortress, you have like the split path where you can choose to go left or you can choose to go right. I chose to go right, and then immediately I can go all the way back from the left. I didn't even do any of those encounters. So it was so much easier. In fact, I would really, really recommend people to just look up a guide. Like right now, Ice Cream, the Twitter user, has posted the entire map guide. And if you want to know where the prizes are, where the rewards are, you can just completely follow this guide and just don't give a shit about like the additional stuff. Just go and get the rewards. You can. This is probably like the shortest invasion mode you can do because of how easy it is. With that being said, though, I got everything because I'm Reptile Sim, so I know like half the shit. You don't need to get those because they're just like consumables. I intentionally went for those because I was considering doing the seasonal towers because I feel like, oh, if I have these items, if I go into seasonal tower, like that'll make my life easier. And the funny thing is, though, like I didn't think I had to use those items ever throughout my run in the invasion mode because it wasn't hard, in my opinion.
I am glad the boss fights are not insane this time around. Like the last season before had some of the most ridiculous. Like the boss fights were so weird that people were making YouTube guides on how to like cheese the fights, and thankfully I didn't have to resort to any of those. Like I just had to use specific characters. Like turns out Sindel takes more damage if you pick Ermac. So I'm like, okay, I'll pick Ermac. But even then, or is it Natara? One of the two. But even then, they had like moves that one shot you, and I was like, what the flip?
Tara
it was
and
just
Johnny.
ridiculous. Yeah. Like if the geyser caught you, you just kept getting hit until you died. I was like, what? Who was this fun for? This is ridiculous. So they got rid of most of that.
They did.
As a result, it is very easy. I still kind of recommend that people do all the stuff, like all the mesas, because you get more coins that way, and you get more like not just white coins, but gold coins and stuff just for leveling up and all that. But
there are farming methods that are easier now, honestly.
Oh, okay.
There are, yeah. I didn't really do all the mesas because, well, I did a lot of encounters.
Are the farming methods fun though, or like, you know, not fun per se, but like at least more tedious? Because at least when you're exploring invasions, you're like walking around and like doing challenges and stuff. Whereas I feel like if you're just farming a tower, that's gonna get really boring.
It depends on how you like take it, because if you just want to farm for fights and do that, but then in a way going through the invasion mode is kind of like farming. I will say this though, I did not skip any of the ones that you can skip, you know, like the little modes. I actually played like pretty much all of them. I didn't play all the survive though. Some of those I just could not handle. I did every single character trial, and holy crap, they're all so easy. They really toned down how much easier it is. Like, there was a smoke trial that was like, use 3 abilities. And I'm like, oh shit, how hard is this gonna be? And I used all 3 abilities and I won. I'm like, oh. There is only one challenge that I genuinely think was very, very, very hard. And this one is gonna be like a head scratcher for many people if they try it. I completed all of them. Peacemakers. So if you get to those, you'll know what I mean. That's not really skill based. It's really just like timing and like luck based, in my opinion.
Oh, one of the survive challenges was kind of tricky too, because it's one where that giant beam is following you, and like it's like
I
dodge
did complete
the
that.
projectiles
Yeah, that was too hard for me.
While the beam, and the big twist at the end when the giant orb shows up, you're probably thinking, oh, what do I do? I tried switching to like teleport characters, but it still counts as a loss because it teleports you inside the freaking giant orb. Then I was like, oh, the trick is to let the laser beam fire, move out of the way, and then to destroy all the projectiles, including the big one.
That's an old one. That they did that like 3 seasons ago, I think. They brought it back.
It's very hard. Well, the beam is there, and also there's a bunch of projectiles shooting on the screen, so it's a very difficult one.
Yeah, it's one of the only tough challenges in the whole invasion season, probably. But then at the end, like Snake, a giant ball shows up that you can't get around at all. It's just like slowly coming towards you. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
There is one survive that I absolutely love, and I hope you guys will find it. I think it's in the Living Forest. Basically, what happens is like you get this little like Cyrax ball that like just pops up, and the goal is to hit the Cyrax ball, and you're playing like Pong. It will like bounce around the screen, doing, 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 and there are like little blocks on like the screen, and you have to like, depending on how strong your ability is, it's like the ball could like, if you just do a little jab, they'll be like doing, boink, 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 and like bounce around. If you do a really like strong special attack, it'll just like all around the screen, and you have to try to like hit the little bricks on the screen. I love that little mini game. There's only like one of them. I was like, oh, that's very cute. I appreciate that one.
I was surprised to see that they did do, that they have implemented the guest characters into this season. Before now, they had 0 presence. I mean, you don't fight them in this still, but they have the character trials. Do you?
There is. Should I spoil? Okay. Have you guys reached the flesh pits yet?
No.
I will say this. Yeah, like you said, you can play the character trials and you get to play as a guest character, so I think that's pretty awesome. I think the flesh pits is really fun just because finally a new mesa to explore it, and it's actually pretty epic. It's like, oh, you get to see like this random room with like corpses. You get to see like this jail cell. You get to see like an electrocuting room and stuff like that. It's a pretty cool like place to explore. I actually really like that final mesa there. There is one encounter, and it's called From Jason, and basically what it is like you going up against Omni-Man. He has super armor. There's blood shooting from the blood raining from the sky. He will go invisible, and all he does is teleport. So it's kind of like playing a horror game. You hear the sound, you don't know where he is. It's very interesting, actually. That little challenge.
Slaps you in the back of the head. Ah.
Yeah. And also, if you complete that one, it says From Jason. You get like you get a very good palette, and I'll get to that palette later on. So that one's a very worth it one to do.
Well, the Flesh Pits, I'm looking at screenshots right now, and someone even just posted on Twitter, like, the Flesh Pits is a pretty gnarly mesa.
Yeah. It's actually a really cool design. The one last thing I'll mention in terms of why I think this season is not too much bullshit. In my entire playthrough Invasions mode, I have a counter here. I got ambushed 2 times. They toned the fuck down that shit. They really went like so much lower. I think after I completed Invasions, I got ambushed 2 more times because I was trying to go through like the boss keys and stuff. But yeah, they toned the fuck out of that. So that's something that people complain a lot in the last season. Like overall, they really made it so much easier this season. In fact, a lot of times you can so easily get herbs to like increase your stats and stuff like that. I so randomly just like get increase stats by 5, increase stats by 1, increase stats all stats, stuff like that. So many times I felt like I never needed to get HP for my character, and like they were still fine throughout my like run essentially. So this is the season that I think Tronorog would appreciate, because Tronorog, you kind of said before, turn your brain off and play through it. No BS. Like
listen to a good podcast and just have a fun time. I don't mind a little bit of challenge, and the stuff that I hate is still there, unfortunately. Like you don't lose, but it's still annoying to be in the middle of a combo and just something falls on my head. And there is no way to know what's about to fall. There's no indicator, there's no warning on screen, just bonk, get hit by a falling head. And I'm like, I really do, like, I don't get in this state anymore, but I used to. I would like sit back in my chair and be like, who thought we wanted this? Who thought, like, yes, I play fighting games to have things randomly interrupt me? Because to me, that's like the equivalent of like playing the game and your friend just like puts their hand on your controller and starts mashing buttons you don't want. Like, it's just interference, you know. It's like, it's not fun.
I agree with you on all that, and I would defend NRS on a little bit on one thing. Your opponent gets that same BS too.
Yeah, and I like when they're slow. Like when a portal opens and a missile slowly comes out, that's fine because I have time to see it coming. The only real issue is I can't tell sometimes if it's coming for me or the opponent.
Yeah.
But yeah, because they're the same color and stuff, you know.
It's also just really bullshit that the really powerful ones, because when you're on a tower, you have to restart if you lose. And so that's the thing that made me that's why I've never bothered with the seasonal towers, because they get the really bullshit ones, and those towers are a lot of fights. And if you lose, and because the way it works now is you don't get experience on the towers until you finish it. So if it's like 7 fights and you win 6, and then you lose in that last one because some bullshit falls from the sky and just kills you dead in one hit. Well, tough shit. You don't get anything for that time you spent. It's absolutely dog shit design.
I would say
another bad part too is that I'm not sure about if it's the case this season. Sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
I know.
But I'm not sure if it's the case this season. But in some of the past seasons, those random things that fly across the screen, like Mileena's Psy, they would hit your character and do like 30%.
I remember those,
thing. You'd be like,
random knife.
Oh? You can just die. Like you have a good life lead and then just get caught by one Psy and just die. And you're like, what? And that's like Snake said, the final battle in the tower or something. And you're just like, but I didn't lose to the actual game. I lost to random RNG.
Yeah, in this invasions mode, so much less. Like all this BS and stuff like that. Like they really toned all that down, which on one hand could make it more boring, but I appreciate that way more. I think it's like, okay, if I can just get through this fast, and that's great. A thing to mention, Snake, I actually thought you did do the seasonal towers. I was hoping to ask you some things about that in the past. Like, you never grinded that before, or?
No, because I think it was on the Mileena season when I first found out all this stuff on there, and there was just some absolute bullshit on there. I think it was like lightning strikes or something that just kills you in one hit, and I was like, I'm not putting up with this.
So in the last season and in this season, it's genuinely, I sent you the farming method. It's genuinely easy as long as you have that bullshit relic that basically takes your meter as your life, because when you have that relic on, you never die.
That's good, except for the times when it's like a multi-round fight, and then the game decides, okay, round reset, that talisman no longer works.
Yeah,
you can't build meter either, because that effect's still in place, so you can't build meter. So you're just gonna die. It's because that's the one that puts you on critical health, isn't it, as well?
Yes, it puts you on critical health, and it just starts giving you a bunch of meter on the first health bar.
And it's like, you just can't get meter anymore. I think sometimes it's also like it won't give you health back either. Like, I think there's something genuinely wrong with it. It just doesn't work properly. And so in boss fights with multiple rounds,
in this season it works though. Like it's like, even if you're full HP on the second, like the purpose of that relic is like it takes your meter as health. So even if you get damaged while you're full HP and like losing HP, it's so much harder to die. It's still a very OP relic in my opinion. Yeah. And also it's that talisman that helps you out way more during those boss fights. Like the meteorite like talisman, like that's the one that you want to use, especially when you're having difficulty with the boss parts of that. I tried. Okay, I'm gonna explain. Should I get into this? Are we done with the gameplay stuff right now in terms of the invasion mode right now?
Yeah. All I have to say is cool. We got a new Mesa. I look forward to seeing what that's like. But I find it really funny that, you know how when the reptile image around the Mesa, where it's like the wrong costume?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's the default outfit, which is weird on its own. But then also, in the cutscene surrounding that fight, he's not in the flesh pits. He's just in a street in Sundo. So, so why are all these details so wrong? What is happening? What are they doing?
Yep. It don't matter
for
them, I guess.
Is the idea just that because Shang Tsung used the Saurian biology to like do his transformations this game, so flesh pits equals that?
I think they just wanted a monster place.
Yeah,
if you're picking a place to have as like Reptile's boss location, I think most people would say live in forest. Yeah, that just makes the most sense. But I guess they wanted to have a cool monster one, or they wanted to have a Mesa of the flesh pits.
He was also the jailer for a brief moment in story mode too, before he joins the good guys. So maybe Evil One stayed the jailer.
Connections there. Okay,
it's this funny idea that it's like, okay, we'll associate Reptile with this location, even though that's not a place that classic Reptile or other timeline Reptiles have a connection to. It's just this one, but it's not him we're fighting. It's a different Reptile.
He's still called Cyrax too. Okay.
It's like how Raiden's like in his ending is like, Scorpion. He knows how to harness rage, and it's like Kuai Liang is like the most emotionless character in the entire series.
Yeah.
He has no issue with rage. Hanzo does. Why would Raiden think that Kuai Liang would have this? It's a different Scorpion.
Yep. It's very funny, like, because I go on Twitter and I see like Scorpion hate like every day. It's like whenever it's like there's this one intro dialogue that got so many people pissed. It's like Scorpion being like, my dark past. It's like you have a dark past or something like that related, and people be like, he's nothing compared to like Hanzo's dark past, motherfucker. It's like the Scorpion, a dark past. It's like, okay, yeah, he got betrayed by his brother and he's got some sad things, but in comparison to my Hanzo, nah, pathetic. Yeah. One thing actually I forgot to mention in the invasion mode this season, and this is a little bit of a glossing over thing. This is the most random way you can unlock these skins, because every time there is a new Titan like fight, it's like, oh, you gotta fight the Titan. This season's gonna be Titan Havoc. You gotta fight through Titan Havoc if you want to get his Order of Darkness skin, or you gotta play through invasion mode to get these Order of Darkness skin, at least the base version for these. Yet for some odd ass reason, you can just get Order of Darkness Kenshi and Smoke in this invasions mode, straight up their base default version, and it's like, okay, you have to play this invasion mode if you want to even like get these. They look pretty good too, I think.
Well, there you go. Then you gotta take back all that you said, because this makes it all okay. You gotta take
just
back
for these two skins.
Yes.
I'm complimenting the invasion mode gameplay wise at least. And also, you can also unlock Union of Light Quan Chi, and it's not the default, but it's super duper looper duper close. I compared it with his actual default. The only difference I could find is like the patterns on his pants, and it's purple. I think it's blue in the default. So it's basically almost one for one the Union of Light like Quan Chi. You can unlock that in invasions mode too, which is very interesting. I don't know how I feel about them doing this in the future. I kind of rather than put them in the shrine, honestly. I'm sure there's gonna be other palettes you can unlock for the Order of Darkness, Kenshi, and Smoke, but
it really does feel like they had a particular idea about how all the content would be distributed. Like where these costumes will go in on this season, and you'll get this stuff this way in this season. But then at a certain point, they decided to realize they weren't going to be able to get all of it out by the time the expansion comes out. Because now they want to move on to it's going to be kind of weird if it's like, okay, now here's the new season for that's for the story expansion, and it's like, and then and then here's like, here's the Spec Ops outfit for Johnny Cage that he's not wearing in this story. He's got a new outfit. It's like, like old hat basically. So it feels like they're trying to like push the stuff out a bit more, get all the stuff out, get it all available ahead of time.
So we don't have
that.
But
that's the vibe I get. That's the vibe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I agree with it, but that's the feeling it instills within me.
The thing is, though, if that were the case, I would dump it all in the shrine. but the shrine only has festival Quan Chi right now. So it's like, I feel like, in that case, don't know the festival skins out this season and stuff like that.
Well, because people do theorize that one of the reasons why things are so grindy and whatnot is because they want to, and why there's so much stuff in Invasions, because they want people to play Invasions so that they can show the people at Warner Bros. The numbers. Like, people are still playing the game, they're still playing this mode. And so it's like, the stuff people want is not just available in the shrine. It's the same kind of thing where it's like, why I don't think I felt like Kitana would get her own season is because you don't just have that be a Titan battle you can get all the pallets for in like half an hour. It's something you have to put multiple hours in to get that by clearing the Invasion season and going through all the post-game areas. They want to inflate the numbers, and like stuff like Kitana's a good way of doing that. And so
I agree with the boss skins because it's like Season of Reptile. I'm here to get the Reptile skin. Season of Kitana, which is definitely happening, I have to assume. Season of Kitana, I'm here to get the Kitana skin. But, like, there is no announcement. It's only by word of mouth, or if you've played through it, that you would know Order of Darkness, Smoke, and Kenshi are in the Invasions mode. Like, that's not a very good marketing, like, for getting these skins. And what if that's the only way you can ever get them, too?
In fairness, I think these are the two, like, least important ones, because those two characters have other costumes in the game that are already very similar. We have the story mode Kenshi in the suits, and Smoke's. Both those outfits for Smoke are very similar.
Very similar. Yes.
I honestly, I feel like it's cooler the fact you can get a green version of the, I think it's Order of Light Smoke, and then when you got him in that, he just looks like human Reptile.
And that actually looks good. I didn't screenshot that, but I do like that skin,
like, I bet you're going to be playing Smoke a lot more now. So you're like, oh yes, teleporting Reptile, my beloved.
Look, I would definitely wish to play other characters if they did one thing and they didn't do this, which really disappoints me. None of these Saurian disguised as humans have green blood. I'm severely disappointed with that shit.
Nice.
I'm like,
then they'd have to redo the innards. Oh, that's too much work.
Because
we'll have to hope Spawn comes back.
You saw what happened to me, Sonic. Did you see me complaining on Twitter or not when I was like, at Team YouTube, what the fuck is this?
I forgot. What happened?
It happened like just yesterday or maybe 2 days ago because I finally complained about it. So I made my, my hat. So anyway, I made a video about the Earthrealm skins. I know we're going to talk about them later, but I made a video just covering the Earthrealm skins, and that's it. And it got demonetized. Out of all the videos, it got demonetized. I'm just looking at the outfits, right? And I assumed it's because for a brief moment I joke about how Kitana's like yoga pants don't have a seam in the crack like all yoga pants I see nowadays do. I'm like, that's not accurate. It should be hugging those cheeks. But I stay on there for like 3 seconds and that's it, right? I thought that's what it would have been. But no, instead I get a manual review and it says, well, after manual review, we still confirmed that you're not fit for monetization. And they show the clip in question and it's a 1 second clip. It's from 3 to 4. And nothing happens. It's just like Movado doing his flying down foot stomp thing for one of the combos. And I'm like, are you telling me I can't even show 10 seconds of gameplay? And it was just to show like Reptile beating up somebody else for once in his like his new drip, his hip hop Earthrealm drip. And just that 1 second of human blood got me demonetized. Are we serious right now? Is that where we're at?
I think you are going to have to use Hook mod to just change the colour of the blood. Or is that not in it yet?
Yes, it's in. It actually was in 2 days ago. I actually got some screenshots of the mod.
I think you're going to have to start using that broadly for gameplay, dog, because it looks like the cracking
And you can request a second manual review, but when I tried to do the link that YouTube sent me, it didn't work. They said, you're not the owner of this video. And I'm like, huh? What? I am.
It's weird. Because, like, I can see Mortal Kombat gameplay, and it's fine. But whenever the fatal blow happens or whenever the fatalities happen, then they censor it. And they're always fine. It's just random whenever they want to decide to demonetize you. Actually, what's really funny, I remember, I want to talk about my recent video that I uploaded recently. And I made a joke saying, like, here is the Flesh Pits, the most demonetizable stage in this game. And I have, like, the joke, like, shutting the curtains down and stuff like that. That video got demonetized, like, a couple weeks before I uploaded it. It's not demonetized now, but I kept wondering, why? And also, it's really ironic that I made that joke and it got demonetized. The reason, it didn't tell me where it got demonetized, but all it said was it got demonetized for, like, sexual reasonings. And I'm thinking, like,
I hate that one. I hate that when they just, like, that's why you know it's not a real person. It's a machine. It's an AI doing this crap. And they claim a human does it. It's like, no, it's clearly not. It's clearly a robot.
In the Baraka chapter, My guess,
it can't be the Takeda the super mutant. Surely it can't be the super mutants. That it can't be the clones because
no way.
So skimpy.
You know, I actually thought it was my sexy reptile, but like
imagine.
I was like, no fucking way they're gonna like demonetize it for this. I did
you
one
imagine
change.
Sonic? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
I did one change, and it's currently fine right now, so I have to assume it's that change. I compared this flesh pits with the previous flesh pits, and I made a joke saying like the advantage of the current flesh pits is it's genuinely super fucking disgusting and more horrific than the other one, but the other one has naked Mileena. And I just show a cutscene of the story mode of just naked Mileena in the pod.
Oh yeah.
Just in the little pod.
And in the new version I covered his boobs up, and it's now safe. So I guess that's maybe why.
Dude, it's so funny. Could you imagine, Sonic, if the reason your video got like flagged for being sexual is just because there's that one dude hanging in the background, that one poor tortured guy who's like the centerpiece of the Flesh Pit stage, and the person reviewing your video is one of those weirdos that's into that kink of like hanging yourself on hooks. I don't know if y'all know this exists, but you're welcome. Now you know this is an actual thing people do. They like thinly hook themselves.
Yeah,
like
it's
they
like in
hang from the ceiling, and it's like a thing.
Stuff.
Well, I mean, I knew that exists. I didn't know it was a kink.
Oh yeah.
So
imagine they're watching it and they go horny, and they flag your video just because
trust me. Name a thing.
Like right now.
Axolotl.
Yeah.
What the heck is that?
Everything
I'm thinking in my head is like definitely something that people would get off to.
Yeah, like just anything or any action or whatever. Someone out there gets off to it. There is a fetish. It has a community. It has a name. Anything.
True. I think the one that shocked me the most still till this day, I kind of caused me like this like. I don't know. I went through like the phase of like just like what is life, and like like the IQ expansion mean is when someone said they had a fetish for this, and I've seen artworks where it's like they make it as big as boobs.
Oh,
and
the
stuff
knee.
Like that. Yeah,
the knee itself. Oh, okay.
I've not seen that, but I can imagine that's the case.
Oh yeah, I can see furries liking that.
To be fair, like as someone who draws, a well-drawn knee is commendable, but not to a sexual extent. But when I see someone draw a knee accurately, I'm like, well done. Well done.
I've seen like, but when I found out like this thing existed, I've seen like people like I don't know, do a pose and the knees are like as big as like a boob or look like a boob. It's so fucking funny. I was disgusted when I saw it.
Well, I don't know if you'll ever read comic books, but like in the 90s and early 2000s, there was this weird trend of like every artist drawing feet weird and also drawing knees weird. Like they kind of had this like universal look where the knee was just like this, like a little hourglass. was the knee. Everyone drew the knee as a little hourglass. And then like, the feet were like weird triangles. Like they didn't look like feet.
Yeah.
And that was like something that everyone did.
Rob Liefeld gets a lot of shit for that.
Yeah,
even the
yes,
Deadpool 2 makes a joke about it.
I loved that. I love that only you and I, Snake, like got that joke.
I actually not. Yeah, you can explain it to me another time. So there's one gigantic topic I'm going to be presenting to you guys, and I think this is going to be super entertaining. But before we do that, we are 2-hour mark. Do you guys want to take a little piss break?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sending you a picture of Spider-Man's weirdly drawn feet from my favorite artist, Mark Bagley.
That is a very cartoony.
And even he could not escape
feet.
the weird foot trend.
I mean, Bagley makes it work because his art is like exaggerated enough to where it kind of works. But I feel like for a lot of people, it's just like because Liefeld is like it is like big dumb muscle, like big dumb 90s muscle, and so it's like it just looks wrong.
The sad part though is that Mark Bagley's modern, like his recent art, he's like made everything more normal. He's not exaggerating anymore. Makes me sad.
If it doesn't look like Ultimate Spider-Man issue 1, I'm not interested.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, Snake. He kind of did exactly what you didn't want. He did a cover of that. Oh no, I'll send it for later when he comes back.
Duggadoo. I see your post.
I found an example of exactly what Snake hates.
From afar, it looks like a giant boner.
What does?
The very bottom picture you sent there.
Well, because that's the original. That's the one from like the early 2000s. It was like iconic. It looks dumb now, but back in the day, that got everyone to buy issue 1 of like Ultimate Spider-Man. But right above that, Sonic, is the same artist, Mark Bagley, but like he just draws everything normal looking now.
Oh yeah, that looks.
It's the exact same pose, but it's just he looks normal.
I do think the bottom one does look better. Although funny enough, like I said, just like that image, I don't know why. I just thought he had a boner.
Oh, like he has a boner. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, like it's like the leg, yeah.
Yeah, that's
why he's swinging so fast. He's got to get home and deal with it.
Oh my god.
Did you ever watch that Spider-Man show on MTV?
Spider-Man show on MTV?
It was all 3D.
Ooh, that sounds very familiar. I think I maybe seen clips of that. Spider-Man MTV.
It was amazing and terrible at the same time. It's a great mix of both.
Interesting. I kind of like the art style if I'm looking at it from screenshots, but like...
Oh, the animation's all good. It looks fun in motion. The only weird part is like Harry Osborn is blonde. It looks nothing like Harry Osborn. But it gave us goth mommy Mary Jane, which everyone's happy about. Everyone to this day loves goth Mary Jane. Also, it's the first time we ever had Neil Patrick Harris voicing Spider-Man, which became a regular thing after that. Like he voices him in the game Shattered Dimensions, and I think he voices him in 2 other different mediums.
Spider-Man.
Cool.
Yeah,
Give
sorry,
me like
I had to ruin your childhood. Mark Bagley redrew that cover, and it's like boring looking.
Oh.
I know, right? Oh, just normal looking.
So what was it about Shattered Dimensions and voice actors?
Oh, I was bringing up, like, we were just talking about stuff while you were gone, and I was like, how this cover's like 3D and iconic, the first like Ultimate Spider-Man cover, and I was like, oh, did you ever watch that MTV Spider-Man show that was like 3D? Yeah. It was both amazing and terrible at the same time. It was amazing with like the writing, but terrible because a lot of the villains were made up, or like hodgepodges of different villains. Like instead of giving us Black Cat, they gave us like this new character, but she's clearly like a parody of Black Cat, and people were like, why not just give us Black Cat? What's wrong with that? But I'll say that's when we got Neil Patrick Harris voicing Spider-Man, which later became a pretty normal thing. Like he voices him in a lot of the games, he voices him in other stuff, and I like his voice. He's good at Spider-Man.
One thing before I get into this next topic I forgot to mention is like there is a bit of a weird thing in the patch notes because this patch notes is so weird this time. Because while talking about the shrine skins, this is why a lot of people thought that we're gonna get these 2 skins in the shrine. In the shrine skin sections of the patch notes, it says added like festival disguise skin for Quan Chi. They said Titan skin for Li Mei, which doesn't make any sense. They added that months ago. But here's the thing that's very interesting. They say added deadly hybrid skin for Mileena, but it's not in the game. It's not even in the game files. What the hell are they talking about? What is this skin? It's in the patch notes. It was in the patch notes day 1, and I thought this was going to be a shrine skin because it was in the same section with like Quan Chi, but nope, it's not in the game at all yet. So that was a really interesting find, I guess. I guess we'll see it in a couple weeks, maybe.
It's like how Ed Boon was like, yeah, here's the 95 Scorpion costume, and it's nowhere to be seen. We're going to wait until Takeda's season, I guess, or maybe even right up until the expansion. Who knows?
That Scorpion skin I knew wasn't going to be in the game because one of the developers did come out and say, oh, it's not being in this next patch, just so you guys know. So I already knew
that does make sense to save that for Takeda, though. That does kind of make sense because Ninja and then, like, ninjas.
Yeah.
And then again, they've never had to make sense before, so it's not like it needs to...
It's not like this new, like, 3 skins that they added needed to make sense either.
Real quick, I'm gonna hate the fans real quick because I saw... Oh, no, you go ahead. You do your thing.
What do you mean hit the fans?
My hatred can wait until we talk about the Earthrealm skins, I guess. My hatred can wait.
Oh, hating on the stands who are like, yas. I see. Go on.
No, the opposite, Snake. I'm gonna hate on people that complained about, I didn't want a new costume. I wanted more nostalgia bait. And it's like, you calm down. You calm down.
Okay. All right, we'll get to that in just a bit. So today I have a giant presentation. I'm very happy none of you brought this up yet because like throughout this video it's like I'm thinking, okay, we're gonna save the invasion topics for later, but then Snake will go off and I'm like, okay, fine, I'm gonna go off too. Time to go into Ferra mode. The werewolf meme. Reptile season.
Unleash the Ferra mode.
Right, Ferra. That's what I was thinking too. When you say the werewolf meme, Sonic, all I can think of is that stupid overused meme of like the thoughtful werewolf like this, the white werewolf.
That's what I'm
just
talking about.
And pondering life.
Let the alpha out or something like that. I don't know. That meme is so funny. with the emo songs and stuff while they do them. I'm going to go through a bit of a topic here. I'm actually kind of shocked we didn't bring this up yet, but I'm very happy because you'll understand what I've prepared. This is a giant thing here. So, in every single season up to this point, the main goal of going through the invasion mode is so that by the end of it, you unlock the boss skin. You unlock the invader skin, essentially, for each of these seasons. Up to this point, every single season, once you defeat the boss, you unlock a boss skin, and then you unlock an additional key that you can go back into the invasions mode to then unlock even more additional palettes for the boss character. In total, every single season up to 5, you can unlock 8 palettes for your boss character. You can unlock that for the Evil Sub-Zero, Evil Natara, all those characters, 8 versions. You can also then get 2 more in ranked Combat League. They call it Combat League, yes. So that's 10 palettes per character. Now, with all these weird shenanigans going on in this season of Reptile, with how little they gave for the palettes for each character and stuff, how many Order of Darkness Reptile palettes do you think they have for this season?
The core 6.
The 6? What?
2?
Yeah, the core 6. The main 6, and that's it.
There's actually 8 per invasion season, like the core 8 actually. It's not just 6. It's actually 8 of them.
Are you counting the gold and silver?
Yeah, they're skins. They're palettes.
Because my guess is not even included in that.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're guessing 6,
right,
and you're thinking that
Sonic.
the golden and silver ones aren't even in the game. I see.
Yeah.
What are you trying to talk? How many do you think they added this season?
What was the question again?
How many Order of Darkness Reptile palettes are in this season? While in the previous seasons, there have been 8, and then 2 for Combat League. I'm also combining the Combat League one too for the amount of Order of Darkness skins you can get for Reptile.
Well, I'm guessing that it's less than average.
So like, Snake said 6. Did you just say 2?
I
just
gave you my answer.
Okay, so you said 2.
Less than average, because it sounds like you want to go off. So.
Yeah. So the answer is 15.
Oh, never mind. Yay!
15 fucking Order of Darkness Reptile palettes in the game. What the hell?
They knew what you wanted. They knew what you wanted. They're like, hey.
Sure, of course. But now I'm going to talk about...
How many of them are lizard, though?
About like 4 or 5 of them, I think.
Okay, that's a healthy amount, I suppose. I was expecting like 1 or 2.
Yeah, I'm going to... Okay, now let me get into every single one of these, because I had to look up like Ice Cream's Twitter account to be like... Because he kind of labels some of them and stuff like that. By the way, he still labeled them incorrectly, but still, thanks a lot for the help there. So, in Invasions mode... Okay, actually, the easiest method to get a Order of Darkness Reptile skin, do you know how to get that? The easiest method?
How?
Well, you would think it's to play through Invasions mode and then beat the boss version of Reptile, correct?
Sure.
Is it one at the store?
Yep. You can just go into the store right now, use your seasonal coins, and get...
Oh, yeah, I can buy that one. Yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I have it in my video.
They have never done that before. You can never get the boss skin in the seasonal shop, but there you go. You can just apparently get that, and it's a scaly version right there too.
I wonder if they did that just because we already had 2 palettes plus for this outfit from different seasons. So like, fuck it. Here you go.
Okay, it gets weirder. So how about, okay, then I'm sure the second method is you gotta beat the Invasions mode boss in order for you to unlock the boss version of the costume, right? Nope, you can actually get it in Ying Fortress.
Yeah, I think I've got that as well.
Just randomly...
That's fine, except that these colours are terrible, so I don't think they count.
But actually, wait, is this the one?
I like the default one. I think that one's fine.
Like, what I want is I want a black and green with lizard skin.
Oh yeah. Okay,
that's what I want, because like when his outfit's green as well, the lizard skin doesn't stand out as well.
So this outfit actually, I have a bit of a soft spot. I think the one thing that is kind of funny about it is that because he does show his arms, and the arms are actually like the default is human, but then when it's like scaly mode, it's like scaled up and stuff like that. So for some reason, it looks like he's not wearing any pants. But he's wearing this skin. So I find that to be really funny. Then you can get this palette if you beat the from Jason Omni-Man one in the, what is it called? Invasion
cool.
like challenge essentially.
It's okay. It looks like he's covered in slurm, but okay.
Same with the Lee May one. It's like she burped on herself.
And then afterwards you get to the boss fight, and then you can unlock, the base version. You unlock a white one that I quite like, and then you can unlock another.
I see a Scorpion color palette.
The yellow one, yeah. So these are the ones that you can get in the game, and these are like screenshots I took. Some of them are pretty good.
Cool.
I quite like the white one. And I also kind of like the silver one. Usually I don't like the silver or gold one, but the silver one, it's called Silver Snake, actually looks pretty decent too.
I like the mostly
like you said, you get the scorpion one.
Yeah.
I think the all green is my favorite.
Yeah. Same.
All green, so the middle one?
So the last
No,
one.
at the bottom right, because
The
I
Peter Pan
think
one where his pants are green too.
The bright,
Oh.
yeah, the brightness of the green I think makes it stand out enough from his arms.
Ah, I see. I'm not. I don't know. Too bright for me a little bit, but I think all green is still great in that aspect.
I'm kind of mad they gave him a yellow palette for Scorpion, but not a blue palette for Sub-Zero, because that would have been a cool reference to his first appearance in the very first Mortal Kombat when he had the Sub-Zero and Scorpion moves. Would have been a cute reference for anyone who gives a shit. But no one cares.
It's not the biggest difference.
Or give him purple pants like an MK4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that is how many palettes did I just send there? Let's see. That's okay, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 palettes currently that I have shown. I legit think these next couple of palettes are hellish if you even want to consider going for them. But like I was a little bit motivated when I saw like, cause okay, I gotta show you the link.
There better be a freaking rainbow reptile. He's just like all the colors.
Man, I wish. So there is the seasonal towers this time, which here are all the rewards that you can get in the seasonal towers. So I was thinking, oh, look at that, level 60. There was actually a reptile palette there too, and I was thinking of getting it. And then, so I tried out a seasonal tower. I played it once, and I was like, okay, that wasn't too bad. I could probably do this again. I kid you not, I've never played a seasonal towers as much as before. I thought every time you beat the seasonal tower, it will go higher by 5 levels. So, like, after I get that Astra one, then the next fight, I get the Sub-Zero one, right? But then I beat the first level, and then it told me I had to play 5 times again to get to the next reward. And at that point, I was like, are you fucking serious with me?
Like, do you really want to do it 50 times?
30 times. It's like...
30?
Well...
Let's go from 30 to 80, I mean.
Oh, no, it's 60.
If you want to go
I don't care about Kung Lao. I want to get 61.
But if you do want to get to Kung Lao, then you have to go through it 50... Well, no, it'll be 51 times, because it goes up each time. And it starts at 30, so 51 times just to get it.
Just for your calculations here, each time you fight it, you have to go through 10 fights. So basically, you have to fight through 10 rounds. So 10 times, well, I don't want the reptile one. 30 would mean 300 fucking rounds. And that's not including the boss health. The boss has a second phase health. And sometimes they even have, like, super armor and shit. So you have to go through 300 fights, more than that, just to get a fucking palette. And that I kind of wanted. And, like, do you genuinely believe that I would be crazy enough to go through that?
Yes.
So here's a seasonal tower palette for Reptile.
Yeah. And he kind of has purple pants. Kind of.
This is kinda... Yeah, this is the one... I actually think this one looks, like, pretty good. But don't fucking do this, guys. Don't. It takes, like... Unless if you really have a lot of time to, like, spare.
I'm going to keep going. I'm going to get the Natara one. I'm gonna give past your numbers.
Natara and Baraka
you know why they do it this way, don't you?
Huh.
So people will either spend ages doing it, or they'll say, "Fuck this, I'm not going to bother," and then it pops up in the store, and they go, "Ooh, I'll drop a bit of money on that."
Oh,
probably.
Let's see. I mean, in the past, I don't think the seasonal towers were like they locked like the good ones in there, right? Usually it's just color palettes, right? From what I recall.
Yeah.
Like, what was it? The season of Mileena, they had like the purple, like regular palettes in the seasonal towers and stuff like that.
The only good alternate colors in that season pretty much were in the tower.
Actually, never mind. That Natara color looks bad. I'm looking at it on MK Warehouse. God bless this man for just posting all the stuff, because then I can just look at it.
Too,
well, because again, like this game doesn't let you do like loadouts yet. So, like, you're stuck to the one outfit, and I'm not going to let it be this weird, gross green one when I have Order of Darkness Natara or Classic Natara.
Yeah, if you have the good ones already, then who gives a shit? Yeah. The, what is it called? This took me about as much as playing through an Invasions mode. Like, about 7 hours, I think, just grinding this.
And you're just doing towers over and over again?
Yes, but every tower there's like a random gimmick that happens. Sometimes it doesn't really matter. Sometimes it's like they electrify you, they stop your combo. There is one that really pissed me off, which is they darken the room. And it's like, oh my gosh, 10 times like this.
To quote Wooly, that sounds fun.
So is one gimmick for the whole tower?
I think so. Like every time you go through a tower.
So if it's a bad one, you can just quit and do it again, or is it set?
You have to beat that tower to get to the next one.
No, I mean, so are the gimmicks tied to the number, or is it randomized each time?
It's actually tied to the number. It's always the same. But I will say this though, it's not hard, especially with the relic I explained to you just then. It's like
just time
it takes about 8 to 10 minutes per tower, basically. That's why I decided to do it.
Unless you get Geras or Reiko as a boss, in which case you might as well just restart because those fights take fucking forever.
Well, it depends on your type, because for me, I'm Reptile when I play through those towers. Natara, Reiko, and Havoc, and I think Shao, like they don't take any damage whenever I fight them. So what I have to do is use the meteor medallion. There's a medallion that basically, if you like summon it for like a couple seconds, and your opponent will hit you out of it, and then meteors will start flying from the sky permanently throughout the entire match. And if you don't deal enough damage to your opponent, the meteor will. So that's something that can like help you out a lot in the invasion, and it recharges every fight you go through. I sent you a guide, Snake. That's the one that I basically use for me, and that's why it's not hard. It's just grinding. It's just painful grinding, basically. Nerd. Yeah, it's very lame. I wouldn't recommend anyone to do this.
If I see anybody online with this skin, I'm gonna message them personally and call them a nerd. For all the hours
can you even
they
tell
wasted.
like which one is this compared to the other scaly?
I can now.
Again, damn, I gave you the reference there. Yeah. So overall, wait, is that all the pallets? I think. No. I think I missed 2, right?
Oh God.
What? What's up?
There are 2 more.
Say that?
That's funny.
Yeah,
okay.
there's 2 more pallets. Where do you think I can get like 2 more pallets? What else do you think I can do to actually get like 2 more pallets in this game?
Spend money in the shop.
Combat League?
Oh yeah, that's right. Combat League,
oh.
Man. As if I'm gonna actually go through Combat League and try to get 2 damn Reptile pallet skins. I'm not like crazy enough to do some shit like that, right, guys? Right?
Well, anyway.
So here's the Combat League pallets that I went to get.
Oh no, yeah, that's the actual MK4. Like that's like legit just MK4.
There's
like
the purple pants. That's why I was saving that up, because you guys kept mentioning your purple pants. There they are, right there, basically.
What rank is it
That's
in
right,
like Combat League? Just like the middle
third rank.
Huh?
No, the 3rd one, basically.
Oh, Elder God?
Elder God? True underdog. Do you think I can get to Elder God?
I was about to get very impressed. Well, you heard the cadence in my voice. I was like, Elder God? Good job.
Not that high, but I will explain. Actually, I think I want to explain this. So like, I think Snake might be interested in learning about this. So there's a couple things that I did. Okay, I have been planning to try out Combat League for a while, and I wanted to do it for the Reptile season so that I can say I got the Combat League Reptile palette essentially. So I actually recorded my entire session. I'm planning to make a video about it of me going through Combat League.
Yeah.
I have started Combat League last month already as a practice round. So I basically went through the Raiden season just to like practice and see how it is. Why do you think I had so many opinions about Movado, True Underdog? Why do you think I don't usually give you that much opinions about a character? Like I don't engage with the fighting game stuff. It's because that's what I've been using
ironic,
in my
given your channel, but yes.
I basically have been just using Reptile Movado throughout my whole entire journey, so that's like what I've been doing essentially.
I'm still looking for a good partner with Reptile. I still can't find anyone that lets me do my favorite OG combo into the little gut stab and then turn invisible. That's all I want. I want to do my crazy 40% combo.
You have a couple of options. You have Scorpion, so you do this, tuck, invis, Scorpion, bang bang, and then you can continue the combo. Or Cyrax. Recently, he got that. You can
so turn invisible at the start of the combo, not at the end. Okay, but then it's wearing off by the time.
You do the taunt, pull out, immediately input the invisibility while your cameo like distracts them.
Yeah.
And then you can continue a combo with that, and then once you finish that combo, you go invis.
Yeah, but the issue is like it's slower, I guess, than the regular one. Yeah.
If you enhance it, you can do a different combo to go invis faster, but like you do an invis, and then your cameo will hit the opponent, and then you can finish that combo, and you will go invis.
My goal is to turn invisible at the end of the combo. That way I can use the max duration of it. Yeah.
You do go at the end of the combo in invis, and the easiest method, which I would do with Movado, is grab and then Movado invis into a short combo.
Yeah. Okay. Well, fair enough.
So Movado actually helps with
an awesome.
invis,
we love Movado. We stand Movado. He's a great cameo. He's so much fun. I like that he only comes out when he needs to. He can't come out by accident. That's really cool to me. I love that.
So like recently, I also went to go get like every single achievement in Mortal Kombat 1 because one of the achievements is to play Kombat League 5 matches. So I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna get all the achievements now too.
Yeah.
One of the achievements was play Chapter 15 twice. So I did that again on hard mode with Reptile. And the moment I did that, I was like, holy shit, I miss Movado. Movado was like my additional arm on a lot of combos and stuff like that. It really like helped me out in a lot of aspects. I much more appreciate his existence compared to Fire God Liu Kang.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I have officially now played like over almost 80 matches of Kombat League. So I can confidently say I know how to play this game. I don't want to say I'm good at this game, but I can play this game now. And the first time I played through the Raiden season, I got 7 wins and 21 losses to get to... right. Let me explain something that I think, Snake, you would appreciate if you're a collectioneer, like, person here. You play one match of Kombat League. Doesn't matter if you win or lose. You will get the first tier reward. So it's like the apprentice reward. You just get it because you're in the first rank, essentially. So that's free shit, basically. We just play one match of Kombat League.
Don't even have to win. You just have to play it. Just
you
to
don't
register,
need to win.
Basically.
Yes, you just get free shit. You can do it like right now. And you get like whatever gear and like the background picture for your combat card. But now here's the big thing, which made this plausible. Because when I first was considering this, I was like, okay, do I have to get to Elder God in order to get the boss skin? Because it's like there are 9 ranks. Each 3 ranks you get a special palette. So for this season, the 3rd rank you get Reptile palette. Every rank, the boss palettes are on the 3rd rank. I thought it was the final one, so I didn't need to grind that hard. Then 6 and 9, it's a different one. For this season, it's Reiko and then Kenshi. Fun fact, Order of Darkness Reiko this is the first time you can get them, is in this Kombat League, basically, if you really wanted to get that version of him. It looks pretty good, but I'm not crazy enough to go for that. Now here is the kicker. From the first 2 ranks, whatever you do, even if you lose, you cannot drop.
Huh.
Did you? Oh, it looked like your screams froze just then. I was thinking like, what did I say something like incorrect? So, essentially, you play a match, you get some points, but if you lose, you still get points.
Yeah.
You still get like a little bit of points. So like I was actually thinking like maybe I should give you guys an idea. Like I play Kombat League and never win a match. Let's see how long it takes me to get the warrior rank, because the first 2 ranks you never like lose any points.
Which is an idea that I've had too for a while, and fighting games are finally doing that. Like in the early ranks, you can't actually like lose points, but then they went a step further and you actually get points even when you lose. And then when you're in the middle rank, you can't lose points, but you need to win to get points. So I'm like, yeah, this has been my idea for a long time, but yeah.
Once you're on the 3rd rank, you start losing points if you lose.
So I'm gonna say 2nd, my bad.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain. Yeah, you can see how it goes in my video because I actually explain it. What's very funny is I'll tell you guys this. Last month when I was playing, I went 7 and 21, 7 wins and 21 losses, and I got to warrior rank.
Damn.
This month I tried it again. I went 23 and 18.
Ah, good.
So I improved drastically. I'm so proud of myself.
Yes,
I actually won like 23 matches. However, notice how giant the number leaps are. It's like, wait, hang on a second. Why did I play? I played like 28 matches last time, but this time I played close to 40 matches to get to where I wanted to.
Yeah.
The reasoning for that is because if your opponent is higher ranked than you, whether you lose or not, you get more points. By the way, this is the main reason I wanted to delay this episode by a week, so that I can do all this shit within a week. I did all this within 1 week, basically. That's why I wanted to delay. Right now, everyone's an apprentice. Everyone's in like the first 2 ranks. So it's like, you win, you get a little bit points. You lose, you don't lose too many, or you also get a little bit, but like,
which I think is
it's
dumb.
way harder to climb right now because everyone's around the same rank as you or lower than you. This pissed me off. Once I reach to rank 2, if I ever get a person in rank 1, my points go, because originally it's like if I win 40 to 60 points. But if you're an apprentice, if you're rank 1, I win 10. And if I lose, none. However, if I fight someone in the same rank as me, I lose 20.
Yeah.
So I fucking get more points if I lose to the rank 2 person. Like,
that's why
that pissed me off when I first.
I've never liked that. I never understood the idea behind that, like from the developer's standpoint. Like, why should you get more XP just because the person's like a higher rank? Because that's not how it works in anything else. Like, if you're competing at a tournament and your first opponent is Sonic Fox because you just got unlucky, and you somehow manage to win, you don't get to skip the other players just because Sonic Fox is in a different league of like skill. You know, it's still just one win. That's how I think it should be. And then on the flip side, you cause way more rage quits because the opponent sees when someone's lower than them and how much points they stand to lose if they somehow lose. And they're like, yeah, fuck this. I'm not even going to risk that. I'll just rage quit and take like the penalty for rage quitting and not get a loss or whatever.
Actually...
Well, just in some games. Maybe not in Mortal Kombat 1, but in past games, that was the actual strat people did because it wasn't worth it fighting someone that low because you stand to lose way too much.
Tekken.
Yeah, and I'm like someone who doesn't play very much, so when I finally get online and play, I probably will body guys that are really high ranks. Like just the other day, a guy was like wanted to play with me, and he was like a blue rank, and we were playing a lot, and I just kept beating him. And he's like, "How are you beating me? You're an orange rank." And I'm like, "Oh, my buddy's Tekken God and higher." So I'm just used to fighting people that are at a really high level.
Yeah.
But so in other words, when Lydia gets here and I'm playing Lydia, I'm gonna feel bad like fighting someone who's like 3 ranks above and just destroying them and taking all these points from them. And it's like, I'm sorry, I've been playing Lydia for like months in Tekken 7 already, so I'm used to this character. It's just like, you know, but oh well.
That's the reason why last month when I played, I was so much faster because I went up against a guy who had like a win-loss ratio of like, I think like 5 or 7 wins and like 50 losses. But he was in 3rd rank, and I was like in 2nd rank, and I beat him, and I got like 200 points. And he lost like 200 points. But I'm like, oh shit, that's basically like 5 matches for me, essentially, because I won against that one player and stuff. So I got pretty lucky last time. That's a big reason why climbing was a lot easier. But yeah, after this experience, I definitely feel like I learned how to actually, like, for once, play this game, play an actual fighting game. I know about like jailing and frame trapping and like what's safe and what's not and stuff like that. So I'm pretty proud of myself that I get to say I know how to play a fighting game, kind of.
So the question is now, Sonic, this video of all that, is this going to release around the time of the Ashra chapter, or are you going to hold off and release it alongside the Reptile chapter?
I want to release this next week if possible, but because, you know, the invasion season is happening like right now.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a point. Maybe I should release this like around July. But I think it's kind of more fun to release it sooner since this podcast will be out and everybody will know about it.
I'd say would depend on which episode is longer. Do you have more to say about Ashra's chapter or Reptile's?
Oh, obviously Reptile's chapter, but
then do with Ashra.
Yeah. Also, I don't want to make a big spoiler, but the video is this gameplay video is like close to 2 hours. And that's not even including, maybe I'll add this podcast part just to talk about my experience on it and stuff like that, so it could be longer. But yeah, a little I just wanted to tell you guys, like, you know, I've actually played the freaking game after like 9 months since the game came out, and I got all the achievements in the game, and after 275 hours right now, I've completed the game in a sort of way.
Nice.
Now, with that being said, it's time for the big rant that I have prepared. So I kind of hate the fact that we have gotten all these additional skins for like Order of Darkness Reptile in the long run. We have
just too many.
We have the human skins. That's great. And now they added 7 scaly skins for Reptile. Now, you could say the more the merrier. That's a great thing. Yeah, but like,
you ungrateful. Oh, posted the wrong thing. Never mind. Delete. No.
So you're worried. Okay. You're worried that we're not going to get more.
That's not the issue for me. Okay, there's 2 issues for now. For one, hey, cool, more skins the better. Yeah, except for some reason the skins that we got don't change that much. Here, let me group them all up. Look how great they are. They're like slightly different greens. Like that one's orange, sure.
Welcome to like the issue with all of them. I mean, they usually are like that, unless the developers actually have. Every now and then they hire an actual artist, like with the Earthrealm skins. They hired somebody with actual experience in color schemes and shit, so they all look kind of different. But this is what we get a lot of the time, is like, oh, green, but then like a different shade of green, and then this is my fear for what's gonna
like
happen
here, look at the
with,
slime ones. Look when I combine all of them together, it's like, they're all so similar anyway. It's just the pants colors are like a bit different and stuff like that.
There's too
and
many.
So, to me, now here, and it's just like they're so similar. Why would I want to go for the other one when I can already get one, like in such an easy method? Like I said before, you can go in the seasonal shop to get one. In that case, why do I want to spend another 7 hours grinding in the seasonal tower to get like a slightly different grain when we can already get the other one super easily? And here comes the giant like issue that I have with why we have so many of these. In the past 5 seasons, there's the invasion mode like characters that have like the very interesting gimmicks. Like for example, the Tara season you have the white pale and the blood on the eyes. The Sub-Zero season you have like the frosty Sub-Zeros and stuff like that. Each season has this. The only way you can get the Order of Darkness versions of that skin is through Kombat League.
Yeah.
It's like you have no other method of getting the Order of Darkness versions of like the special skins. So like for example, in the last season, Dark Raiden, cool, you get all these cool Dark Raiden palettes, but like if you wanted the electricity tattoos all over like the body and stuff like that, you can only get that in Kombat League. So that's why I got last season. And I'm like, okay, I don't think it's like the best, but hey, it's special. It's the only method I can get these special skins. So before the release of this season, I was thinking, if I go through Kombat League, that's going to be like a special thing for me to get the Reptile scaly skin. Because obviously, every character is going to be scaly, but if you want the scaly version of Reptile, you're going to have to go through Kombat League, right? No. You can do so many other methods to get the scaly version of Reptile. So then I was thinking, well, maybe like the slimed up version of him is like, you can get that through other like, that's the Kombat League exclusive, the slimed up version? No. You can get that in Invasions. You can get like that in so many other methods. So in that case then, why would I want to specifically grind for this skin if I have so many other methods of getting it like so easily?
Yeah.
You know? It's like the very famous saying goes, when everyone's super, no one will be.
I love that quote.
When everyone gets a scaly skin, then what's special about it getting it in Kombat League? Can you even tell out of all these 7 pictures which one was the Kombat League one I just mentioned? It's like, who's gonna care, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It kind of reminds me of back when Street Fighter V first came out and had like no content, and the only way to get colors for your character was to beat the survival mode, and the different difficulties for survival mode didn't even make the AI tougher. It just made more enemies to survive, and then of course they got tougher over time. But if you wanted to unlock just 3 colors, you had to beat like easy, and then 3 more was medium, then 3 more was hard, and then like very hard, right? But at the end of the day, how many people would even appreciate that you have the very hard colors, because they don't look any different? It's just like, oh, it's pink, green, and blue. Like nobody can tell which one you struggled for, you know, to unlock. And then I never did them because it was a waste of time. And fast forward, guess what eventually happened? Every single color is unlocked for free in like Champion Edition of Street Fighter V. So anybody who grinded that shit, like, worthless dummies.
Yeah, it's kind of like the complete edition of Mortal Kombat 9. You get all the unlocks like from the beginning.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I am very, very conflicted with this season of Reptile because, like, I like the scaly skins. Especially, I like these scaly skins for like Reptile too. I'll probably use a couple of them for my rotations, but it's like, I cannot recommend anyone go through what I go through just for some of these when you have so many easier alternatives. Play Invasions mode. Done. Period. Don't do anything else really. Unless you like playing Kombat League, then go through that. And it's just like, it makes it feel so insignificant getting these.
Yeah.
It's significant for me though, because I get to talk about it on the podcast, and I'm gonna make a video about the Kombat League video. So it's very, I think that's gonna be like, that's a very special moment for myself.
Are we gonna get a hand cam rant?
Right.
Oh no, I didn't record myself. I just recorded my audio.
You look small. My favorite quote from Sonic.
Dude,
bro,
you look small.
I had one more thing to complain about. Oh, did they finally add the option to be anonymous when playing Kombat League or no? Like to hide your name?
I actually have no idea, but I have went up against some people with question mark as their names though.
That would be cool if they finally added that, because that's cool for like people like me who are YouTubers and just want to have fun playing ranked and not worry about, oh, is someone gonna clip this and upload it or something? You know, it's like I just want to play, dude. I don't want to be.
I see.
which I know is a bit of a weird fear, but like it's just annoying.
I was in the I'm probably in the Asia region, so I never got a single person with a microphone. So that was just like, okay, sure. Everyone's shy here in Asia. Half of the entire characters on my first run through May, I just got like everybody was Johnny Cage. These motherfuckers. That's all they know how to play.
So in Asia, that's funny. In Asia, everybody plays the American.
The top tier. Oh yeah,
well, that too.
No. It was Johnny Cage, General Shao, and Liu Kang. Actually, Johnny Cage and Liu Kang. Everywhere, basically. In fact, in this run, you'll see me go Ben skin so many Liu Kangs. People fucking love Liu Kang with this hoodie skin too. Just everyone's using that.
Yeah, which I used too by accident, and then I'm like, oh, I don't really like this outfit. I want to use like something else.
Oh, okay.
It's not bad. It's just that Liu Kang is such a cool like physique. He's all buff and shredded, so to like just have him all like covered up, you know.
This is why I said Homelander is scary, because I go up against two versions of Homelander. One version is someone who just started playing him and don't know what they're doing, so they try all the gimmicks and stuff like that. As Reptile, whenever they fly up, I just do falling feigns, so that's a really easy counter. Or when they laser me, falling feigns.
Yeah.
But when you know what the fuck you're doing, it's horrifying. It's like low, up, overhead, up, fly, combo, up, stuff like that. I'm like, holy shit, what the hell am I supposed to do about this shit?
What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Oopsie, I'm going for a low, overhead. Maybe,
yeah,
I don't
basically.
know. That's funny. They're being all like coy about it, like, I might go for this mix up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of made that a bit of a me thing because I talked about my Kombat League experience.
You
but
did,
you'll see,
and you tried to make it all deep, like your ending to your Baraka chapter when you tried to get all philosophical, and you went on a whole Stars tangent. Like, Baraka perseveres anyway. Baraka refuses. Baraka has every reason to be bad. And he's not. You did the opposite of that in praise of Shadows video. You just gassed up Baraka for like 15 minutes at the end.
Baraka is friends with Mudahar.
An open gun YouTuber.
You know, it's really funny about I don't know if you guys mind me like talking about that video a bit, because I actually have a lot of like behind the scenes stuff.
Well, we're at the 3 hour mark, so it's your choice, I guess.
Yeah, you're editing it.
I don't. Okay, so like
he doesn't even edit anymore. He just lets the videos rock. I've watched the podcast. He just lets shit go through now. Like we talk over each other. Doesn't fix it. Just leaves it like that. I'm on to you, Sonic.
Hey, come on. I think it sounded fine. Okay, you know what? I will say this though. I recently got a comment, like it says a week ago, and someone just says like, "Can you get that man baby to like shut up whenever you guys are talking about something?" Like every time you guys are talking about things, that guy just starts playing with his toys. It's so distracting. Like, could you mute him when that happens?
I thought I was the man baby for a split second, so to hear it was Snake made me laugh pretty hard. I thought it was gonna be me.
And I literally just replied saying like, you know, I do mute Snake, but sometimes because Snake gets really like loud whenever he does like, I don't know, some things, it's so distracting that I think it's so funny that I just leave it in. What is that?
Vacuum cleaner.
Is that a hair
Vacuum
cleaner.
Oh.
That's gonna be Snake's way of being a dick to us when we're talking for too long. He just turns on the freaking vacuum cleaner.
Oh, the battery died.
Right as he used it. So, what did you guys think about my recent video?
I mean, the JoJo scene was, of course, like insane, like just amazing.
Thank you.
We kind of expected it. I laughed at like. I was like, man, only Snake could, only Sonic could make a scene like this because he actually knows how to speak an Asian language, so he can actually do like the actual vocal. If it was with me, it'd be like me doing like I'd do like the racist parody. It'd be like Mitsubishi Toyota Teriyaki Samurai. Just like pretend that I'm saying like Japanese words.
So that entire, I don't know how to speak Japanese, but that entire part, I had to ask my friend Kino, who's in Japan right now.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, hey, can you translate this in Japanese and like how you would read it and stuff like that?
Wow, you went all extra. I thought you were just saying it in Mandarin or like a language you knew, but you're like,
nope.
My audience is dumb. It's Asian enough. They won't know the difference.
I straight up say the famous lines from JoJo, so I think...
You or I might do that, but Sonic is dedicated to his craft. He will not cut corners anywhere. He will learn, like fucking Source Filmmaker or whatever, to make these skits, even though he doesn't need to. He could stick with the Stickman figures and everyone would be fine, but no, he's going to, like, I'm going to improve my craft. And it's like, so, how long does it take you? Oh, yeah, it took me like 3 days to break the targets in MK9. It's like, you didn't need to.
I really should stop putting too much...
Sonic lives his life like it's an actual meme, and he's motivated by it. So when he sees like meme potential, he's like, "Let's go!" Like it's just the meme. Let's go. And also, I know that for a fact, Sonic saw that meme of like, I learned Blender just for this animation or just to do this joke. And like he's like, I want to do that, but in real life, I am motivated by this meme to learn Blender just for one joke.
I mean, literally, in the Battle of the Realms video, at the end credits, I had the joke saying, SonicHaXD learned Source Filmmaker just to make us do Fortnite dances, and I made Reptile, Ermac, and Ferra like do the Fortnite dances and stuff like that.
I do love how like that skit ends to it like, well, at least I still have you, Ermac, and it's like, dun, dun. He's like ready to escape next.
I'm so happy you appreciate that joke, because that joke was almost canceled. I need to tell you guys some crazy stories
model or something.
So let me tell you some crazy stories behind the scenes. So, just so you know, the video, the entire 20-minute video took me about a week to make, and then that 2-minute animation took me about another entire week to make.
Yeah.
So all the effort was put into that animation, basically.
Well, you even do some things that like are tough. Like you did like that one shot where, to reference JoJo, where to interrupt the scene, Ferra like steps in front of like Reptile while he's talking, but like to do that you would have had to shrink down Ferra's character model and then animate it or superimpose it. I'm not sure which one you did, but I was like, that's already an extra step that most people would like give up on and not do.
Yeah, the first 40 seconds and like the ending of the video was normal animation, just characters being like blah blah blah, talking like this and stuff like that. And then in the middle section, I go full anime and just like pose characters on like frames of like ones, and like they just do like poses and don't move and just but like talk like that, which you would think would be easier, but because I'm every single fucking frame, I'm also changing their like JoJo dynamic poses, so like that still took me a ton of time to do. But it was very fun to go from regular animation to like anime-esque like animation throughout the middle part of that video. But okay, some fun things I could mention. Like, I gotta thank the Force Snake here first. Thank you very much for the crypt footage, that little joke section. That was actually thanks to the Force Snake. And also, my fans love the jokes, but my fans love this joke, but I did apologize in advance about the Baraka nationality joke. I was in the live chat when that happened. Like, one guy just cracked so hard, and he immediately clipped that quote. And I did see in the live chat, Snake being like saying like, "What? Are you saying I'm Baraka?" or something like that. Yes, thank you very much, Snake. Thank you very much. You're very, very, very helpful in these videos. So in the so throughout the video, you get to see, you know, Reptile, Ermac, and Ferra, and also in their older models, because they get enhanced later on. That Reptile model was done by like Okamakawa, so he's been a huge help for me in Blender all this time. He is also the one who modified Reptile to be buff, essentially. So like, thanks a lot to him for all that help.
Well, I just thought a funny joke. Like in the future, if you're like are low on content ideas, you should make a compilation of all the Blender and 3D animations you've done throughout your channel's history, and just title the video like "Mortal Kombat sucks so bad I learned animation." Just to roast it or something like that.
You're reminding me of that one like meme where like some guys complaining about like animation. Someone's like, you can't be complaining about that. You don't know how hard work is. So in order to complain about animation, I learn animation. And like he says like all this like, you remember that tweet? I don't know what that's so funny.
Right.
You remind me of that.
You call it something like Mortal Kombat characters have never been animated this well.
There you go. You're hired, it says Netherrealm.
You guys saw the end credits scene of the video, right? Oh, he's 2D, that one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, that Guilmon model at the very end, he one day just approached me and be like, yo, I got this Guilmon model and I put like your accessories on it and turned it into SonicHaXD. I'm like, oh shit, that's really cool. 6 months later, I'm gonna use that. Just some like he just randomly like shared that to me, so that's very nice of
you'll
him.
never get past where you already peaked, Sonic, when you made naked Shao Kahn getting spanked by Sindel. You'll never top that. That's always gonna be like your magnum opus.
My magnum opus. Shao Kahn getting spanked.
For me, the magnum opus is Smoke and Madame Bo. Either it's just him going, neither do I.
That's the first one actually that I've done. Yeah, I did get a lot of comments, people being like, "How? There is no way you top this anymore. This 2-minute animation that you put like way too much effort into." And I'm like, "Yeah, I have." It took me an entire day just to set that whole entire scene up and put all the fan like pictures in the background and like get the characters to sit and all that kind of stuff. It entire week was nothing but just working on that video. Here's a very, very fun fact. So the Ermac model, the MK11 version of him, was actually a very special, like, it's because the Ermac model in the crypt in MK11 is not a complete model. So the person just took the clothes and put like a Revenant like Kung Lao on him to make it look like an actual character and stuff like that. There's a lot of cool behind the scenes about that model. But here's the very cool thing. That model was made by Neo Pretzel, who is the same guy who did KK in a wheelchair. The render, the KK in a wheelchair sensor bar. So, same guy who did that also made the Ermac model, A Small World, and I just happened to use that same model too. So, very cute little behind the scenes story there.
That meme is the only reason that I ever reached out to Sonic. That's how we met.
Oh my gosh, I think so. That's right. You were like, hey, can I use a cake in a wheelchair meme in my recent video for a cake Kotal Khan combo?
Well, because you got the buff, and then Joker has that brutality where he literally puts you in the wheelchair. So the joke was I freeze frame it and like, yeah, Kotal's like, you fool, you've only made me more powerful. Witness my final form. It shows his buffs in the patch notes.
Yeah. So here's a crazy story that happened behind the scenes. The 3D animation was basically done around like May, but the video was going up around like May 20th, and I had a giant issue happening. I have a person that I'm subscribed to their Patreon, and the guy is called White Mage Sunny. And this is the guy who I subscribe to get all my models from. So like the Smoke model, the Shang Tsung model, the Kung Lao models. Every month basically I pay him money to do these rigging for the models. So in advance I told him I want the Ermac model already, but unfortunately because I requested like 3 models this month, I think like Baraka and someone else, like Shang Tsung and all these characters. So he was like, probably can't like make the Ermac model happen as soon as possible. And then like I told him it's like, you know, this is a very advanced thing, but it's like if you can't do it, then, you know, understandable, I guess. And he's like, you know what? I promised you I was gonna get this done, so just for you, I'm buying Mortal Kombat 1. And I'm like, holy shit, wow, the dedication. And then he messaged me later on being like, 130 gigabytes!
That's the annoying thing. It's such a little bit of a tangent, but it's so annoying how developers think that's just suddenly okay, and they all agreed on it, that they no longer need to compress their games anymore. Which used to be a regular step that every video game did, and now they just think it's okay to skip that step. And it's like, no, it's not, because the PS5 has less storage than the PS4. Now is not the time to skip the compression state. Please. Yeah. Please.
I sent him this meme and he was like, yeah, I totally
to try
agree.
A new one.
Western Game Dev has been here. How do you know?
There was a recent Call of Duty thing where it's like 300 gigabytes.
300?
Yeah, apparently what that means is because Warzone features all the content from the last like 3 or 4 games, so it's like it's basically like, all told, if you got all that and the new game, it'll be 300 gigabytes that this game will be using. It's not 300 total, or it is 300 total, but if you play other games anyway, it's fine, like some weird thing like that. But it's like, the store page still says 300 gigabytes. Like, it's not the public's fault that there's a misunderstanding. It's yours, idiots.
Yeah, so like, every time I like play a new game, I'm like, okay, I can't have Mortal Kombat 1, Tekken, and Street Fighter 6 all in the same PC. I have to uninstall them unless I want to play them every single time now, because they're all giants, but not as big as Mortal Kombat. But anyways, so he did that, and then he gave me Ermac within like a day, and that is why I think within the last 3 days before the video got uploaded, I added that one Ermac like doing the Darby like pose essentially. So I appreciate you, Tronadog, liking that joke, because that joke was almost not about to make it into the video. It was just going to be like a random ass render of like Ermac I found. So I'm very happy I got to express my artistic values by getting that at the very end, essentially.
Yep. I just had a random idea.
And
maybe when Ferra gets added, like, because we're thinking of like funny ways that Tor doesn't get added, but what if Tor is the one that like lets Ferra escape? Like the portal's closing and they're not going to make it, and he's like, go my child, make it into the next game. And he's like, gets thrown, Tor, no, and it goes in the portal.
Have you seen like the Waluigi doesn't make it in the Smash comics where he gives the invitation to Daisy and stuff?
The ticket. Yeah. I'll still never be satisfied with the fact that he just never ended up in. Like, that's just so sad. Like,
he's gonna be in the next one though. It's guaranteed now. Waluigi is definitely gonna be in the next Smash whenever that happens.
It would be really funny if Wapichi made it in. A character who didn't even make it into her own game. She makes it in before Waluigi.
just to spite Waluigi. Then I got some like artwork people I want to thank. Basically, we got the "Why is everyone so mean to me?" like artwork of Reptile in the shower. Do you guys know about that meme?
I know about the one from Deadly Alliance where like there's a shampoo and it's like for scaly skin or whatever. Is Wapeach actually canon or is she just a fan character?
Yeah, she's in the like I forgot. I thought it was like an unused character or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, basically it was. They needed a tennis partner for Wario, I think, when they were doing Mario Tennis, and she was designed, but then they made Waluigi instead.
So you've seen this meme before? It's just like, why is everyone so mean to me?
Oh, that's why you did that, with Reptile being so caked up. I was wondering what that was about.
Exactly. That's like what the meme is based off of, essentially.
The Pyramid Head one is oddly covered up. That's what that was about.
we
that's where it says. No, that's where it's from.
We need MK11 Jackson. It says everyone. It keeps asking if I'm Frost.
Yes, that's a good one. So basically, there was this one Twitter user called like Galen McCree, and like I just saw he drew some cool Reptile artworks, and I'm like, I just wrote a comment, nice art, and then he DM'd me on Discord, be like, hey man, I like your content too. I'm like, holy shit, you DM'd me. That's so awesome. And now I'm like best friends with him right now. Yeah. So, that's how I got him to I commissioned him this artwork to put in the video. He was very excited for this episode too because his artwork gonna be featured.
I have to explain why this is my favorite. The Miguel one is my favorite just because it has the sample pasted over it repeatedly, which implies that like don't steal my art, and it's just a fucking caked up Miguel in the shower. It's like, don't take this, it's mine. Also, freaking horny Reptile's tail in the air just to show both cheeks.
You gotta show the cheeks. That's how the meme works. You gotta show the cheeks. And then we have have you guys seen the Dragon Ball like kissing meme?
Yes.
Where
Piccolo and
the Goku and like Piccolo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Runs by.
So I love that joke so much. That's why I did the Ashra and like Sizal kissing meme in the video when Ashra lunges on the Reptile.
Yep, I immediately got it.
I got that commission there for that too. There's a freebie for you, Ashra Sizal stands.
The reason that's like even better is just because like, well, I mean this is still great, but I like it in the Dragon Ball Z one especially because there's that one frame of Piccolo going, oh, and he's like not ready for it. And he runs right by him. Oh, so good.
Yeah. And then I'm actually really happy people liked the video a lot because I was worried that people would not like the second half of the video where I just go full on like Baraka analysis mode. So that's why, because I had a couple comments in my last video being like, oh my gosh, there's another finger can session. I can't deal with this shit. And I'm like, you know what? Fine. I'll put MK Subway Surfers on the side. Just to
I love that meme
just to
too.
Get people
to gameplay somewhere for the Zoomers.
And literally. When I like faded out, I saw in a live chat be like, no, my MK Subway Surfers. No, how am I supposed to watch this video and stuff? And I am happy that like you said, Chunrog, you got like caught off guard like the Beastars comparison. I got a lot of people being like, okay, you compare those to Beastars. How much crazy can you get with this? Now I'm gonna talk about the Bible.
Yes, true. For a Bible verse. Well, to be fair, Internet Historian one time did that too. He was just talking about like fancy stuff and like the history of wine and alcohol, and he brings up the whole thing about how, I'm not going to go into full detail, but basically he brings up about like, Christ and the communion and all that and the water being blood, and then he stops and goes, now some of you might be saying, well, Internet Historian, that's not really much to do with like the history of wine. That's just a random segment on the religion and wine's implementation with it. Part 3, and they just cut to the next, and they explained why he did it at all. It's like, I just want to put that in there. You wanted to put it in because it was ridiculous, which I thought it was ridiculous too, because the wine's supposed to just represent something. It's not supposed to literally be blood, but apparently, like, to get more followers, they try to say, oh no, if the right priest does it, who's holy enough, he can convert the wine into actual blood, and you can taste it. And it's like, first off, disgusting. Second of all, that's never been the point. Christ never went like, bibbidi bobbidi boo, this wine is now my blood. It's just like, no, the idea is that it represents it. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So that's probably why
and
you
also,
mentioned
that
it.
was
It's
a
so
joke.
funny,
That was a joke part in the historian video, which I thought was funny.
So you're not the first to bring in the Bible out of nowhere. That's been before.
It is funny that the message, the takeaway Jesus wanted his followers to take away from all this was that he is one tasty motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh, I just remember.
And you can get drunk
really
on Christ. You can get drunk on your love for the Lord.
But yeah, I'm very happy that like even people really like my character analysis for Baraka, and then I have a lot of engagement, and I literally get comments of people being like, "Came here for the laughs, and I got emotional at the end," and that kind of stuff. Because
I came here to laugh, not to feel.
Yeah, basically. And I actually really also like seeing a lot of people coming up with their own interpretations for like the general justice. I asked the question, why is Baraka doing this? Why is he being a good guy when he literally has no reason to? And I got more people being like, oh, maybe it's because Kenji treated him nicely. You know, he never got treated nicely by anybody. So in that case, oh, you guys don't despise us. So how about we work together? Or like, a lot of people say, oh, maybe Baraka's doing a final good deed before he passes away. He wants to die as a good guy and all that kind of stuff. And like I say in the video, we don't know. That's like why I think it's great. We really don't have like a confirming answer as to why Baraka is like a good guy, which just makes him a good guy.
It's funny to think that if his death scene from MKX happened with this version, people would actually be upset. Like, it's not just, oh, I like the character Baraka. It's like, no, Baraka, you had so much to live for. No, why would you take this from us, Devourer, you bitch? You bitch. I will burn you down, Devourer. I'll burn your home to the ground.
I hate you, Devourer, even more now. It's like people say Devourer killed Mileena and Scorpion and get mad. Now people say she killed Baraka. Now it's going to be a valid reason.
Yep.
Now it's personal.
I used to be bad Raka in the past games, but now I am good Raka. My buddy was actually a bit sad that like Reptile is just a universal good guy. He's like, it's kind of a weird one. Not sad, but he's like, it's always so jarring because he's been a villain in every game, and now suddenly he's like a good guy. And I was like, well, NetherRealm doesn't know how to make chapters for villains, so if they get their own chapter, they've got to be a good guy.
Yeah. Technically speaking, he was a villain for 5 seconds in chapter 5 when he was a slave, but he was forced to be a villain.
I still find it funny how grossly I misinterpreted that first Reptile trailer, and you had to correct me. I thought that like that entire scene of him being in the jail cell was like him going to break the good guys out, and he was like the man behind the scenes and stuff. I'm like, oh, how cool. Reptile's like a secret agent that breaks in for Liu Kang because he can shapeshift and turn invisible. How fucking cool. Oh, never mind. He's just a slave.
And I showed up and like, yeah, in his bio he's called a jailer and stuff. So like that, he's probably just the jailer. And I'm like, and you're like, ah. I think I disappointed you a lot with that.
Yeah, and even Snake's like, did you really think they would give him like that much character development, dog? Of course not.
But yeah, a bit of a teaser for the upcoming video. Just a heads up, the Asha chapter I'm working on is not going to be this much effort put into it, but I still think it's going to be like a really like good video because there is a lot of character analysis stuff that I go through that I really enjoy. I go through the Johnny and Kenshi friendship, which people really... Come on now, Snake. Come on now, Snake.
Everyone is so mean to me.
Everyone's so... The angle, basically.
The problem is, guys, this has devolved from a podcast into what we normally talk about when we stop recording and we're just editing and we're just chatting about shit. We've gone way off topic.
Hey.
We've lost the plot.
Let me give my little teaser for the Ashra chapter, and then we can go back to, I guess, our final topic. But
I better see tons of Ashra's ass, since you're so intent on showing man ass.
What did I do in the Ashra? Well,
you get demonetized because YouTube is sexist.
Are you going to have, Sonic, a big lengthy character analysis on Reptile?
Of course. Actually, like, I'm pretty sure more than half the video in the Reptile chapter is just me talking about Reptile, not even the chapter itself.
Yeah, I don't mean like, just like, let's talk about his costumes and his abilities. I mean like deep analysis like Baraka got.
Yes.
Yes, good.
It's going to be longer than the Baraka section. It's going to be like, I don't know how long it's going to be, but it's going to be the whole video.
I mean, in fairness, like the Baraka one doesn't have much in the way of actual narrative development, whereas the Reptile one, a fair bit happens.
Yeah, I have a lot to say, and not all positive. So you guys will see. You'll see what I try to go through like almost everything. To be fair,
we're gonna have the shocking twist that Sonic doesn't like the fact that Reptile defeated General Shao.
All I know is when Reptile's chapter does come up, you better make up, or maybe you better reference that joke that I made, because my pet peeve that Reptile doesn't use invisibility to solve like 90% of the problems when he totally could.
You know what? You say that every single podcast when you complain about Reptile, and I think I finally have a bit of a comeback for that now.
Yes.
get ready to hear this. Get ready to hear this. I think Reptile has a meter for how long he can stay invisible.
Well, yeah, that was my joke. Is that I said before one time in our podcast that it's like holding in a fart.
Yes.
Or it's like holding his
literally
breath.
From a
like
gameplay
eventually
perspective,
he just has to let loose.
Yeah. I think that's the case because he literally does. He can't stay invisible in the game too. But
no,
like,
you see.
That's got to be the explanation. Because even in the beginning of that chapter, he was jumping around, never being invisible too. So that's what I have to guess.
You see, Sonic, Reptile actually has a crazy My Hero Academia like nerf, like where like the power is always like countered by some ridiculous like balance to it. Whenever he turns invisible, his eyeballs turn invisible, so he can't see anything. Like light can't pass through his eyes because they're not black anymore. Like they can't absorb light, so he legit can't fucking see when he's invisible.
You're like,
or maybe he's like that one Ginyu Force member who can stop time as long as his breath is held.
Yeah.
I was about to say because there is a character in Hunter x Hunter who can also turn invisible, but it's however long he can hold his breath.
Yeah.
So literally it's like so like maybe that's the same case with Reptile.
Bro, I'll get so good at holding my breath.
That's a random cool.
Well, because if your power is like all about being able to hold your breath, then just train it. There's divers and swimmers who can hold their breath for like 5 minutes. Like just get really good at it.
I think it's humanly impossible for that long though, but like in Hunter x Hunter that character does like practice how I can hold my breath for this mission coming up and stuff like that. But yeah, so just a little tease for the Astra stuff. You're gonna see a whole entire section of me going through the Johnny and Kenshi friendship because I think I see a lot of people being like, bro, I love Johnny and Kenshi friendship. It's the best thing ever. I'm like, yeah, well, why do you love it? It's just good.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to go deep into like thinking like, okay, what are things I really like about it? What are things that are implied about it? And like I kind of like my interpretation, which you guys will see as to like why I think the Johnny Kenshi relationship is good. You will see me have a character analysis for Ashura. You will see me have a gigantic character hate analysis for Nitaro, so look forward to that. And also there is a section of the video which I think 3D era fans will really love, where I go through like how great the lore is in the 3D era. So I go the Force Snake mode. I'm telling you that basically of like talking about the 3D era. So I think y'all will appreciate that stuff essentially. So a little bit of a tease for the upcoming Ashura episode.
That's awesome. But just to dunk on you, I was right. Deep sea divers can, while swimming, still hold their breath for an average of 10 minutes. It's insane.
10?
Like yes, and the world record is like 24 minutes, but the guy's not moving. He's just floating in the water. It's insanity. You can train your lungs like crazy.
True.
Yeah,
true.
I remember Tom Cruise talk about that for one of the Mission Impossibles.
Oh yeah,
he had to be underwater for
That's
a long
right.
time.
Almost fucking
Yeah,
died.
And how it can really mess you up because it's like you have to breathe in a completely different way, and then it's like that's not conducive to just living, and so you have to like remember to like switch off and go back to normal breathing. So,
oh, that is insane! Wow.
Snake reminded me of the wizard meme of like casting spells that are hilarious but actually very effective, like for screwing up your opponent. Like I cast manual breathing. It's like you can no longer breathe.
No. Oh my gosh! What? That is horrible. That is horrible.
Cast fully
is
sensitive
evil.
intestines. So you just feel your intestines at all times. Like no.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
Okay, that's way off topic.
Okay, let's end this episode off with the final chapter. So, all my issues with this Reptile season are all like solved with these new drip costumes. Honestly, I'm like, okay, wait. Sorry, let me change my intro here. I gotta say this. If you've been a fan of the Combat Kings podcast, if you've been a fan of us since like day one, you would have known and you would have heard True Underdog say this exact quote. I want Outworld characters to wear casual clothes.
Yep.
He has said that so many times on this podcast. He even said like 5 years ago. So literally when I saw like Earthrealm, like Kitana, Mileena, and Reptile, I was thinking like, holy shit, like you won, True Underdog.
Yeah.
This was your patch. You literally won. You got exactly what you wanted. It's like insane.
And I was giving ideas too in the video. I was like, it's cool to give them like awesome hip hop outfits, but I think they could even like for other characters that would never dress that way, like Ashura, they could give her like adorably modest outfits, like a turtleneck and like sweatpants or something. Something really casual that she would wear just to be like more modest. Give General Shao a fucking business suit.
Give Ashra a nice summer dress with like a big
That'd be
hat.
cute too.
The wide brim.
Brilliant idea! Because like the big hat, yeah, big old sun hat, awesome.
Exactly.
Perfect. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
You know, I gotta even mention something else here. Like these skins are so insane because True Underdog, I'm on to you. You didn't only just say like I want Outworld as a casual clothes. No. You always specify I want Kitana and Mileena in casual clothes.
True.
I want to see those two specifically, and we specifically got them. You know what, True Underdog. Are you sure you're not working with NRS here?
Absolutely.
Like, I think these are a little too perfect. Like, come on now. This is like a present from them. Oh my gosh, Trainer Dog, you've been such a holy like servant of our company, loving our game for like the entire year. We're gonna give you this as a prize, essentially. Oh, and we'll add in Reptile so that SonicHaXD won't be on to you because he's too busy sipping for him.
Well, they gotta give really big feet for Snake then too, just so that everyone can be satisfied. But see, if I were to NetherRealm, they would fire me for just bumming them out. Not even annoying them, just bumming them out, because I would point out a new flaw, like, every day. Like, so I was playing yesterday in practice mode, and I noticed this doesn't work. So I was playing in practice mode the other day, I noticed this doesn't work.
Oh, you know what? I will say this. After playing Kombat League for, like, 80 matches, I'm like, there are still bugs in this game. There are definitely still issues in this game, honestly. I can feel them now after playing it for this many times. Yeah, it's pretty funny. But yeah. These are new original skins made by NRS for Mileena, Kitana, and Reptile, saying, what if they were in Earthrealm? I would like to imagine during Chapter 7 till, like, 15, while Reptile and Ashra in Earthrealm, like, if he wanted to go, hey, could you go, you want to get some food? I was like, okay, this is what Reptile wore. Like, I can imagine that, though. Yeah. I don't know about Kitana and Mileena.
You know... It wouldn't surprise me if, in the story expansion, we're reintroduced to Kitana, Mileena, and Reptile wearing these outfits in Johnny's mansion. Like, he's brought them to Earthrealm to show the moves and that, and he's got them all dripped out in like I don't know how you'll explain the Reptile on the jacket. Like, that's... I can't imagine he got that on short notice.
He made it for him, that jacket.
But it's fine. It's not a big deal. It's like just the idea of like we're reintroduced to them there, and then that's where like Havoc and his minions show up, and it's like here's Kitana Tanya, and she's gonna try and kill them, and then she gets like drowned in the pool or something.
They're having like a nice party in the mansion. Now they gotta like get ready to like fight while they're wearing the because like Johnny was wearing his like what do you call that clothes? Like, he wasn't like gonna fight in that clothes, but he was wearing that in Chapter 2, essentially.
Yeah. Well, it was a joke too in a lot of the comments that like Johnny Cage himself dressed them, because it seems like his over the top like Hollywood fashion, that he would give people.
Yeah.
Reptile just looks kind of dripped out. Reptile looks like he's repping the gang.
Come on. If they got Earthrealm clothes from like Liu Kang, Kung Lao, Raiden, it would be very Eastern style, very very humble, very very simple, like just like a nice little tunic, similar to what Madame Bo wears, and that would look good. But like this is definitely a Johnny Cage thing, so I'd love to see like that's how the characters are reintroduced in the story. So you get at least one story fight with one of these characters wearing this outfit.
Mm-hmm. That would be awesome. The cameo. It's good promotion too,
There's
these
also
characters wear
some,
these costumes.
There was some salty people in the comments being like, shaking my head. Tanya was the first character to get this like treatment, like right when the game came out, and all you haters still kept hating on her. I'm like, he's not wrong. She got the pre-order skin or whatever, like right away.
That one.
Yeah, but the difference is these characters aren't wearing high-heeled sneakers, and their outfits actually look pretty good. Whereas Tanya's looks nice fucking terrible.
Her shoes?
Yeah, it was awful.
Wow. So this entire skin, you only focused on the shoes?
What's wrong with high heel sneakers? That's kind of cool.
Sonic, stop trying to make this about feet. I'm just saying that this outfit is terrible.
I think Mileena actually has the worst shoes with her Earthrealm one, because she has tiny feet. But that's not the designer's fault. Like the costume designer.
I thought it was Kitana who had it.
Like whoever designed Mileena's feet gave her like absurdly small feet, which makes me laugh because Kitana has like small feet too, but it's like for NetherRealm standards like average, because no horny guys can't even have like normal sized feet because horny, can't have fully scaly because horny.
There's a difference in the size.
True.
Kitana and Mileena have different sizes.
Yeah.
Feet sizes.
Yeah.
Really?
I think it's only because their shoes are different. Like Mileena has very high arch heels, and so her foot is like like really like bended.
Yeah.
And I think the modeler when like doing that just made her foot shorter by accident or something. But then in those little like shoes, I make fun of it in my own video. I'm like, why her shoes look like they're literally crushing her foot because they're so small, like Mileena's hip hop shoes. I'm like, good God. It looks like she's not even like, it looks like she's a fucking deer and has hooves for feet, and they just put a tiny tinny shoe on the hooves.
Actually, between the three skins, which one would you guys say is like, how would you like rank them? I think they're all fantastic, but I will say Reptile, Kitana, and Mileena for me. Everybody thinks Mileena is the highest, though.
Yeah,
I think it's great, but compared to the other two, I think it's the worst.
So I was really biased at first and thought that Mileena had the best, just because I was really like, I was super hyped about the MK letters and the dragon logo. Like, she's repping the brand. I thought that was really cool. And then I thought Reptiles was amazing because he has his own mascot on the back, which is hilarious. He has like the he has a little chibi reptile right here on the front too. Oh. And at first I thought that was kanji, but I think it's just an R, but very stylized above it.
Oh my gosh! Seriously? I had to explain this to you, Trinidad, because me and my Japanese friend I had to ask him because I can't tell what Chinese word this is, and he's like, I can't. It doesn't even look like a Japanese word.
It's just an R, I think.
So we both just kind of gave up.
Yeah.
That makes so much
sense.
sense.
That's an American R, because we're so dumb that we keep simplifying logos because someone agreed universally behind the scenes that the only way to update a logo is to simplify it. You can never like add to it. So here's the most simple R. It's so simple that you can't even tell it's an R and you think it's a different language.
It makes so much sense, honestly.
But I think honestly, after all the reviews, I think that Kitana has the best. Because it's something I would actually see someone wear, and like it's just really nice, and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good.
Even I don't play Kitana. I wanted to buy that Kitana skin. How good it looks.
Just make a video on it, then you get your money back.
Too.
That's what I did. I made like 3 times profit.
I don't need to, what do you call it? I'm getting like almost every skin for Reptile, but other characters I'm kind of like waiting to save up,
But yeah, Kitana's outfit looks pretty damn good. It looks a bit too K-poppy still. Yeah. I feel like I will not back down. It looks like straight out of a K-pop music video, but it's still good.
Dog mentioned the logo on Reptiles made me think it could be, because Johnny Cage is making the MK multimedia franchise. It could actually be like MK merchandise, an actual like Reptile themed jacket that Johnny had made and he's selling. And he's like, here you go, Reptile. Or it's like, here's the prototype. What do you think? And Reptile's like, oh, this is very swag. I like it.
Very swag.
I actually made a Twitter post basically calling on us, being like, "Hey, when are you guys selling this jacket merch for real?" It has like 1,000 likes right now.
I would totally buy that.
Yeah,
I would totally buy that. We should just make it. Undercut them.
For me, the Reptile one's the best.
Hell yeah!
Because I just don't care for that whole hip hop-ish kind of style. I think I just like this more casual look. And to me, it honestly it reminds me a lot of Johnny's like the bigger jackets he had in MK11.
Yeah.
Except that the fur's been replaced by like MK2 ninja padding.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Which I think is a really neat touch.
I want them to...
Fun fact, Dog, that render you just posted right there, that's the guy who I subscribe to the Patreon of, who helps me with the models. Someone commissioned the Earthrealm Mileena, so that's recently like what he did.
Oh wow, that's awesome. But I wanted to point out, look at her feet. It's hard to tell, but like you only have a 3/4 view. But do you see how small her feet are? Like they're tiny, like they're microscopic.
So what you need to do now, Sonic, is you need to make like a small animation of like Reptile, Kitana, and Mileena like dancing on a stage like a music video, and then you mod that into the tea house video, onto the TV in the tea house, because you can replace that video clip that plays on the tea house TV, so you can have it like it is like the Reptile, Kitana, Mileena like K-pop dance thing.
What's very
it's
funny
a lot of work that no one would notice, but it'd be really funny.
It'd be so much work. I even have to commission him to do the other other. I love that Johnny's like, damn it,
out of money.
Almost gone.
Well, because I was gonna say I can't take all the credit for the Earthrealm skins because I'm just inspired by the fan art. Like I see all this fan art of like what if Mileena and Kitana like went shopping in Earthrealm or like, and it writes itself too. Like if Mortal Kombat ever had like an anime style like show that had like filler episodes, that'd be a definite episode. Like the gang goes shopping,
Yeah, like every fighting game, even like Overwatch or other games that you can have skins for characters, I'm always a fan of casual wear as a costume. Like I'm always loving those. Like even in like the Chapter 1 Kung Lao and Raiden, like I love those. I want to have those as the characters too, even though they're just wearing casual wear and stuff like that. So yeah, of course, any character wearing casual wear is really fun to like see how they depict them in these like games. Of course, it's a little overboard with casual wear, but it's still very fun to see. Like Earthrealm costume.
I mean, Jory's fuzzy hoodie outfit in Street Fighter 6 is arguably the most popular outfit she has in that game.
True.
Though I will say, I liked it more in the artwork than when it finally got revealed, because the fuzzy texture just goes a bit too hard in my opinion, but it's still good.
Oh, actually, you sent this render, which is very nice. That actually highlights one small problem that some fans really wanted. You cannot take the mask off for Mileena or Kitana, which is a bit unfortunate, because I think it would be nice to...
I don't know why you'd even put that on them. Like, okay, well, for Mileena, I get it because the costume, like, although she does have the... No, they gave her a mask for the festival costume, so yeah, I understand that.
She has a mask for every costume because she takes it off for her abilities and stuff.
Yeah, Kitana, even though in MK11 they had the animations tweak a little bit, depending on whether she has the mask on or not. Yeah, it's too much work nowadays. But with Kitana, there's no reason at all that Kitana needs to have a mask.
It's a bit unfortunate. A lot of people would appreciate being like some skins for Kitana. There's only one skin in the whole entire game that you can have Kitana without a mask, and that's the only way.
Yeah.
And which people are like, oh, come on, I like her face model and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's like, I appreciate them trying something different, but NetherRealm, please, just to drive the point home. With Shao, it's okay to customize the axe because it's freaking huge. It's one of the first things you see when the round starts, and you can always look at it. And they also made them pretty drastically different. Like some of them glow neon, one has a giant eye on it, you know, like that kind of cool stuff. But Mileena's size are tiny, and you're not even trying to like make them unique. They're all just still size. Like maybe they make one of them like a giant fork or something. Like have fun with it. Like make them silly. Like one's like a
have one be Kitana's fans folded up. There you go.
Just like get creative with it.
Is
and then,
Tanya's
like
staff only the middle part, and like the rest of it
it's
is
just
not
the
changed?
one staff. You can't even see it really.
Who's
it's over her back when she stands.
It's like I think the classic one is makes it purple, the glow, whereas all the rest are green, and it's like. That's like the one time they did anything interesting with it, because otherwise...
I know
just
sometimes the staff is like
bullshit.
A bone piece, which is like, oh, that looks cool, but I would never notice it. And Rain's staff,
Same
too,
with
I
Tanya.
barely noticed that either.
Tanya has that exact problem now.
I get NetherRealm, you wanted to be unique and not make everyone just the mask, but now you know that we're pretty boring creatures, and we just want the mask. Like, for every ninja character, the mask should be the customizable piece. Like, it's just kind of how it works.
Sure.
I feel like for the next game they should have two customizable pieces, because 3 was too much a lot of the time, and 1 is just not enough. So I think 2 would be like, I imagine that all the ninjas like, okay, here's you get the weapon and you get the mask. With Shao you get his helmet, you get his weapon. With Liu Kang gets the bandana and the gauntlets. You know,
his hairstyle. Yeah, hairstyle. That'd be a really fun one.
Raiden
and Reiko
Raiden
have that,
amulet. Raiden could have his amulet and his hat, and you could have all sorts of just cool stuff for various characters. I think 2 is like the sweet spot.
Like my favorite gear pieces are the big ones. So it's like, you know, literally like Nitara is the wings. That's a big change. You're gonna see that big, like huge. And like Havoc and Reiko, it's helmets. That changes your character drastically too. And like you know, recently Ermac has the helmet too. So like great changes. Like that's like my favorite gears is when you can very clearly see like the difference once you use them.
Yeah, and they also go crazy with it. Like they're not afraid to like get, you know, interesting about it. Like Reiko has the giant Spartan helmet with like the giant like mohawk. Like it's awesome. Like and even Havoc has like some ridiculous stuff like that where it's like a giant mohawk. I hope we get Biker Gang Baraka. That'd be so sick for his casual Earthrealm wear. Have him be like in a biker
like with
gang.
Sunglasses and a helmet and stuff like that.
No, not that part.
Well, Baraka on a hog is pretty cool.
He does have that armadillo in the Tarkatan stage, that gigantic armadillo in the background.
You reminded me of a thing I did in one of my videos, and I cut it out because it was just too random. But in one of my videos where I was like breaking down if Baraka is good or bad when the game first came out, you know, Baraka does not suck or whatever. I'm just going over his moves and stuff, and when I push the opponent to the corner, I just pause and go, "Is that a giant armadillo? Wow!" in a giant like Southern cowboy voice.
So random.
But I went super intense with it. I'm gonna cut that out.
You cut that out?
It's too random.
Oh, that's too bad. That sounds very funny.
Riding a shrimp.
Ooh, okay, Chronodog, something I have to call you out in your video because I was very shocked. I was like, how dare you when talking about the reptile drip. I was like, you got to one of his palettes and you're like, ooh, check it out. It looks like the Hulk. It's like the pants and stuff like that. And then I was like, no way. I cannot believe you didn't catch that. Like, you're not a true Mortal Kombat
the MK4.
fan. Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, how can you not tell? Well, it's like literally the exact same, like the black and the green, the purple.
But also, I'm trying to be entertaining.
To be fair,
yeah.
Plus, to be fair, Sonic, you have to keep in mind, Dog got into MK in the Netherrealm era.
That is not true.
Like is it not? I thought it was.
No, I own all the games, but I didn't take them super seriously until the Netherrealm, I guess. Like, I own all the 3D games and stuff. I just... Yeah,
yeah,
it was hard. I didn't like blocking.
This was like technically before his time when
I guess
Reptile
MK4
design.
is very old.
You think about it because you love Reptile. I think about it because I think about Mortal Kombat most hours of the day, and I've been around for a long time. And 4 was the first one I played. But with Dog, it's like he's basically just some guy who I guess knows Reptile in the newer games, and that's it. You can't hold him to the same standards as us two. He's not a complete degenerate loser like we are.
Like today when we were talking about the Order of Darkness Reptile skins, it's like I think I heard Tronodog this say, "Ooh, I wonder if they can give him the purple pants like MK4," and I was like. So you know about the existence of that? I was like,
well, I mean, if this was actually MK4 Reptile, then he should have a
time.
white mask because Reptile has that weird, like, white lower half of his face.
It's color references, you know. It's like the obvious references going on. No.
That's why I didn't catch it because it's just wrong. It's missing the key details. But no, so true story. The reason I played MK4 at the arcade back in the day because we were there to pick up comics, not to actually play a video game. But I saw the MK4 arcade cabinet. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I like Mortal Kombat. But then I saw Reptile's character model, like, fighting as one of the demo fights, and I'm like, what? Looks completely different. I want to play this game now. So I played as Reptile. I think I lost a couple of times, got to the end, then the game killed me, because that's the ending for Reptile in MK4. He dies. And I never wanted to play MK4 ever again.
Wow.
And I don't think I did. I played Deadly Alliance and stuff because they were awesome, but... I was genuinely upset.
No, what it was that when you hit the spikes at the bottom and just red blood came out, you said, that's not lore accurate. I'm never playing this game again. I can't play this.
Right. That is, to this day, one of the most intense continue screens ever, because you actually want to put quarters in, because you feel bad watching your character like fall to their death in the pit.
Yeah. Well, actually, now that you say that in context, it makes a lot of sense why you hold such a giant grudge for that ending with Reptile, because you do bring that up a lot of times when like what the fuck was up with this, like how do they like do this to Reptile? It's like you literally lived through that while you were younger and had that giant experience. Now this makes a lot more sense now.
I'm a firm believer that any arcade ending should be like a celebration of your character because you like them enough to beat the ladder. And I get that, like, for me and us even, like, who play games enough now, like, it's not hard to beat the ladder, but when you're first learning a fighting game, it can be a real challenge to actually beat the arcade ladder. So give me a cool ending, you know? I think killing off your character is not right. I think even giving them a sad ending that's not at least, like, fulfilling is also not okay. You know, like Paul's ending in frickin' Tekken 8, where he just arrives to the tournament late and can't even sign up. Like, that's stupid. Like, that's not a reward. That's really dumb. Like, I want there to be a payoff.
Even if it's a bad ending for the character, if it adds like a really cool context, or like this character goes like in a very interesting route wise, I do like those. I'm trying to think of an example, like what I'm mentioning. Some of the MK9 endings, basically, it's like, oh, this character gets fucked, but
Cabal gets a new outfit and shit.
Cool.
Because he gets like that Darth Vader outfit because he's dying even more now. And he gets like an upgraded suit.
Yeah.
Nightwolf's ending was kind of bullshit in MK9 because he gets possessed like by Shao Kahn. I'm like, wait, the guy who's known for like controlling spirits and being the master of the spirit realm got possessed? Huh?
I just remember he turned into a werewolf, so I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like doing weird stuff like that. Like Scorpion gets taken over by the essence of Dark Khan in DCU. Khan takes over Cyber Sub-Zero's body in MK9.
Kano turns into the Joker in DCU.
Scorpion still has one of the... I bet Scorpion has one of the worst endings to, like, casual fans in Deadly Alliance, because not only does he die, which is, like, the ultimate middle finger to, like, the poster child of the series, but he gets killed by the two new losers, freaking Drummond and Moloch, and like,
in
thrown into a
fairness,
tornado.
that event that is canon, but he just survives.
Okay,
he just makes it out, and that's how he meets the Elder Gods.
Gotcha.
He basically gets sucked in and then jumps out into the heavens.
But I can only imagine,
he just casually watches the intro for Deception with the Elder Gods, and they're like, "Damn, hey Scorpion, do you want to work for us?"
Because I'm glad it worked out in the end. But imagine at the time when the game first came out, Scorpion fans are already edgelords. Yeah, Scorpion's so badass. I can't wait to see what his cool ending is. What? Getting all mad when he dies. What?
Your scream is completely cut off on our scream. So we're just seeing
I'm just blowing air into it. I'm screaming low on purpose, yeah.
Well, I will hear it in the editing, or our fans will hear it, so don't worry about that. But we can't hear it. It's really funny. So yeah, that was the amazing Reptile episode. Very emotional. There were highs, there were lows. We cried, we laughed. No green blood, unfortunately, but yeah. Anything else you guys want to say for the ending here? Anything else you want to add?
I did.
Okay, we're like 3 hours and 40 minutes in this episode. Do you want to say that now, or do you want to save for next time?
Well, that's the thing, because these it's they added 2 chapters, but it's very samey. Not much really happens overall. So basically, if you recall last time.
Okay, we'll just end the episode with Snake talking about what happens in Onslaught, and then once you're done with that, we end the episode just straight up. That's gonna be it.
This is gonna be the last
with the Force Snake talking about Onslaught right here.
This is gonna be the last Onslaught update, because we've had 2 we've had 2 repeats in a row of Chronicles, and then we're getting another repeat next tomorrow.
Okay.
I think the story content is just fully done.
Yeah, I've heard they're last time giving up on Onslaught.
Yeah. So last time, Raiden and Shinnok fought the Deadly Alliance, and then Shinnok got his amulet back, and he seals Raiden away in his amulet, and became all powerful. And so then the sorcerers are on the run. Shinnok has mind controlled everyone. So you have to fight your way through everyone. You punch Scorpion off the bridge in the pits, and it's like, oh, did he live? Did he die? Who knows? And so then you fight the.
Sorry, who are you playing as again?
Oh, this is Quan Chi. Shang Tsung doesn't get a chapter.
Oh, okay.
He plays Quan Chi.
After Raiden and Shinnok defeat the Deadly Alliance, now that Shinnok...
Yeah, they're on the run from because I think because they had ultimate power for a time, they're immune to Shinnok's power. But everyone gets brainwashed. So then these 2 are just on the run, running through the island. They fight the Black Dragon, so you get Kano and Sonya working together to fight the 2. You fight the Goro and the Shokan. You fight. You fight some dudes at the Deadpool. There's a really funny bit where you fight Kitana and Jade, and it's like, oh, they're resisting it. They're resisting the power. Why? Oh, their Edenian blood must make them resistant to the power. And it's like, fuck off. Edenian blood does not make them resistant to it. They're the ones who get controlled the most. What are you fucking talking about?
Weren't they just controlled in the last chapter or something?
In Chronicles, Kitana got controlled earlier on in the story,
right, by Quan Chi.
And listen, Quan Chi's just really good at it. That's all.
You fight the Cyber Lin Kuei, so you get possessed Cyber Sub-Zero who's being controlled while being controlled.
Yo, I know that guy. That's the guy that in his arcade ending didn't even have any dialogue. It was just really soft background.
Oh my
music.
gosh, that's right. That's so funny.
So then the chapter ends with they get to the Nexus where Shinnok is operating from, and they confront him, and then when Shinnok goes to kill them, out of the amulet emerges Dark Raiden, our hero for the final chapter. So yeah, so keep in mind there is no chapter for Liu Kang, Kung Lao, or Sub-Zero.
Liu Kang, wow.
Shinnok got one, Quan Chi got one, Shao Kahn got one, and then Dark Raiden gets one. But oh shit!
Careful!
Right, so you fight the special forces, and it's not really clear throughout it because you just beat them and then they disappear. But it is suggested later on that Raiden is just full on killing everyone.
Wow!
Oh wow!
Because the stakes are so high, he can't risk holding back. So he just kills Sonya and Jax, and then he's working with the sorcerers. They go into various locations that have been corrupted.
So he's working with Quan Chi and Shang Tsung now.
Yeah, because it's the only option they've got to stop Shinnok. And every now and then, Shang Tsung or Quan Chi makes a snide remark about the mind control people, and Raiden's like fuck off, don't push me, Shang Tsung. I'm not in the mood.
I think it's so funny to think from the very beginning of the story, we have our heroes and our villains. Then the moment Shang Tsung and Quan Chi get all the relics or the treasure, Raiden is working with Shinnok. Then when they get defeated, Shinnok is the big boss, and now they're all working together to go up against him. This is so fucking random.
So what this thing here is, this is a soul stone. if you're familiar with Deception's conquest, you find a soul stone for Ermac to help him stay intact in the Netherrealm. It's one of the quests.
Oh.
And so they're going for the soul stones at various locations, like the Wuxi Academy and stuff like that, in order to like drain Shinnok's power. So then here you are fighting Kitana. But by this point, like, Kitana and Jade are completely possessed.
So they were kind of possessed in the last chapter. Now they're completely possessed.
They were begging to be killed because they couldn't deal with what they'd been made to do. And so, but now they're just like, now everyone's part of like the Shinnok cult trying to bring about the oblivion.
Okay.
And so you fight Shao Kahn and Sindel and Mileena, who were already brainwashed by the sorcerers 2 chapters ago, and you're fighting them here. The only characters who don't show up brainwashed are like Frost and Johnny Cage, but like everyone else does. And so then here's the final confrontation: Raiden versus Shinnok, and you even fight Fujin and that. And then Raiden just is killing everyone. It's like Nightwolf shows up just to get rocks. He's not even in the scene; he's just there in gameplay. And then at the end of the final fight takes place at the Bone Temple. Where MK11 begins. Yep. And at the end of it, Raiden, we get a cutscene of Raiden, like, you know when he makes like the lightning blades?
Yeah.
In his hands? He makes these different ones and then throws them and just like, no, first he severs Shinnok's hand to get the amulet away from him.
Yeah.
And then he puts it on his chest. And then he makes 2 of these lightning... yeah, basically. Then he makes 2 lightning blades, throws them and like... He slams him through the ground so he's impaled on a spike. Then he throws these blades at him to sever his arms. And he's like, we've got these like lightning whips that he's hitting him with and like ripping his legs off.
Yeah.
And then he seals him in the amulet with like, where it's just like a head and torso. And he just seals him away.
Oh,
and then
I will say, Trono Dog, that cutscene, other than the fatality parts, you could consider putting that into your video for more cutscenes. It's pretty badass. Some of those new moves Raiden is using.
It's easy to find on YouTube as like Mortal Kombat Onslaught, Dark Raiden kills or destroys Shinnok cutscene. Like those really bland titles that I fucking hate.
It does kind of remind me of that meme,
artistry to those titles.
Like, wait, you can control lightning? Yeah. And you use it to make swords? Yeah. Listen,
Snake, I hate the person who wrote this line should get a raise. And it's like a Mortal Kombat intro that's 1 minute, and it's like recently it's Homelander. I see this fucking title used like 6-7 times by the same person already.
It makes me wonder what I'm doing with my life. Why am I doing actual like effort when I could just make stupid videos like that and get a guaranteed like 60K?
Sorry, Snake, continue your story.
Yeah. So it's just really funny because like in MK11, we have the scene at the start of the game with Raiden at the Sky Temple, and he's in the Jinsei chamber, so it's all blue, and he decapitates Shinnok. Now he's removing every limb except his head in the Bone Temple basement, which is all red. It's really funny. So he seals him away, and then the explanation for why he's Dark Raiden is that he intentionally absorbed the dark energy from the amulet while he was sealed inside it, so that he could become more powerful to oppose Shinnok, because clearly things were not going well. And so it's like a Raiden who voluntarily becomes Dark Raiden. And that's a really interesting idea.
It is cool.
And I wish we get more stuff like that with Dark Raiden, but yeah. It's a shame the design is just literally the MK11 one. They didn't tweak it or anything. It's just exactly as it was.
Well, did they need to, though?
Well, I prefer when the designs are somewhat distinct. Like, the base Raiden design is the MK11 one, but like with the blue is white with a few bits of blue. So they're like, and they're giving like the MKX hat, where it's just like all the slits, so it makes it a bit more distinct, more uniquely Onslaught. Whereas here it's just literally 11.
Okay.
So then Fujin gets up and he's like, "Oh, I'm alive again." He's like, "Yeah, well, with Shinnok dead, everyone just comes back from back to life." and then Raiden's like, "So I'm gonna basically do what Sony was trying to do. He gets all the artifacts in an urn and like pushes it into the sea of blood. And then he narrates the end of the game.
Catches it again because he's there.
He narrates about how it can't rest. There's always going to be another threat. We have to prepare for combat. And so it's not clear if that's supposed to be like
a cliffhanger.
This game is over, but like the in this universe, the struggle continues, or if it's going to be like, or if there actually is going to be more story content. Right now, it looks like it's not. I've heard that there was a huge player drop off a few months ago. So people got bored of the game. So
wouldn't be shocked.
Between 3 consecutive Chronicle repeats and the game having having the last 2 chapters released together like that, and it's like, yeah, the story's over with 10 chapters, and all these important characters never got anything. There's no resolution on Sub-Zero. He's still just a cyborg, and all these other characters are just having to deal with the ramifications of what they were made to do while brainwashed. Sindel, what's her situation? She was brainwashed into being brainwashed into being brainwashed. So what's going on with her, we don't know. I honestly feel like the game is winding down. We're probably not going to get any more content. I feel like the best we can honestly expect is maybe we'll get cameos from these characters in like a story expansion or something. Like, oh, here's some... maybe they'll do the MK11 costumes in the future, and then like they'll use Onslaught colours as options, and then those characters could pop in and go, yeah, we're the Onslaught version of the characters, we're here to help. I feel like that's probably the best we can honestly expect.
One thing I'm just wondering is like, isn't like Mortal Kombat like X, the mobile game, still going till this day?
Yeah. So I don't know what that game does differently.
It's not even called
they
Mortal
rebranded
Kombat
it from
Mobile.
X to...
It's called
Mortal Kombat Mobile, right?
Yeah.
Because they've been adding stuff from 11 and 1. Like, they have Scorpion from... Like, basically, they have Scorpion from 3... so it's like MK3...
It wasn't...
9, X, 11, 1, Injustice...
I was just about to say, like, isn't there like an Injustice Gods Among Us mobile game and they added Peacemaker into that?
No, that was Injustice 2 mobile. For some reason, Injustice had two different mobile games, but
oh my gosh.
MK, they just had the one.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking, like, if they're still going, I don't see Onslaught, like, dying too soon, you know? I think the game could still...
I have to assume what it was that... Because the mobile one is a fighting game. It doesn't play the same as a normal fighting game, but it is still a Mortal Kombat portable fighting game. So people are like, yeah, I'll play that. Whereas with... Plus, also, they don't do story content for that game. It has no story. It's just the gameplay. Unless they've added something in the last 5 years and I didn't know. Whereas Onslaught has all the big cinematic. Like, clearly there was a lot more ambition with Onslaught, and that's obviously going to make it more expensive. And then if people aren't invested enough in this completely different genre to make enough money to make that worth it, it's going to get... They're going to sunset the entire game.
Which is a bit of a shame, because even though I think the biggest shame about that game is the promotion.
No marketing at all,
nobody's talking
dude.
about
like,
it.
No marketing.
No one gives a shit about this game. It's like, nobody... You're the only person who's playing it and talking about Snake, honestly. Like, I would not get this information from them.
And it's odd because they put so much work into it. Like, there's cutscenes, there's a lot of effort.
I think the shame is that the game is like a Mortal Kombat universe that isn't a Mortal Kombat fighting game. And I don't think we get that too often. And like, sure, it's a mobile game, but like, at least it's trying something different. So I appreciate that aspect about it.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I guess not enough people are interested in that. They would rather just either play MK Mobile or play other game. Stuff on phone or Fortnite or whatever. You know, it's
Fortnite on mobile.
It's a real shame.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, pretty sure it is. So people just rather play other stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is a real shame.
I mean,
I don't know what you could do. I don't know what you can do to save Onslaught other than like making a console port, I guess.
No,
but that's not going to happen. So
I mean, like, here's the other bigger issue about Onslaught. Why would I want to play Onslaught when I have other games just like Onslaught or better? Like, this video sponsor, Raid Shadowlet. No, but like, there's a lot of these type of games that exist, right? I mean, literally, Snake, you are playing other games just like Onslaught. Admit it.
Yeah.
Right.
And this never would have happened because it would defeat the whole point. Like, I think Onslaught was meant to be like a bit of a cash grab, but with some effort put into it. But so they wouldn't have done this, but the best way I think to get people to play it would have been to bring back even more of the characters that have been gone forever. Like, oh, do you want to like play with Kira, or do you want to play with like Draman? They're in this. Like that. There you go. It's the best you're gonna get. Like,
Fair
do you want to
enough.
see Draman have a conversation with like Shao Kahn? This is the only game where that can happen. You know, like it'd be kind of cool. That's what I would have marketed it as. But they clearly wanted to reuse all the assets from like the recent games and stuff. So like, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah. For the story, the fact they did have the cinematics, I feel, has held it back in terms of what they can use, because they can't just bring over like like Goro is in none of the cinematics. Shiva is, even though she's not a playable unit in the game.
Playable.
So outside of chapter 1, Goro is the only named Shokan who shows up.
It's
Yup.
definitely like MK11 leftover budget. Like I feel like, because it's
Yeah.
like all the assets, like the cutscenes are literally like the stages are the same. So it's like,
Yeah.
well, before we retire these assets in this like stage, let's just do some stuff with it in the Onslaught game. And if it's successful, we'll continue with that. If it's not, well, who cares? We just, leftover assets we could use and stuff.
And like, speaking of bad marketing, the game wasn't even built up before it just got revealed one day in a tweet. Just like very unceremonious, like, hey, we're proud to announce this.
AMK Onslaught.
Yeah,
It'll be
it was
released
like-
like a year later.
Yes, they did that, and then there was they had it on like basically on beta for like a year,
Yeah.
and then it finally came out.
Well,
around
wait.
the time of the main
Didn't
game.
it leak for like a year?
I think that was an official beta period. I don't know why it lasted a year, because they did update it during that time. Like Jax's chapter was, no, Kitana's chapter was added during that. I think on release it only had the first 2, but then they added Kitana's later. Then Jax's was on release.
Here's a fun fact, by the way. It may feel like it's been a while, but it's actually only been released for 7 months.
Yeah.
I just see here release trailer 7 months ago. So I was just thinking, is there even a trailer? And yes, there was. It's the intro and stuff.
I could
Yeah,
have
it just came out
definitely done
like,
a better
I think
job
a-
marketing
I
this
think a
game.
month after one.
Just saying, like, I would have
Well,
been.
you
I would have done the Crunchyroll method, where you just show like tiny clips from the game, but like in YouTube format, and it's like, Scorpion and Sub-Zero and his dead brother reunited for the first time, and like the new canon or whatever. Because like when Noob Saibot gets his brainwashing taken away, but then it turns out that he was just faking it. But that would be just a scene
Yeah.
by itself.
You know?
It just showed just that clip, and it's like, I can't wait till we have many more battles together. Then show just like some gameplay, and it's like, do it yourself. Download the game. It's
you know
free.
what?
Just show a lot of
Once
that.
you say that, now I see the big issue with this game as to why you can't market it that way.
No talking.
Who the heck is going to be excited by text box character standing there?
Damn.
And then next, get to the cut to the gameplay of like the RPG elements, and stuff like that, because that's the game. You know, the thing you got to market is through the cutscenes. Unfortunately,
It also doesn't help that when you play the game at normal speed, it's slow as molasses. I don't know why the
That's a lot
normal
of
speed
games
is
like
so
that.
slow.
Yeah.
So so it's like you just have to play at double speed, otherwise it takes fucking forever to get anywhere.
That's what Raid
Invasions
Shadow
mode
Legends
running.
is like too. If you don't play double speed, you're playing it wrong. It looks like it's in slow motion. It's funny. I guess that's because I wonder if that's because they think that if the animation takes longer, it gives the player more time to think about their next move, maybe, and they just think we're dumb.
they want you to appreciate the running animation.
I'm sure that's it, but like it shouldn't take that long. The animation, because the animations, because a lot of the animation, most of the animations are taken directly from X11.1. So you think that at double speed it's going to look really weird and jank, but it looks weird and jank at normal speed instead. Like it looks like underwater. I don't know why it was done this way.
I wonder if they make the default speed first, like the fast speed is the default speed, then they have the slow motion after, because it feels like that, because the slow is just way too slow.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't appreciate the running animation, Snake. I now appreciate running and walking animation after I did the poker skill where Reptile walks out like arrivederci. I had to like animate that. I'm like, geez, walking animation's so hard to animate.
Oh yeah,
Just
walking
for a couple
animations are
seconds.
actually a test to get into several jobs for some studios. They say like have this character walk, because not only is a basic walk
cool.
animation way more complicated than you think, but to give it personality is even more impressive, because walks are pretty bland by nature, but you can give them personality. But yeah, walk and runs. We used to do that for a warm up in my animation class. You'd like have 10 minutes to do a walk cycle. But that's because I memorized how to do it. And then one time when I did a presentation during an animation class for like the high schoolers, I was still in college, and it was like for my community service. I showed them how to do a walk in like 10 minutes, and I broke it all down while I was doing it. So there's tricks you can do for sure, but like.
That's awesome.
They even have there's an animator survival guide. Not sure if you know about it or not, but is that what it's called?
The 12 Principles of Animation.
Oh, it's called a survival kit. That's what it's called. My bad. The animator survival kit, and they break down the walk cycle, and it's still pretty complicated.
But anyways, we are. Thank you very much for the bedtime story there, the Forest Snake. I think that was a very wonderful way to go to sleep for me since it's almost 2 a.m. over here.
I wasn't done. I was gonna go on a whole hour-long rant about the walk animation, but sure, I cut off my segment.
We're gonna cut it off. It's gonna cut out the reptile butt.
It's smothered by ass. No,
synchronized. Sonic, synchronized.
Synchronized asses. 3, 2, 1.
No.
This is the funniest way to end our episode. We are R-wording Chuna Dog.
Don't say that, Jesus Christ.
Hard
with the asses. That's the most cursed ending we probably have put into our episode.